ဆိုလိုက်ကြရအောင် one expert မှာထိတ်တန်းစစ်များကိုရယူထားသူ Dota 2 hero များအကောင်းဆုံးတည်ဆောင်မှု Hunter Lancer အကောင်းဆုံးပံ့ပိုးမှု Mossy အကောင်းဆုံးအလေလံ Zeus အိုးငါဘက်ကိုဆိုလိုတာပါအကောင်းဆုံးကစားသမားစု one expert ကစားသူများ one expert ဒါသိရင် pick ပဲကျေးဇူးပြုပြီးယနေ့ညရဲ့ကျေဝေများကိုကြိုဆိုလိုက်ကြရအောင် one expert မှာထိတ်တန်းစစ်များကိုရယူထားသူ Dota 2 hero များအကောင်းဆုံးတည်ဆောင်မှု Hunter Lancer အကောင်းဆုံးပံ့ပိုးမှု Mossy အကောင်းဆုံးအလေလံ Zeus အိုးငါဘက်ကိုဆိုလိုတာပါအကောင်းဆုံးကစားသမားစု
classic, but really any pro team classic for the last year. The Shadow Fiend ban, I don't know, maybe unnecessary. Yatoro already played it as carry, so it might not even be considering picking that one. Though I think Morel has played it too, and it's looked pretty good. We've seen this hero going mid and carry. Can understand why they'd want to ban it out. There's the Nature's Prophet.
It's one of those, like it has to be. Nature's Prophet or Dawnbreaker, one of those has to get banned there.
Yeah, so a lot of good bans targeting the opponent team's best heroes. I would say Doom is possible for Liquid. They've run the carry in the off lane Doom. The Puck is still in the pool. There we go.
Void Spirit's
we might just see the Void Spirit. Oh yeah, they just banned out the Void Spirit. Otherwise we would see it.
This has been
blocking the ban.
It's been the only mid matchup we have seen for like half this tournament. Is just Void Spirit and Puck head to head every time. So I'm curious what they go as the response now for Puck.
Hi.
So what are you
thinking?
I wouldn't mind
over.
I think Kunkka is like okay as well, that they've picked a couple times.
The breadwinner.
It seems like they want something stable for Morel. Something like you don't have to crush your matchup. You do it anyways because you're an awesome stand-in. We love you, you know. But like, hey, just pick this solid mid hero who does fine and then can get active early. And that seems to be what they go for. Like Storm Spirits, Void Spirits, Kunkkas. That's been a lot of what Morel has played for them. And
there's Ember still. Like that's the other like
that's a good one too.
Spirit brother that is decent against Puck. Storm is a little bit more shut down by it, but Ember is not as much. Okay, and that's where they go. Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you. Kind of a meme, but maybe not. If you are Team Liquid here, do you not ban a single hero that Yatoro has already picked? Do you start diving deep into the depths and start banning random heroes that like he hasn't played just to like to either A, ruin the streak of picking a new hero every time, or B, like predicting that he won't pick the same hero?
Could they? I mean, they still ban the SF, but maybe they were thinking it's mid SF.
Sven in Liquid, duration over. Duration over 41
You know, they know Spirit's gonna take it seriously. Like they're here to pick good heroes versus those guys. Don't worry about the memes.
Okay.
Blitz, I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust you on this one. I see you a little too relaxed right there in the Nisha cam. And in the box. Oh, wow. Double view of Blix. He's in the boxy cam as well. He's chilling.
He's getting maximum screen time. Yeah, I mean, you don't get to see him in the game, you know? So he's like, I got to be in every single player cam possible to maximize my time on the screen.
What if there was one spot in the room where that was the case and every game Blitz is just sitting there and he's like,
you have to set it up. You'd have to set
your
room up. You have to set your room up as like a pentagon. And
I was gonna say pentagram, but yes, that also.
Oh yeah, okay. You know they like Doom. We can do that.
Big Doom team manifesting the hero into existence.
I still wouldn't mind seeing the Doom come out. You know the Doom is actually quite good versus both these mid heroes, prevent them from using all their spells. But you also mentioned that Dawnbreaker being very popular for Team Liquid, and I see that Silencer ban very popular versus that. Still respecting the Huskar ban. I was wondering if we were going to see this. We don't usually play too much Huskar, but he actually did it in a recent tournament that I forgot.
Dude, he
kind of like
Alibi Liquid Tamala Lucini. Alibi Liquid Tame solution. Duration over.
Run something like
Puck position. So
something we've seen some other teams do.
တော့လောလောဆယ်အရာက
Very capable
blue ရဲ့
position four
disruptor
player that does,
pack
just like a wide range of
pack
heroes. Like, yeah, you need me to play that,
Amber
sure, I'll do it. You know, so
ပတ်နေနေ
they definitely could have Huskard you if they wanted to.
နေနေတော့မဟုတ်အေးပေါ့ပတ်မနိုင်ဘူးအမ်ဘာကိုအဲ့လို
Carry puck as well.
အမ်ဘာပူကျန်းတယ်
in really odd
အဲ့စကီးပဲ
situations, and I wouldn't.
အမ်ဘာရဲ့ level 2ကိုရှောင်နိုင်တော့ရ
Yeah, I can play this hero as a carry. I'll just build Milner. Don't worry about it.
အဲ့လင်းကတော့ခဏအသာထားပြီး blue နဲ့လုံးမယ်ဆို
He played mid for a while too, right?
အားလီ
Yeah,
လိန်
it's
သွား
not
နိုင်
that
လား
weird
ပေါ့နော်
for him.
ပကနာ
Yeah,
ရှာမန်
I
မာ
miss the mid hero. Yeah, give him to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're seeing it. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the mid puck now that the Huskar is banned, but good heads up ban there from Team Spirit. The Shadow Shaman, great hero at finding the puck. It's a little bit of a who finds who
အ
first
ခန်းဝေးအပြ
matchup, so we'll
အ
see
ခန်းဝေးအပြ
what
ဆို
the response is going to be from
Hero.
Liquid. I do think the Dawnbreaker is likely to come out. I don't think it necessarily needs to get picked here. We could see a support and the Dawnbreaker, or you could try and save for the Dawnbreaker pick on 18, but I would kind of like some flexibility in these two picks to maybe hide where they're going without giving up too much of the draft.
I think that's the
Or
nice
you just
thing
pick
about
comfort,
this.
you know?
Yeah, I think that's the nice thing about the Shadow Shaman pick, though, because you will have the instant Hex versus the Dawnbreaker. I think that's the, like, preemptive counter in a way. Of course, she'll still be useful later when you're trying to get a pick off with Shadow Shaman and you ult in, so I think they're deciding, like, is that worth it? Do we want something else? For now, they're going to get the Disruptor, which...
That's a cool one.
Static Storm, very good versus the Ember Spirit to keep him controlled up. But the long-range Glimpse is also very nice versus the Shackles. You know, he's going to try to Shackles in the back line. Position 5s often can't reach that far, but Glimpse is a massive cast range, so you actually can just glimpse him real quick to break the Shackles and free up your team. It also works quite well with a puck. You want someone who can get you vision far ahead in the fight so you can glimpse people back. And puck with the curveball is just like, yeah, where do you want it? I'm like, you know, curve this way, scout it
အမ်ဘ
out.
လာ
And he gets some
Ali
free
White
glimpse
on, man.
kills.
Liquid
I like
က
this
လုံးဝ
one.
Ali
Those
White တော့မှာ
support
အဲ့ဒါ
here, both really team fight
Blue
oriented.
Eye,
I'm with
Templar
you.
Eye.
I think the Dawnbreaker, in my opinion, is probably still
I mean,
top of
Tspirit
the
got
list, but Mars
late
is
games all night,
also,
I got
like,
it.
Mars and Magnus
But
are
he
both
went
really
over
good
met
picks
in
as
it.
well, so they don't really have to rely on the Dawnbreaker.
Liquid
But
Ali
you get to
တာမဲ့
see
အနေ
a little
ထားတွေ
more of
မြ
the
င်နေရ
draft before you pick your off lane, and you are correct where it's like Shadow Shaman is
Only
good at
Ali မတာ
countering
ဝို
the
င်းတော့
Dawnbreaker's
အဲ
initiation
ရှော့ရှိ
in,
မလား
but
ဝေးတိုင်း
like
ရဲ့
you also
ပ
said,
ကနာဖောက်တာတွေ
if
နဲ့
you
ပြ
try
န်
to make
တက်
a
သွား
shackle
တယ်လို့
play,
ပါ
you just
မ
instantly
ဖြစ်တော့မဖြစ်နိုင်
Dawnbreaker
ပါ
roll,
ဘူး
and the shackles
Good night.
have to end. Like it is
This
a
was that
great
Brew
counter
for the-
stopping that pickoff.
အမ်ဘလာ
They'll go for the Mars for
Division
the
over ပဲ
Mars.
တီး
Okay.
ညလုံးမိတ်ပြီး
It's
တီး
a good deny pick also. 'Cause, you know, as we were saying, it could be really good here
ဘယ်သူ
for
စားပစ်လိုက်
Saber
ကွာ
Light.
Tspirit
Expert
လုံးဝ late game
hero paired
easy ပဲ
really well with
easy
Dark
win
Willow. Gives them good team fight, so I think this is a solid pick here for Spirit. If you go the Yules build, you might be able to help find heroes like Puck.
အော်ဒါမင်းမလောက်မှာအစာပိုင်းဒါမင်းမလောက်မှာကြောက်ရင်
Spirit has the last pick this game, which
Either.
you're saving for Yatoro's
Waffling.
9th
Yeah.
new
ရ
pick.
ထိုးတော့
So something
ဒီ
stable
ဆွတ်တာ
like
ပါ
the
ရင်တော့
Mars,
အန်ရ
which
များတယ်
you're likely to get countered out by something Liquid picks, but you know it's hard to counter out a Mars, especially working with a Pugna.
Division
I think you
over
can
qua
actually swap this
40
Pugna and Shadow Shaman can go to
40
both lanes. But either combo will be pretty strong. You have some crowd control chain stun with the Shaman, or just constant poke and harass with that Pugna. And these are some heavy spellcasters on the side of Liquid so far, so that Nether Ward is going to be quite annoying for them.
I actually don't know the answer to this. If you go Bloodsport, can Dawnbreaker not target the
What?
person inside the arena
Yeah.
with her ult?
You know, it's so funny you asked me that because I was just playing yesterday and I had a Mars on my team who asked the exact same question and I said, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I didn't see it happen at the game, so I don't have an answer for you, Ricky. We're gonna find out.
I like.
Oh,
in
I thought you
theory,
were
I don't
with
think you really. Okay, it was like in
Oh, we
theory,
did 4D.
it's a targeted spell, so I don't know.
ဒီမဲစရောနဲ့ဒီမဲစရောကမ
Maybe
ဆော့
if
ပါ
you
ဘူး
just
ဒီပွဲတော့
select near the arena it targets the
Illusion
hero
ကောင်မ
that's
ပါဘူးလေ
closest. I'm not really sure.
I mean, if you had heroes outside the arena, you could target
ဒီ
those.
ပွဲက
and the
ဒ
hero
ဆူပါညာ
inside
ပဲ
the
လား
arena could just get close, but
Yeah.
like you said, you have to target it. So I want to say no. However, you have Puck who can just throw an orb inside. You have
Yeah. Static
Disruptor who
Storm.
has some vision spells.
Or
Like
Kinetic
I don't think it'll be
Field, yeah.
that hard to see inside the arena if he does go Bloodsport. But it could make a difference here and there. Anyways, not gonna matter because we're gonna have a Brewmaster picked up who has not been the most popular. But a lot of times when the offlaners are starting to get banned out, or some of his counters like the Sven already banned out, so this might have been preemptively thought out here. This hero has made a couple appearances. You've got the natural Dispel, which is good versus Decrepify. I mean, of course, you need level 6, but that's pretty useful. You have one panda, the most important panda, the Earth Panda, your default base panda, who can get out of the arena for free and give you some control versus some of these other heroes. So I like the idea, but now Yatoro's got the counter pick, which they actually ban out the Carry Muerta potential. That's a cool ban. Very rare one.
Over ကြိုက်တယ် over ကြိုက်တယ်40 good တယ် 1.72 easy off.
All right. Well, with dude, okay, hold on. Has he played Carry Muerta?
အာလီပိုင်း liquid တာ offlane နဲ့
Believe it or not,
split က
I think he
comeback
has.
တော့ story ကတော့အဲ့
That's
တိုင်းပဲ
actually crazy.
Yeah, he played at one of the other games versus Game and Gladiators.
Oh,
story
yeah,
ကတော့
there
အဲ့
it is.
တိုင်းလေးပါ
More
ပဲ
Sven.
Gyrocopter are pretty common to pick versus the Brewmaster. I'd say those are like some of the stronger heroes in the pool.
Gyro
would have
actually
been.
makes a lot of sense.
Would have been if Sven hadn't been banned. Weaver, we actually saw Falcons play some Weaver carry, and that was
That's a Skitter
old-
classic. I could see it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
that one was
that's
good.
why they picked it, but I think
Yeah,
Yatoro
yeah.
can play it.
Yeah, and that one's good versus Brewmaster.
ဂျာတိုတို့ဘလို့တော့ကြောက်လဲလို့မူလေးတားနဲ့ဂျာကားနဲ့ပန်း
Juggernaut.
Also good into Brewmaster though.
ဂျာတိုတို့ဂေါ
It's a classic Brewmaster counter. So
Jagga-
we'll see
Jagga
what
na
they-
i
I
balu
mean, the
bana
thing
le
is,
wa,
like,
Jagga na
if you're
pit da le
Brewmaster,
jiji.
you don't have kill threat on this hero at level 6. That is one of the main reasons you pick Brewmaster is you get level 6, you're supposed to be able to dive and kill the hero. This hero, he could just Blade Fury TP. Like that's just the nature of the matchup, and at that point you're trading your ult for a Blade Fury TP and it doesn't feel really good. Templar Assassin slips through the draft. That will be for Mickey. I love when he plays this hero because he typically builds the Maelstrom, which a lot of other people just do not do. But I think there's a lot of times when it's a great item, and this is a game where you could very easily make a case for the Maelstrom into Mjolnir.
အာဒီပွဲတော့မလုံး
For
တင်ပါဘူး
Spirit,
ဟိုက
are we gonna
ဟိုက
see
ချင်းတူစော့မယ်
is it
တကယ်ကဲ
Nitro for
ပြောနေ
this guy?
ဟိုကစတာ
Or how
ချင်း
many
တူ
different
ချင်းတူ
heroes
စက်
does he
မှာ
play?
လား
It
မ
would
သိ
be
ဘူးတွေ
this
ပါ
would be
ဒီ
heroes
ပွဲ
that
က
match
ကောင်းတယ်
heroes
လုံ
so
နေတယ်
far. Yeah, this
ကောင်း
would be
လေ
the
လို့
night
ဘယ်လိုလုပ်ကောင်း
heroes.
မှာတော့
Uh,
ချင်းတူနဲ့ဆိုရင်တခါတည်းအရှုံးပေး
some
လိုက်
good bans from
Played.
Liquid though, 'cause,
ဒီ Morphling line up ကိုချင်းတူနဲ့သွားဆော့လို့ကတော့
Oh,
ဖင်မှာပြောင်းသွားမယ်ဟိုမှာ
sorry, has he played who?
အာလီတဆူနဲ့ရူရှန်လောက်တာဝါတက်တခါတည်းအပီးအမ် အဲ့မဲ့လေဂိမ်းပုံစံသွားဆော့လို့ကတော့လောက်တော့မလောက်
I remember traditionally being pretty good against TA. I mean, Troll's an interesting one because if you can actually get the net onto her, like the root, it's a pretty free one. But if you don't,
Liquid
get the
9 လောက်
root,
လား
she
9လောက်တယ်
blinks away and
အာလီ
waits
ဆော့
around,
နိုင်9လောက်တယ်
chasing around. Be the
အာလီမဆော့
Morphling.
နိုင်ရင်ရှုံးပြီ
Is that a new hero? I think he might be someone who's played Morphling already.
He hasn't played this tournament yet, so actually that one is a new pick. We are at carry number 9 to put another check mark in the
All right.
in the counter. 9 new heroes.
ကောင်းပါလေ
That's so nuts.
ကောင်းတာကောင်းတယ်ဒီမကောင်းတာမဟုတ်ဘူး
It's
alright.
gonna be
Chain to-
difficult
chain to
to
ကဆက်ချင်
deal
ဆက်လို့
with,
ရ
'cause that's the thing. That's the same.
illusion
idea with
hero
the
တွေနဲ့
jump
အဲ့လို
ban.
CK တို့ Naga
Really the only
တို့
control you would
PA
have to
တို့
kill
အဲ့လို
him
တွေ
is
နဲ့
the
မှာ
static storm,
ပို့
which
ပြီးတော့
is
အသုံး
also
ဝင်
kind
တာ
of
ဒီ
Ember,
တိုင်းကဘာလို့မှာ
and, you know, whatever else is going on.
Breast
in the game,
damage ထွက်တဲ့
you
hero
fight all
breast
the
damage
Takis on the
မဆက်
carry.
ဘဲနဲ့
Well, now
အဲ့
you
လို
kind of got the same deal. This is a more
အဲ့လို chain တူကြီးနဲ့ပြစ်
Your
နေရင်
other crowd control is really not
မလိုက်ဘူး
the
ကွာ
greatest, so you kind of have to static storm him, and then you could kill him if you're fast. on
Templar
that.
breast damage ထုတ်ကသူ level
He's also
2
threatening versus
armor
puck, 'cause you can
reduction
pop the
နဲ့
puck and then
အဲ့လို
silence the puck himself,
one hit ထုတ်ရတဲ့ hero မျိုး
which is always a bit of a turnaround surprise. Like the puck is supposed to be the one doing that to you.
YouTube မှာပြပါလား
Morphlin turns it on you.
YouTube link ရှိတယ်လေ bro အဲ့မှာ
Discord's being a little sussy, I'll be honest. I only heard like the last 12 seconds of what you said.
YouTube link ပေးထားတယ်
Nothing
လေ
interesting.
But
Feel
I
free
was
to
nodding
repeat.
along, being like, wow, these are really good points. Absolutely. I completely understand what you're saying.
That's right.
post အောက်
No,
ပိုင်းမှာ
no,
YouTube
no,
link
it's
ရှိတယ် bro
completely
အဲ့မှာသွားကြည့်
Discord
ကြည့်
went silent, so unlucky.
Ali play အောင်
based
ဟို
on
ဘက်က
that, so
comeback game
where are
နဲ့
you leaning? Do you like
အဲ့ဒါ
one
ပဲ
more
လေ
than the other? I
အဲ့တစ်
knew
ပေါက်ပဲ
kind of
ကြည့်ရ
where you
မှာ
were going with the Morphling.
ကမ်းမဆော့တဲ့အသင်းကိုအားလီရအောင်ဆော့
Idea of what you were trying to say there.
အားပြိုင်မှုတွေတွေ့ရတော့မှာ
I think Spirit draft maybe a little bit more. I just think Disruptor has a lot to do here, and it's Yatoro, you know? It's like, oh, if this Morphin has a good game, and then it's like, well, Yatoro's playing, and I mean, he's probably gonna have a good game, and it's tough to argue against that, where I think he was given the final pick, he decided, here's how I'm gonna have the most impact. If Insania has a really good game, I could see them having the tools, like a Blink Aghanims build from him. Saberlight also kind of needs to have a good start, because Brewmaster's just not a hero that's very impressive from behind. You know, maybe this game, actually, he could do the Spirit Vessel build. Sometimes you skip it, go straight Radiance, but it's actually a pretty good Spirit Vessel game if you have a strong start. And off of that, maybe you can run a lot of momentum. But it's also very easy for me to see him having a bad laning stage and then just falling flat. So I think, yeah, maybe the first flood smokes, maybe the early laning stage will determine a lot for this game.
All right, well, let's do it. It is game number 1 of Spirit versus Liquid. It is the upper bracket finals here on the Fizz Universe episode 6. We're going to see Liquid making a deep rotation, which this rotation is pretty sick. The late smoke. They're going to try and get behind this tier 2.
I mean,
area,
and
maybe catch out the Morphin. Support who's going to be over there. But
Liquid 9 and
one of the best
Split 9 over
because once he has like level 2 or level 3,
this hero
doesn't really die to this lane.
Split 9 standing
very susceptible.
Yellow submarine
I like the chicken fingers pickup this game.
duration over
I think both facets are viable, but I do think you need a little bit more lockdown yourself. We're talking about Liquid lockdown for Morphling and Ember, but on the other hand, you need to make sure this Brewmaster isn't getting his ult off in fights. Same with this Puck. This is Nisha Puck, you know. It's going to be very scary in these fights, going to be jumping all over the place, and you really just have the Shadow Shaman to start things. Chain Gang works for a while, but eventually you often pick up a Yules as like your second or third item on the Puck, and that'll help you dodge out a lot. The Spear, if you're following up, great. But if you're just trying to land a spear against Nisha's Puck, this guy's got the reaction times. He's going to dodge it, I'd say 90% of the time. So a lot on Rue's hands and, you know, his chicken finger hands to control the heroes on Liquid for his team.
Do you understand chicken fingers this game? Is there a particular reason?
Yeah, for the Puck and the Brewmaster and the tasty snack in between games. Yum, yum, yum.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like normally we see chicken fingers like picked against like illusion heroes.
Chicken finger.
So, you know, it confuses me a little bit, being that there's, you know, not really something that fits that bill. Maybe they just feel like they absolutely need that extra like second of hex against the Puck, but we'll see what happens. Nothing else in terms of the facets really surprised me though.
Pause နေပြီအဲ့လို pause နေအနေရနော် 322 တွေလာနေပြီလားမသိကိုကြီးပြင်ညီလေးကွက်တော့မလုံးနဲ့နော်
I really like Fear's voice line. This is S tier.
Fine pause.
They're running through the voice lines.
Fine pause.
They mentioned some packet loss.
Yeah, I think they were saying Maposhko is having some internet issues earlier, right? So I'm not sure if it's.
Oh, မပြောပါနဲ့လာကောင်းပါလေ
You need to be on point here to get your Morphling off to a good start.
တစ်ချက်လီလီလာလာထားလောက်တာလောက်ပဲ
resolved. They did go for a smoke themselves. I'm curious where they're going to go, because Liquid clearly going in for that bottom play, set up some wards, maybe try to find that Morphling as he's coming to lane to get a good start.
Duration over 40
but Spirit has smoked right in the middle of the map, so they can go anywhere with this. I feel like you're also very interested in getting Morphling a good start. I don't know if
duration 40
I don't know if you'd expect to like smoke into your own jungle, you know, as a Spirit here. So I feel like we might actually just see both teams miss each other and then nothing happens.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely that they'll connect on the smoke. Nisha's actually in a good spot here already to pop it on the Puck. And both teams did go for like a later smoke, right? As opposed to like smoking in the fountain. They both moved all the way out onto the map before using it. Spirit literally just used it as the pause came out, so they've got a lot of time left. But Puck's not really the hero that you can easily grab, so.
You know how there's been some quality of life changes in Dota over time?
Of course.
Some like free observers that everyone always purchased at the start, but now you just get the money for free. Do you think Dota will ever give you one smoke for free at the start? It is so common to purchase, and it always has to be a support that purchases it.
That would be a really interesting change. I do like it.
Like one free smoke per team. Maybe you don't even have to use it at the start, but it's just like the first smoke your team buys in your inventory or like from the shop is free. This is a really deep wraparound from Liquid.
This is the hype. This is such a hype wraparound, actually.
They're getting close to
Baby,
smoke's gonna pop. He's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Turns out the whole side of Liquid has made the very long wraparound, and again, like we said, Yatoro. But not really at level 1. It will be first blood. Goes the way of Insadia. He chuckles as the pause comes out.
5 heroes bottom. That's a good time to use that.
That is solid.
အားလေးတာဘူးတော့ဖြစ်လာပြီ
Okay,
Liquid အားလေးတာဘူးတော့ဖြစ်လာပြီ
Mapochka is so funny. Mapochka is so funny. I don't know if you guys have ever like if you guys don't catch the interviews he does, this guy is low key. He's like relatively quiet until you do an interview with him, and then he always has like the quiet one-liners and the hilarious humor.
He really is. He's very underrated in the comedy. Can remake you give Nisha first blood. All right, I love this. Both teams having a good time here. We love that. It's all about the vibes.
All right, we were talking about making sure Saberlight has a good start on this Brewmaster, so the first blood going to go a long way towards that. It does mean you weren't in time to the lane to get the early body block like we like to see a lot of offlaners do nowadays. But it's kind of the trade-off of having to run in that direction to get the first blood. And the extra gold to make the difference. Looks like Mapochka being bullied. They didn't like his jokes. They stuck around there to try to catch him walking through. And they're going to get a second kill.
Ask for another really deep ward place.
Yeah.
So that's starting the game with a kill. Now, obviously, you would have liked, one of your cores to get the first blood, but I mean, I think you take it if you can get it. And for Liquid, that's going to be a lot of extra resources going into these lanes. Maybe but it ends up just being in the form of like tangos and clarities, or mangoes and clarities, and then some tangos and sows. Maybe you get like a Bassi, if you're really feeling spicy.
I think if you were a different hero than Disruptor, you might, but he used so much mana on these kills and then teleporting to lane that you've got to get some upfront mana. So yeah, he's got 2 mangoes and a clarity on the
Nisha.
Uh-oh. Nisha has like 4 creeps chasing him, and he's just running at Morel. Does need to be careful, though. Will jaunt on over across the river. His bottle's still a little bit away, so we'll be at a regen disadvantage, at least for now, but... Ooh,
unfortunate on those 2 last hits.
Yeah, and he will not have the bottle for the 2-minute rune, so opting for a little bit more stats. Also just really struggling to get last hits, focusing a lot more on the actual harassment of the Ember Spirit. But I mean, as you can see the matchup, he's 11-3 to 6-1. He's actually owning in CS.
2
water runes too, so a little
တိတ်မထုတ်ပြီးတော့နည်းနည်း
out of the norm for Nisha.
ဂိမ်းတန်တိတ်မကြောက် clean feed မရတာနားတယ်ကွာဒီပြိုင်ပွဲပုံမှန်ဆိုရင် clean feed ရနေကြဒီပွဲကဘယ်သူမှမထုတ်ပေးဘူးကောင်းဆိုးရယ် FISSURE
Oh my goodness.
All the side lanes
ဘာလို့မထုတ်ပေးလဲမသိ
going pretty well for Spirit so far, despite those early first bloods, perhaps because it went to the supports. Although these are 2 supports that are, it's pretty nice to have a strong start. Boxy Dark Willow is
အာ
definitely.
body blow နဲ့တကယ်
win.
သိလောက်လား
Saberlight? I think
Lâu
he
đi.
might be dead
He
here.
should be dead
Oh.
here. He is
တ
dead.
နိုင်တော့တနိုင်
He
သွား
must
တယ်
have no damage.
ဒါပေမဲ့တော့
It is
play
always so
စတန်
sad
လည်း
when
မ
a
ပါဘူး
centaur
အဲ့လို
denies a hero.
စလုံးလည်းမပါဘူးဘာမှမပါဘဲနဲ့မောဖလင်းနဲ့
He
ပတ်က
should
နာ
really using the pucket
Tao
grenade
à.
to its maximum
ကောင်း
potential.
ကောင်းတယ်
Two,
body blow ပြီးတောက်သွားပါတယ်တဲ့
off of like just one range creep.
အဲ့သူတို့မရလိုက်တာတော့နှမျောစရာပေါ့နော်စက္ကန့်20ကျော်လောက်တော့ဘုတ်ချိတ်သွားတယ်ပြီးရင်ပေါ်တယ်မရဘူး
The centaur
တော့ခရီးနဲ့
creep
တည်ရ
came
ဆို
low,
တော့
and Boxy was gonna use Shadow Realm to secure the last hit, so Pugna decrepified the creep
I love
until
that.
Yatoro could get there to get the last hit. It's those little small plays that really do earn you the gold advantage over time. But it's always
လက်
fun
စစ်
to
တွေကို
see
ကြည့်လိုက်
these,
အောင်
like,
စပရစ်က
high-level
သုံး
plays
အောင်
that
လက်စစ်ထိတ်
never
ဆုံးနေ
get
ကြီး
in
ပဲ
top games.
နော်အလဲမှာမရလဲကလုံနေပြီမရလဲ
Let's talk about these lanes because
Come
they
on,
are
back
all
net and
really
man, yeah,
really
tawad
good
pian ni
for
bi.
Spirit and pretty incredibly rough for the side of Liquid. Like all three in terms of CS are starting to pull away and pretty fast. Like Templar Assassin.
ဟီရိုကေးတာ
a
နှစ်
little
ကောင်
bit
ပေး
ahead
ထား
of ours, but this is
Can I-
a hero
အကုန်လုံး
that you
AC ပဲ
get into this lane to counter it. Saberlight does have a fairly large wave coming under his tower right here, so if he does manage to secure these CS, this will help a lot. Come on, you got this. You got this. Okay, we're
Teamwork,
gonna look
teamwork.
away. We're gonna look away. Insania topside taking a beating here from Rue. So
Ooh.
much damage coming out from the Shadow Shaman, and that will be a kill here onto the Disruptor.
Despite getting those first bloods, Spirit just laning really well here. I can't say I'm too surprised because this is the downside of Disruptor. He's not that strong of a laner. TA is pretty strong on her own, but oh yeah, we have some
Ooh.
ပုံ
Intermission
ထွက်
for
သွားတယ်ဟာ
sure.
စပရစ်က
Morel remake.
what the
Remake?
flash
Actually, I don't think you want to remake anymore as Spirit. You're actually doing pretty well. You may not know.
Can what?
He's feeling it, dude. He
Oh
stands
my
in for
g-
stands
dude.
in for Spirit. He's like, I'm undefeated. I can do this. I'll maintain the record on my own.
Dude, it's so funny because he's actually completely owning mid, and he's just like, yeah, I know I'm winning mid. I'm down.
I'm excited to see where Morel goes in the future.
I told
he's
you,
been
there's
very
no way he's
promising.
not getting poached after this. This is, he has not, they haven't just been like winning and like he's kind of just along for the ride. He's been essential to every single game, and he is owning. Like this guy is going up against the literal best mid laners in the world and beating them most of the time.
ဟုတ်တယ်မင်းလိမ့်မှာတကယ်လုံနေတာ
Very
အဲ့ဒီကောင်ကအဲ့ YES က
Good
ကောင်
job
က
here versus Nisha
သူ
too.
T split မှာအခုလိုစတန်နေဆော့ပြီးတဲ့အချိန်မှာအားလုံးရဲ့ attention တွေကသူ့စီရောက်
One of the best mid players out there. Now, of course, it's not.
Oh,
Just
Marine
the
lo
laning
ဖြစ်တော့မှာ
stage itself. Nisha managed to come back in a lot of bad situations.
ကဲလုံနေတဲ့မင်းအခုလည်းနီရှာကိုအလဲမှာဖုတ်ထားဆိုတာ
Oh, that was a very nice.
ပြုတ်နီရှာနောက်1900ပါဟိုကောင်2200ဖြစ်နေပြီ900လောက်ပြတ်နေပြီ
To getting away there, but just enough slow off the Cinder Brew.
ဒါလည်း Amber ဘက်က
Bramble get the ignite.
Amber နည်းနည်း
Not really a combo
တာတာ
we
တော့
see
တာ
that
တယ်
often, which is
နည်း
interesting.
နည်းမဆိုးသလောက်
And get some early earn charges too. You always need those when you rush this item.
ဒါပေမဲ့နီရှာရှောင်းနိုင်တယ်ကွာသိလားအဲ့ slide of field ရှောင်းနိုင်ရ
Mid lane.
ဟုတ်တော့တစ်ချက်
they
ရှောင်းရ
know
ပါ
Boxy is here. He
သေပြီ
sees the Brambles on the
ကောင်းပါ
mark.
ပြီအောင်ရင်
Oh my goodness. That hurts a lot. This will force Morel to have to make the long walk back home. Has no TP to get back to the lane. So we'll see if he makes it in time with the Remnant. About half
think he
duration. He
will.
should. Yeah, he
Yeah.
should. He'll make it with about
မီးပြတ်သွားမှာမဟုတ်လားဘူး router
Don't think.
Router
he'll make it
ကြာတာ
through,
ဖြစ်လောက်တယ်
though.
yeah.
စပရစ်က4កောင်လုံးကြာသွား
Six
မရလဲက
minutes.
မကြာ
Gets denied by Insania anyway. So unlucky there for Nisha.
တယောက်ကတနေရထိုတယောက်ကတနေရ
That's
Ça fait
so
déjà, puis là.
annoying for Liquid. Like, man, rotate everyone in, cancel the mid laner's TP, don't even get a rune out of this. What the heck? But that's just how the RNG goes sometimes.
နောက်ဝကြည့်လိုက်ရင်ထိတ်ဆုံးကမစ္စတာယာတိုရိုlevel 5 power trap AC ပဲသူ့တကောင်ထဲကိုပစ်ထားလို့ရသွားပြီအခုချိန်ကဒီဘိုးရှိကရှောက်သွားနေအောင်ပဲဘာမှမလုပ်
Look
6မိနစ်ခွဲ
for, what stacks are going on
9မိနစ်
here.
run လဲ control အောင်မယ်
Actually does have an observer in that triangle. So he could always
Top
go and just
lane?
absorb some farm.
ဟာ
Oh, I was gonna say maybe they make a play for collapse here, but a nice shackles out from Rue will get a lot of damage back over to Insania.
ပြန်ဆွဲခံရပြီ
Glimpse does end up sending collapse back, has to throw the spear to make some space for himself. And nice little trade and a good efficiency play there from Liquid, getting a lot of damage into collapse. I think the idea here was try and get the kill and then pressure for the 7-minute wisdom, but since he survives, Rue has the ability to just walk back, collect it. One wisdom shrine for each team. Saberlight's going to be the one that grabs the other as he needs to get to his level 6.
He's got it now. So this is where most carries would start getting really scared and have to consider just leaving the lane. Ooh, can you get the spear back?
အိုး
No, there's the
nice
CRN
collapse.
chain
But
Tspirit
Mirel comes through here on the
ဟုတ်
upper
တယ်
side. It's a
စ
really
ပီ
nice
က
two-hero
နှစ်ကောင်လုံးထိ
shackle,
တစ်ကောင်အချိတ်
but
ဒါပေမဲ့
Saberlight
ဟိုဘက်
into
ဆေးပါလန်လည်းရောက်နေ
rotation.
မြန်နေ
So
ဟာ
maybe hold down collapse.
ဆေးပါလန်
They've
ပေါ်တဲ့အ
got
ရင်
a
ကြိုစင်းထားတဲ့
cycle
ပုံစံ
onto
ကြီးကွာ
Rue, gonna
ကြည့်ရ
try
တာ
and chase
ဒီကောင်
him
ရောက်လာ
into
အရင်
tower,
မြန်
and now with Puck, actually doesn't take the
ဟုတ်တော့
jump to the
တွက်ကြည့်ရင်
orb.
ရှာမန်ဒီနားမှာ
Maybe
TA
that's
ကို
essential
ချုပ်တဲ့အချိန်
to
လောက်
try
ထဲ
and
ဟိုဟာဒီ
shackle
ကောင်
up
အဲ့
some
မ
of
တိုင်ရင်လည်းဟိုဟာကြာလာတာဖြစ်လောက်
Brewlings, but they've got the damage. Saberlight
အဲ့လောက်ထဲက
as
ကြာ
well
တာ
as
ဖြစ်လောက်
Nisha
တယ်
will
ဟို
finish
က
it
ကွက်
off.
တီ
Two
ရောက်
heroes
လာ
down
အေး
top side. They do have a catapult here as well. As Mirel will grab himself
over
out of
ပြီ
his room.
over ပြီ
Not the most powerful one,
Liquid
but
ဖြစ်ရင်
can make a
over
difference
ပြီ
for sure. Nisha
ဖိတာ liquid ကိုအားပေးရမယ်အားလီဘန်က liquid ပဲ
shackles. I
နော်
don't
ဆေး
think
ပါ
that
လို
was
က်အရင်
intentional.
ကောင်းတယ်
He just took the jaunt.
လွယ်လှုပ်ပြီး
Happened to dodge it out. Top lane.
အားရအောင်အေးဟိုမှာ more flame မှာဆင်းလာတာ
Deep, they really wanna
Piano
keep
chain
the
ထပ်
tower
ပြီးတော့
there again, but it might
ကုန်ပြီ
cost
လေ
you Nisha
လို့
and it- her Mickey
နှစ်
and
ကောင်
might
နဲ့
cost
ဘာ
you
လုပ်
Saberlight
အဲ့ဒါ
as well.
ဘာလုပ်
He's gonna try and run away here, slowed up by
ဘယ်
the
စစ်မရှိ
Decisive,
တော့တဲ့
but there's
Brew
gonna
နဲ့
be the
တွဲ
decrep.
ချိုးနေတာဒီဘက်ကောင်တွေက
5 heroes from Spirit. Surely Saberlight does not get out of this one.
ဟွန်း
Glimpse once again to try and make
ရ
some
တူတူ
space,
တဲပဲ
but
ကြီး
not enough.
အဲ့ကောင်ကြီးဆောင်းဖက်သွားရင်ကွိုင်းမယ် flying အစောကြီးနဲ့အားလီပြန်အံ့အောင်မယ်ကွိုင်းပဲအဲ့ဒါ
Now skyrocketing.
Oh, mana sa tayong flying.
On the net worth.
စောကြီးရသွားရင်
This is a
တီးမ
hero
နိုင်
that
တော့
I
ဘူးဒီကောင်
think has a lot of potential to take over the game. Even though Morphling is not considered to be in the greatest spot in the meta overall. You know,
ဘော
this
တာ
is
က
why the
အကုန်
last
ရိုက်
pick
ခွဲ
of Big
မှာ
Time
တဲ့
is
အဲ့ဒါ
where
ကြောက်စရာကြီး
Morphling
အဲ့ဒါ
games
ကြောက်စရာ
we
ကြီးမင်္ဂလာပါတဲ့ဘရိုမင်္ဂလာပါ
He's gonna have the Vlads already done and
Lava.
make his way over to the
အဲ့တကွက်ကြောက်ရတယ်ရာတူတူဖြည်းဖြည်းလုပ်ပါလို့ပြောရမယ်ဒီကောင် တာတိုင်းဆုံးမလုပ်ပါနဲ့လို့ over ရိုက်ထားလို့ပါလို့
especially someone like Yatoro.
အဲ static strong ရလို့ရှိရင်တော့အဲ့ကောင်သွားလုံးလို့တော့ရတယ်
You have Static Storm
ကတ်တာ
online.
insane က
I think
level
you're
4 ပဲ
making
ရှိ
the
သေး
play
တယ်
for
ရောင်
the
လေး
more
ပေးလိုက်ပါ
fun.
အောင်
You
level
already
လေးပါ
have
လေး
some answers for the puck.
မင်းမှာ level သွား
Or
ယူတာ
starting
မျိုး
at
ပါမျိုး
with
လုံးတင်
the
နေပြီ
puck.
နော်
And you know, bringing in any of these other heroes, but the Morphling, like you said, not really easily dealt with. So I would like to see them make that rotation with the Static Storm of Disruptor. The downside is he's very under-leveled. I think he did not get the benefit of the Wisdom Shrine.
That's true. They gave it over to
It went to Saberlight.
so then it might have gone over to Boxy.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see who was lower level at that point, but yeah, as we hit 10 minutes, he is still... I mean, he's almost 5, but that means there's a full level to go right after that. And the support combo is strong. Bedlam plus Static Storm is a kill just between supports. Terrorize plus Coil is very strong, so you do want to get the level 6s for these supports. At the same time, Spirit facing a similar issue, slightly less degree, but their supports just hit 6 on Miposhka. Shadow Shaman still needs his.
Saberlight playing some ring around the rosy here with Yatoro. He has brewed up that he can throw here, so I don't really think he's in trouble. Like, he's got 4 points.
insane က upgrade level လာမယူမင်းမှာ
Ends up being a lot of evasion and movement speed.
ပေးနေတယ်လို့ဒီကောင်လည်းဆေးရမှာ morphling ကိုသွားတက်လို့ရမှာဒီတိုင်းမရဘူး
Focus Brewmaster, right? Anytime you
ပုံ
go
မှာပဲနေပြီးနေရ
top side collapse. He's just going to be stuck inside of the kinetic field. Tries to
See,
throw a
yeah,
spear.
swear on
Now,
me.
he will get glimpsed. And with the primal split gear coming through from Saber,
Wow,
he
yeah,
will
man,
drop
arena.
the
Oh,
Evo,
leave what
gets
they know, yeah,
right
yeah.
back into the center of it. He's going to try his best to escape and play on the walls here, but the damage from these Brewlings, it might be too much. No,
Bobby.
great save here from this
back ပါရောက်လာအိုး twin ကွိုင်3កောင်ဟုတ်တော့ဟုတ်တယ်မားဆိုရှောသွားပြီ Okay ဒီဘက်မှာပက်ကနာပါထက်ရဖို့တော့များတယ်ရှာမန်ပါရပြီ Okay nice well play Liquid
to take out Saberlight either. It will be 3 dead, and Liquid with great control here will find themselves another one fight on the top side.
well play
Oh, what a
အိုး
stack
စက်တက်ပါ
to steal as
စားတာ
well.
ဟေးအောင်အေးတမ်ပလာရောက်
They
လာ
have to
ပြီ
work really hard for that mark.
အဲ့ဒါတော့နည်းများတယ်ဟာ
Pretty
အဲ့လောက်တော့
close
မလုံး
at
နဲ့
the
လေးလို့
end. This is where taking that tier 1 tower early does pay off. It slows
Oh,
down
sat that
the
is hobby.
rotations from Spirit by
တမ်ပလာကိုပတ်ကောလုံးဝ
just
ထေး
enough
သွား
to
ပြီ
make sure you get the
တက်တက်
first
ကြီး
kill.
သူတို့ဘက်မှာလည်းသူတို့
Once
stat
the
လုပ်ထားတယ်ဟိုမှာဘောင်စီက
kill
ဘယ်နှအုပ်တောင်လုံနေ
goes
stat
down,
တွေ
you get the huge reward of the
Whoa.
stack steal. Mars will make it in time to absorb the XP of just a few ancient creeps. Pretty paltry. At
I
least
don't
your
know-
Morphling was free farming. That's what you're
Yeah.
telling yourself right now. You're like, okay, it's okay, guys. Space for Yatoro. It's okay.
I don't know if we can see the number.
Space
of
for
I know we
Yatoru.
have a-
Yatoru
a-
ကတော့
a
တကယ်
graphic for it, but I don't know if we can
Hey,
see the number
so-
of stacks made. I feel like that was all of the stacks that Spirit has made, except for maybe if Morphlings made some. But that was like a 4 or 5 stacked hard camp and like a 3 or 4 stacked ancient camp, all going to the side of Liquid. So they build themselves about a 1,000 net worth advantage off of this. It's not the most. It's not like it's insurmountable by any means, but denying that from, say, you know, the
တမော
Mars or
Okay
the
မ
Emperor
ဘော
or
ဖလင်းကို
the
တက်ချိန်
Morphling is a
ရောက်
big
ပြီ
deal.
เนาะဒီစတာအခုမှစိတ်ရောက်တယ်12မိနစ်13မိနစ်တွေလည်းထိုးနေပြီ
Oh,
Ooh, last
I was
second.
like, I think he was looking
အဲ
to
ရာ
break
တို
his
ရို
spell.
အဲ့လောက်
Maybe
ရှာရ
he
တာ
knew
လွယ်ပါမ
something
လား
was
ဟိုမှာ
up
ရာတို
there.
ရိုကသူတို့ဘက်ချမ်းဂျန်ကယ်ရောက်နေပြီရာရှာဗလာဒီမာနဲ့
Shadow Shaman just before he gets in range.
တွေ့
of
လောက်
the
ဘူးနော်
Hex.
ကိုထင်
Yeah.
Thank you, creeps.
ဟိုကောင်ခဏနေ
That's
triangle
actually
နဲ့
very
တိုး
well
တော့မှာ
timed, you know, waiting for the creeps to move up to help give you vision. It's actually a very common mistake to move up ahead of your creeps when
ဒီ
they
စ
are the
တာ
ones
ပြောက်
that
တာ
can
အ
go
ရင်
first.
ကြာသွားပြီဆိုတော့
Thank you, creeps, but you're a little
ပြုံ
bit more
အောင်လန်းဖက်
expendable
ဆောင်
than
နာ
the
မှာတော့
heroes
သွား
of
မ
the
နေ
player.
တော့
So,
ဘောဖလင်းက
you let
ဆော
them
င်းရ
go
န်တတိ
first,
ထား
get you some information, and that allows you to make some.
တော့လည်းမ
decent
ပတ်စား
gains
တယ်
from that one.
ရှေ့မှာဒါတော့ရှာမန်
They
မတက်ရက်
also,
ပေးနေ
like,
လို့သူစားရတာလေလား
slightly body blocked the Shadow Shaman.
ဖက်ဆောင်နာမသွားဘူး
Like, the second his smoke broke, they pathed over to him, and he bonked one of the creeps.
တော့တော်ရဲ
which
ပြန်
is
လဲသွား
actually what
ငလဲ
makes it
အဲ့ကောင်
difference
တက်
between
ဖို့က
getting
လွယ်တော့မလွယ်ဘူး
the shackles or not, so, or just like the hex off or not, you know.
Ooh, I
So
don't
you're
know if you
right.
guys can
Waiting for
see
those
it right
creeps,
now.
big deal.
In front of the Roche pit, Maposhka just placed a ward.
အာဒီဘက်မှာ
It's a
insane က
new
စ
kinda
တက်
like
နေတာဟာ
cliff spot. I don't know how new it is, but I've just been seeing it more.
သူလည်းသိတော့သိလိမ့်မယ်သိလားရာတိုရိုကြီးကိုတော့မတက်ပါဘူးကွာတဲ့ဒီကောင်ကတက်လဲရှာတွေ့မှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုပြီးတော့ကိုယ့်အနေကိုစတက်ပြီး
But
ဖမ်း
it's a
နေ
good one to use in your pub games, guys, if you're watching. And,
Shout out
the
more
five
is
of you
all
that
good.
buy wards out there.
How rude of you to think anyone buys wards.
I know my
They're
one
free.
guys out there. Let's go.
They're free. No one has to buy them.
And yet, why are there 4 in the base then, Ricky?
There's always 4 in stock, but it's just a mystery to me. We'll never know.
All right, but Poshka's been getting to work on this tower. I mean, look at that. By himself, almost finishing the job here. Forcing Nisha to be here.
Just Pugna things.
Just Pugna things. He's probably got the highest building damage in the game right now.
Maybe behind Saberlight.
မရလဲကဘေးကတစ်မျိုးပါလားရ
Saberlight
maybe
has
behind
rotated
Saberlight.
around.
အမ်ဘာကို
Because he did a lot of top.
Blame me, let me tell you
top
how.
tier 1.
ခိန်းတူလားဆိုလည်းမဟုတ်ဘူးဘေးစလီယာလားဆိုလည်းမဟုတ်သေးဘူး
In the jungle here. Want to quickly
တာယာ
remind
ဆက်
us,
ဆိုင်တ
go
င်
ahead
ထည့်ထား
and follow Fissure by
ပြီးတော့
typing
အပြာချောင်းသွားဖို့လုပ်
F in chat. F's in
F
chat
for
maybe
Nietzsche.
for the puck as he's gonna get found. Doesn't get the silence. Orb gets away, and well, with this, Nisha's gonna survive. Rue trapped in a prison of his own making. Well, not technically his own making, but kind of.
တာယာပြ
You
ချော
can
င်း
argue it. Saberlight looking to go to the mid lane.
Maybe.
Vessel is out. We'll go ahead and drop the Cinder Brew. Mickey is going to try and chase. They do have the Primal Split, but they're holding it. They will use it now to make sure that they have the stun, the pullback. They take down the Pug down. This will mean the mid-tier 1 tower
Yes,
is
that's
dead.
all
They
it.
have made
Objective
every
တွေလာပြီ
single
Tower
rotation with
Roshan
this Brewmaster
ကိုပြောပါတယ်
after
ချင်းတူနဲ့မဆော့ပါဘူး
huge
လို့ဒီ
team
ပွဲ
fight wins into objectives.
objective တွေလာပြီဥရိုရှန်ယူလို့ရတယ်ဒီကောင်လေးယူချင်းရင်
But you get the
အဲ
tower.
brew မရှိတော့
Yeah, that's
ဖန်လို့လည်းရတော့ရ
actually
ပါ
Deso too. Off of that stack
Bruce
steal that we saw
Machine.
earlier. So get some Deso charges and helps you finish that tower. Looking to claim the top building damage himself. Uh-oh, Saberlight.
ဒီ7
Not
ကို
anymore, but
ဒီ
he
7
does
ကို
have
2000ဘယ်လောက်မှာ
evasion
စ join
from
တာ
the
လဲ
talisman, so he's actually quite safe versus a lot of the physical damage.
G7 စပေါ်တာ
He's
ဘယ်
so
နဲ့ဘယ်နှ
farmed,
ခုနှစ်ပါ
actually. I can't tell you how many times we see brewmasters fall really flat, and you look at the network.
G7 ကို join တာမဟုတ်ဘူး G7 ကကိုကစတာ
support who presses ult and all the brewlings immediately die.
G7 ဖောင်မှာဖောင်မှာပလေယာကိုပဲ
relevant right in the game.
တိုးတီတို့ဘာတို့ကကန်ဂျီတို့ကနောက်မှရောက်လာ
after finishing the vessel.
G7 လုံးဝအိုးလုံးဝဟို original က
he's still got
ကိုပဲကြံတာကျန်တဲ့ original player တွေလည်းရှိတယ်ဒါသူတို့တွေကဖြည်းဖြည်းထောက်သွားကြတာပေါ့
ahead of the mid lane Ember
တထောင်တွေက original ကကိုပဲရှိတယ်
Mars
အဲ့ဒါဘယ်နှခုနှစ်လဲဆိုတော့
I think the important
ထောင်
thing
နေကိုယ့်အသက်ကိုတွက်ကြည့်ရမယ်
it's not strictly the net
ကိုယ့်
worth
အသက်ကိုတွက်
that
ကြ
you
ည့်ရ
have to
မယ်
have,
ကိုယ့်အသ
but
က်က
the playmaking and space from a brewmaster, right? So even if he was poor, but he was drawing a lot of attention and all that, right? Then that's pretty good. The downside is just when you see those poor brewmasters and they're just AFK farming to catch up. That's the problem.
ဆိုရင်14နှစ်ဆိုဘယ်လောက်
Saberlight here has been very active.
ဒီနှစ်ဆိုရင်
He's not the most farmed
16
on
နှစ်
his
ပြန်လို့
team, but he's been using his ultimate pretty much off
2000
cooldown, using the Spirit Vessel. He's been given a little bit of time now. It's like, hey, thank you for making the space. We've got the Witchblade on the puck. I believe he has another item being delivered.
Back. All right, they will find themselves the Brewmaster. Saberlight does finally die. They've got plenty of damage, but you lose Mirel in mid lane on the Ember, so it's not without a trade. Yutoro, however, trying to make value out of this, does get the morph off, so he should be safe to survive here. Does
2008 လောက်က
he's basically a puck as well, so he's got tons of mobility, he has tons of spell damage.
G7 အဲ့မတိုင်ခင်တည်းကဖြစ်နေပြီ
out here.
ကို9တန်း10တန်းလောက်တည်းက G7 သာမဟုတ်တာတော့နေပြီဒါပေမဲ့ G7 လို့နာမည်ပေးပြသွားတာဟုတ်တယ်2008 9လောက်မှထင်တယ်
is also quite good.
G7 ကိုဂျာကြီးထောင်နေထင်နေတာတဲ့။အော်ဒီလိုပဲလေနှစ်တွေကြာလာတော့
So still a bit of time.
နှစ်တွေကြာလာတော့ဘယ်သိတော့မလဲ။ G7 ကိုထောင်တာ ပေါင်တာဟိုစပွန်ဆာ23လမ်းအဲ့လိုဂိမ်းဆိုင်
I guess
Ain't like owner.
technically he made it.
electronic ဆိုင်လဲပိုင်နေသူကကိုကြည်လင်းဆိုတာသိမယ်ထင်တယ်တော်တော်များများအဲ့လိုဟိုးရင်က player ဆိုရင်သိပါ
That's actually why you need the Spirit Vessel right there.
ကိုကြည်လင်းကမှတကယ်အဲ့လိုတင်းမြဲ founder ပေါ့နော်အဲကိုရီးယားကျတော့ founder player
Yeah, I feel like it was
အစထောင်တွေကပါတဲ့ player ဆို former player လို့ပြောလို့ရ
It's one of those things that like
Team
if you don't
founder
actually
Kojile.
address
Hello.
Pugna in terms of items.
Dodi
he's
do-
just actually too good. We're gonna see
Gaido
Isha
now my
hiding on
out.
the side here with a shield rune. Gets a coil onto two. Now he's quite low on collapse.
collapse
but
ကမ
can
သေး
he
သေး
bring
ဘူး
down
အိုး
Moxie?
လာပြီပတ်အ
The
နောက်
Curse
မှာ
Crown will stun them up.
နောက်နေပြီ
Squirrel
နီရှာနောက်နေ
1-1.
ပြီ
Happy to
နီရှာ
trade
နောက်နေပြီ
that Dark Willow for the Mars.
နောက်တော့ 3k တော့တာနေပြီကွာဒီလိုလေးကပုံမှန်ပဲဒီ draft ဒီအနေထားဒီလိုလေးကပုံမှန်ပဲ အဲ့ဒါအောင်မှာ Spirit က comeback လောကကွက်တိ duration over ပြောရမလို့နောက်တော့ 3k လေးနဲ့စတော့ဖိနေပြီ
Careful about jumping a shadow.
တော့မှ
shaman
ရာတူလူကတော့
aggressively.
10တော့10တာနောက်တော့
Very easy hex shackles behind enemy lines that will lead to your death.
ရရကဘယ်ရောက်သွားရရတို့ဘာလို့ခစ်က
He's actually going to queue.
နောက်ပိုင်းရောက်သွားပြီအရင်နောက်ပိုင်းဖြစ်သွားပြီ
Not a common item to see this early, but I think he recognizes the danger of the shadow shaman.
7လူ9ယောက်ဖြစ်လာအဲ့ဒါကိုလေးမသိဘူးဘယ်သူမှမသိဘူးအဲ့ကိုကြည်လင်းမသိ
Needs to be very careful. Yeah, he got baited so hard.
အဲ့သူတယောက်ပဲသိတာ
Okay, this is one of those deaths that is really costly
အဲ့
because
တော့
if
နာ
you
မည်ပေး
lose
မယ်
more
ဆိုပြီးစဉ်းစားလိုက်တဲ့အ
heroes,
ချိန်မှာ
I
အဲ့
don't
သူ
think
ပြော
you
သူ
can,
သူပေးတာပေါ့နော်အဲ့လိုပေး
stop
လိုက်
him
ဆို
from
ပြီး
just taking
ကိုရီးယားအဲ့တော့
Roshan
ကလေးပဲ
now.
ရှိသေးတယ်လေ
Sadia
ကလေးပဲရှိ
will
သေးတယ်
die.
tournament အဲ့လိုပြိုင်ပွဲတော့
The courier
ပြိုင်ပွဲဆိုဂိမ်းတိုင်းပြိုင်ပွဲတွေပါဂိမ်းတိုင်းလုပ်တဲ့အဲ့လိုပြိုင်ပွဲတွေပေါ့နော်
That's pretty big
အပြိုင်ပွဲနာမည်ပေးရမယ်ဆိုတော့နာမည်တစ်ခုလိုတယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါဘာပေးရမလဲဆိုတော့
from
သူ
the
က
Shadow Shaman.
amplify.
စဉ်းစားပြီးတော့
just spawn top. If you can
ဒီ
stop
7လို့
this,
ပေးလိုက်
get
တယ်
on
အဲ့
your
သူပေးခိုင်းတဲ့အတိုင်းပေးလိုက်တာ
Roshan
နှလုံးနဲ့
first.
ဘာတိပဲလဲတော့မ
He's
သိ
the first to see it. But Yatoro is on.
သူကတော့ပြော G7 လို့ပါ
Okay, that's a nice steal. Do you think they, because like
ခေ
basically
တန်းကတော့လူတစ်ယောက်
there's-
လူ
this
9ယောက်
sort of
ရှိ
thing
တယ်
you
လို့
could
ပါ
argue that
Oh,
both
who?
teams can take Roshan and both teams can
Yes
take
G
Torment
and
first.
7ပဲ
So I'm curious if we will see team
Alphabet
play
G,
Saberlight
number 7.
almost has his radiance.
အဲ့နှစ်ခုပေါင်းတာဒါပဲ
Makes sense as to why some of these plays bottom are not going successfully because you are missing the Brewmaster and he is a big part of that early team fight. And the Radiance is something you do need to prioritize picking up. It looks like they are going to make the play here for the Tormentor. Mickey stuck in a animation. We love that one.
I actually think, yeah, that's
So
true.
about you,
I also
ya do
think,
de be
you
ki
know,
ya wa.
Nisha went a little far on
But
that
it be
play
nine wa.
and got
ငါပြောနေရ
killed
နည်းနည်းပွဲ
on his
လွတ်
own, so that opened up the opportunity
17 မိနစ် နောက်ကတော့ 4K
I think
တာ
you
နေတယ်
are
ပေါ့
in a
နော်
holding
liquid
pattern until Radiance
ဘတ်တယ်
is
အရင်
finished,
ဆိုင်လို့
which
မရ
is
တော့ဘူး
now. So now you look for a fight and then take whichever objective you want.
လူချန်ယူမလား
Roche, right? Like if you take the fight near Roche on and you have any of the
grade 7 ဆိုတော့
left,
6တန်းပေါ့အဲ့ဒါလည်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ် grade 7
walking up on
6တန်းကလေးတွေ
Upper
သူက
Cape, they
အဲ့
actually
အဲ့ချိန်မှာ
do
ကိုက
find
8တန်း
Roche
ဖြစ်နေပြီစပြီးဆော့တော့
but it's
8တန်းဖြစ်နေ
right on the other side of the tree, so he did not see
အဲ
them
အေး
making
ပေါ့
their way up.
8တန်းလောက်ဖြစ်နေပြီ8တန်း9တန်းပေါ့အဲ့နာအဲ့အသက်နာဖြစ်နေပြီ စပြီးပြိုင်ပွဲစဆော့ပြီးတော့ကျန်တဲ့အချိန်
Vessel is there. They should have the damage to bring him down. He's got no BKB quite yet. It's close, but not quite yet finished. Root will make it to safety. Doesn't say you have another glimpse. Not for 5. The question is whether or not they will
like
go
OG like
searching for
G7
him on
အမှန်ပဲ
High
OG ဆိုလဲကြည်ပါလား
No,
OG
I think you just take that opportunity to go do Roche.
ခြေကောက်ကဘာလဲဘယ်သူမှမသိဘူး
Nice
သူတို့ကို
glimpse
သူတို့တောင်
off
မ
of
သိ
a-
ဘူးအဲ့
an
no day တို့
unusual
set
nerf
တို့တောင်
that
မ
is
သိ
at
ဘူး
the
ကွာ
tail
OG က
end,
ဘာလဲ
so Spirit might come out looking for this and unfortunately won't find it.
G7 လည်းအဲ့လိုပဲ
They don't check in the next 30
နှ
seconds.
လုံးပဲ
See the pings on Roche. Look, they're trying to get the wisdom shrines first. I actually thought they would just beeline it to it without the Mars because I think both teams were respecting that there are some good ultimates around Roche Pit. You have Nether Ward, Serpent Wards, and Arena around you know, funnel air-to-air area.
လူရှန်စယူပြီလူရှန် first လူရှန်နည်းနည်းတော့နောက်ကျနော်23မိနစ်တွေပါ
Here
ဖြစ်
we
နေ
go. Looks like they were just waiting for
And they don't know
maybe
Jack.
one more item got delivered or something on someone.
ဒီ switch အတွက်အချိန်ရတော့ရတယ်
It's like
ပေါ့
mid lane was at the tier 2 bottom.
ချိန်တိုင်းဟို
It's
ကောင်
like
flying နေ
tier
BKB နဲ့ရိုက်ခွဲတော့
the lanes out.
အခုတော့ဘာရနေပြီလဲမ
Like,
သိ
'cause
ဘူး
once
more
you
play
have
อ่ะ
Radiance on Brewmaster, you
Fly
can
များ
take
ရ
this
သွားပြီလား
definitely, right? Brewed up plus Radiance, it's
Hurricane
stupid
ဒါမှမ
amount
ဟုတ်
of evasion,
Hurricane
so
BKB လဲ
Saber
စွမ်းတယ်
Light
flying ထည့်တယ်မလို့
does not
ဟို flying ရသေးဘူးကွာ
LB.
200 လို
He
သေး
just
တယ်
put Nisha on the puck, which I really like this decision because
အေး
it
ရ
is
သွားပြီ
going to
fly
be Nisha
အဲ့တန်3ကွက်
who
ဟ
is
လာ
going
မနာဆိုင်
aggressively
Vladimir fly
and
BKB လိုသေးတယ်
one
သူ
that
static
dies
strong
and
တွေ
is
ပါ
caught
တွေ
by
ထွက်ဖို့
the
အတွက်
Shadow
BKB
Shaman or
လိုသေး
something
တယ်
like that, or just by
BKB ရဝိုင်းတော့အဲ့ကောင်ကြီးကိုတားလို့မရ
the
တော့
becoming
တမ်ပ
puck.
လာလည်းမရ
That's
ဘူး
another
ဘလူးလည်းမရဘူး
great
ဘလူး
way
ဆို
of
4 ကောင်လုံးအပြစ်ခံရတော့
But for now, I don't think either the Brewmaster or the Templar
Original
Assassins are too
Gansada
far,
li.
but they're really tanky right now with how they have built and how high level
Origin
they
နဲ့
are.
ဂန်စတာ
I think it's also Puck who is your initiator. So some games you have someone else, you know, like a Axe off lane who can go in first and bait things. And so then you can be a little bit more careful with when you choose to go in as the Puck, and then you're less likely to die. But in this case, Brewmaster kind of needs to make sure he gets the primal split
အဲ့တော့ကတင်းမိတ်မဖြစ်ဘူးတဲ့အကြိုက်ဆုံးလူခဲ့ပလီယာတဲ့
in the way a Puck can.
ကြိုက်ဆုံး
Yeah, I like this age is over to him.
အဲ့တော့ကကလေးပဲရှိသေးတယ်အ
Second
ကြိုက်ဆုံး
Aegis
ဆို
will
ပြီးတော့အဲ့
probably
လို
go to
မ
the
ကြည့်ဘူး
TA
လား
as
လို့
part of sieging the high ground. But this first one.
ပလီယာတွေအကုန်ကြိုက်တယ်အမဂျူကို
Butterfly is online
ကြိုက်တယ်
for the Morphling. That's a big
ပြီး
one.
အဲ့ကိုရှေ့ generation ကပလီယာတွေအကုန်ကြိုက်တယ်
So I've got a
အ
question.
ကုန်လုံးကိုကြိုက်တာ
How
အဲ့
do
လို
you
မျိုး
address
ဘာလို့
the
သူတို့
butterfly
ပွဲတွေ
technique?
ကြည့်ပြီး
Do
ကို
you
တွေက
just rely on your team's magic
ဒီဟာကို
damage, or
inspire
do you
ယူ
have
ခဲ့
to
ရ
go
တာ
back
ဆို
for MKB now?
ဘာဂျူကိုတို့
So
0
yeah, you got
တို့
an
ပြီးရင်
MKB.
ဟို
Yeah, I was like, I don't
အန်
know
နေ
if
က
you
ကလ
have
မ
enough
တွေပါအများကြီးပဲကွာ
damage.
ကလမတို့
Is that
ဘာ
like,
တို့
BKB on him?
Yeah, he finished the BKB.
ကိုတွေစပြီးစော့နေပြိုင်ပွဲမှာ
So you
ကျန်းနေ
kind of
ပြီဆိုတဲ့
ignore
အချိန်မှာ
Morphling
တော့
to some degree
ကြိုက်တယ်
if
ဆို
you
တဲ့ပလီ
can.
ယာအဲ့လိုမရှိ
Figure
တော့
out the other heroes and then
ကိုက
you
လည်း
get
ကို
the
ကျုံးနေရ
Morphling. Smoke break.
သူများကိုမကြည့်တော့ဘူး
He's
ကိုကလည်းကို
building BKB on Morphling. He
ပြအောင်
did
ပဲ
right
လုပ်တော့
there.
အဲ့ချိန်မှာနိုင်ငံခြားဟိုဟာ TI ဟို TI မဟုတ်ပါဘူးအဲ့လိုနိုင်ငံခြားဟိုဟာတွေ
Yeah.
တော့
Morphling
ကြည့်ရ
gonna
ပါ
work
တော့
on his own
အဲ့ချိန်မှာ
BKB,
local
so
မှာ
he doesn't
မရှိတော့
worry about the static storm.
ကိုတွေပဲအကျန်းဆုံးဖြစ်သွားလို့လားတော့မသိတော့အဲ့ local မှာမရှိတော့အကြိုက်ဆုံးဆိုပြီးတော့
Liquid trying to set up on this
ဒီစားပဲတင်လာမယ်ထင်တယ်တဲ့
area. Every
အဲ
other
တယ်
ancient
လွန်
frame
စောစော
to
EPD point သွားကြည့်ရတော့တယ်လွန်က EPD point များတဲ့
the
ကိုတွေ
eventual
SC အတင်း
poke at the
အဲတဲ
high
လုံး
ground. I
fight မ
think
လား
we
ပေါ့
won't
နော်
see them push too hard unless they manage to win a
အဲ
big
ဘောက်စီက
fight,
ဘာလုပ်နေအဲ့နားမှာ
which is breaking out.
အော်ဖိတ်ထားတာဖိတ်ထားတာဟိုကောင်နေဖိတ်တာဝင်သွားပြီအေးဟိုမှာမော်ဖလင်းမိနေတဲ့ status round ထဲမှာတေးပြီလားမသိဘူးမော်ဖလင်း
It's gonna be so close.
Oh,
How
but they
is he
all-
surviving
but they
this
all-
long? But finally, the numbers are overwhelming.
Ya
Toro
Toro,
needs
ya,
to be
eh.
careful. The buyback's coming in
ဘ
from
လို့
the
တော့မ
Shadow
သေး
Shaman.
ပါလေဒါပေမဲ့နောက်ဆုံးတော့သေးပါ
Starting
ပြီ
to get very low.
ဘာသာဆိုင်လည်း
Spear
မရှိ
here
တော့
will
ရှော့
go
သွား
ahead
ပြီ Spirit
and
Vessel တင်တာ
find their Templar
ဒါပေ
assassin.
မဲ့တန်ပလာကိုရအောင်ဖြတ်သွားသေးတယ်။အော်ဗတ်တရားအဲ့ဒါနိုင်တယ်ပဲပြောရမှာ
And it will
Sprit အနေနဲ့
be
ကြည့်ရဲဆို
one
အဲ့ဒါ
fight
နိုင်
here for
နိုင်တယ်
Liquid.
လို့ပြောရ
A
မှာဗတ်
dieback
တရား
on the Shadow Shaman. You still managed to
တန်
hold
ပလာ
the
ရှော့
lead.
သွားတယ်တိုင်မင်ကကျိုး
I
ပြီအဲ
thought for sure you would never be able to kill the TA, but they make it happen. The buyback pays off.
He got just enough evasion procs with his butterfly to keep him alive.
ကိုလံဘီ
Because he
ကိုလံ
also
ဘီယာ
managed
ကီ
to switch to strength before the static
Yeah.
storm hit. So that kind of counts
Ulan
the static storm
Biyagi.
damage and the other slower damage coming out.
ရန်
from,
ကုန်
like,
မန်းလေး
Spirit
ကလန်
Vessel
နေ
Brigades, and then just enough butterfly procs.
ဒူတာတဲ့အင်ဂိမ်းဝက်ဆယ်ရမ်းအမြင့်ပွဲကြည့်မရတော့ဘူးဟုတ်လားဟုတ်လို့လားရပါတယ် public
He
ကြိုက်တဲ့
tanked
ပွဲ
over
ဝင်ကြည့်လို့ရပါတယ်
4,000 damage on
တို့ဒီက origin ကြီးတန်းမဟုတ်တာကိုသိတယ်ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့2010မှာသူရဲ့သူကရောက်သွားဆိုတော့နေဟုတ်တယ်လေတို့ဒီ
You
တို့
still kept the Aegis
Baru
alive,
at
so you still
that.
have a minute if you want to
ဒါ
try.
ကြီးက
to
တက်
keep
တက်
that.
တင်း
In a way, that's a little bit more favorable
နော်
because that
ကို
was
ရီးယား
Spirit starting.
G7 အဲ့ချိန်မှာဒါကြီးကိုအခြားတစ်တင်းကနေခေါ်လိုက်တယ်
On the run here, tries to survive here
အဲ့
with this
တို့ဒီက
glimmer. He's
wave
gonna go
wave
ahead and
အဲ့
really
သူတို့
go
ရောက်ဖ
for
လေး
it.
တို့
Insane
wave
issue
ကနေ
here
ပြီး
to
ရှိုးဒီ
cancel
ကို
it.
ခေါ်လိုက်
Static storms him actually. Thought he was just gonna like glimpse him or something to cancel the life drain, but it's all right. Bottom lane collapse will get found here. Very nice jump in
Rina.
from Boxy, and that will force the first. Was that the first BKB of the Mars? I think he, or is it the second?
He
That
used
was
it
the second.
earlier.
over ပြီတဲ့ဟုတ်တယ် over ပြီကိုရေးထားတဲ့ script အတိုင်းပဲနော် liquid အားလီတာမယ် spirit ခံဘတ်ဆော့လိုက်မယ်ဟိုက script ကအဲ့ဒါပဲ easy over
I'm not sure how hard you can push now as Liquid, because I do feel you need the static storm to have.
liquid က
chance
အ
at
တင်း
killing
ထိုးတော့
Morphling
ထိုး
and
တက်ရ
Ember.
တော့မှာ
We kind of saw it wasn't. It's not
သူတို့ထိုးတက်
guaranteed when you
မှ
use
လဲ
static
သူတို့ရဲ့
storm,
draft က
but that could also
အောက်
be why
ပြင်
he's
မှာ
willing
အခု
to do
ဒီ
it.
တိုင်းခဏ
Well,
နေ
it's
မယ်
not
ဆိုရင်
really-
အဆင်မ
didn't
ပြေ
change
တော့
that much, guys. We still didn't kill him. So, in a way, I think you could make a play, but I
first
still
age
think
ကတော့
it
ကုန်
helps
သွားပြီ
in the
second
chance
age
that
လောက်
you
ဆိုရင်တော့
catch
ထိုး
them
တက်သင့်
off guard.
second tower ကနှလုံးတောင်ကြံသေးတယ်ကွာဒီကောင် အော်ဆန်ပွဲကြီးကြီးနေunit မရှိတော့ G7 ခစ်ပြသွားတယ်အဲလေအဲ့တော့ကတော့နော်အလုံးတစ်ခွင်းလာလာဆော့9000ရှင်းကြီးပြီးရင်ဝဒါလူလူလေးစာကြီးပြန်သွား unit မှာလာဆော့တယ်ညာလုံးပေါက်တပွဲ9000ကြီး
Find
3ပွဲလောက်နိုင်1000ပွဲရပြီ
board earlier, but
Yeah.
they've
Oh,
been
what
trying to
I'll
go
do,
down
sir.
here.
ပြင်ပြန်သွားအေးဆေးပဲ
Another Deso charge. I mean, you missed the coil for this, but you do get the D ward, which is really nice. I think Puck didn't even see the hero. He just saw the ward come out and was like, wait a minute, and turned and dropped coil. So kind of a heads up play there from Nisha to figure out what was going on there. But he's level 20 now, so he will have his, was it waning rift cooldown? Boxy, really sick play, reading the rotation in from Rue. Now he will go ahead and make a little bit of space, but does manage to get the kill. Liquid now up 12,000 gold, really having a great time on all of their cores, and even the supports starting to pick up some really important items.
I think once they hit the second Roche with the banner, will give them a lot
ည
of
BKB
strength
တန်းထည့်လိုက်တာမဟုတ်ဘူးကွာအမ်ဘာလေးမော်တင်တာသွား
to
နေ
break
သေး
this
တယ်
high ground. I think they're just patiently
ဒီ
playing
တစ်ခွက်တော့
on
ဒီကောင်
that,
လိုသွားပြီ
waiting
ဒီလို
for
ပွဲက
Link on the disruptor,
BKB
so
တန်း
they
သွား
can
မယ်
now
ပွဲ
catch
လေးမော်တင်တာဘာမှမထူ
no
ဘူး
longer the Morphling, because the BKB is going
But
to be done as he
Static
finishes
Strong
the
ရော
creep
Drain
kill.
Wine
But
ရော
Ember
သိရ
Spirit
မလား
opted for a Yule
ပြီးရင်
this game,
အဲ့
which has been a lot of survivability.
ဟို
but
ဓာတ်ဝဲ
he's
လို့
still
level 1
active
ဟာ
with
တွေ
BKB,
အဲ့အာအောင်ဆောင်နောက်တယ် BKB သာပိတ်ထည့်လိုက်
Link static storm.
အတဲ BKB နဲ့ဆိုင်လေးမော်တင်တာအဲ့လောက်ရှောင်လို့မရဘူးပြုတ်ကြလာရင်ပြန်ဆိုင်လန့်ဖြစ်နေမှာပဲမထူ
I
း
really like that Nisha picked up with the BKB himself this game, realizing that it is kind of
ကဲ
just a necessity.
BKB ရပါပြီကိုရီးယားယာတိုးရိုနော် BKB fly အကုန်လုံးရိုက်ခွဲချိန်ရောက်ပြီစမုတ်မယ်တာကြီးတို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့တွန်းလန်ချိန်ရောက်ပြီ မတွန်းလည်းပဲထိုင်ဆောင်နေလေ over တယ်ဘယ်လိုပဲဖြစ်ဒီကောင်လေးထွက်ချလေဗတ်တယ်ကအပြတ်ကြီးမရှုံးတော့ဒီချိန်က graduation 40 over တော့ကျင်းနေသွားတော့
could see something come up like that. They have all the tier 2s on liquid though, so at least you're not going to lose the game. All the fortifies.
ဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါမိုက်ရက်ွက်ပွဲပတ်စော့ချင်းပွဲပေါ့နော်အဲ့ချိန်တော့ခေါ်တာချင်းပွဲပေါ့ချင်းပွဲတွေပတ်စော့တယ်နိုင်သမင်းကျော်စားချပသားလို့စားအများကြီးပဲစားမုတ်စားပြီးပြန်အေးမချပြီအရီနာပါသွားပြီတမ်ပလာဘာမှမသိလိုက်ဘူး
Without any help at all, Saberlight will at least take down the Shadow with the BKB making
အဲ့ဒါကြီးဆိုတာမှာ collapse
You've got to be careful. Dude,
Puck's
abandoned the fight. He's going back to try and cut the waves. You get the blink out here on the Dark Willow. I mean, they knew about this fight. They had the vision to see the TA, and they just walked in and died.
Yeah, so Liquid scanned it. They knew what was happening. They started.
ဟောလဲဖားကောင်းသွားတော့မှာပြီးပါပြီအဲ့လောက်ဆိုရင် split နိုင်သွားပြီတော့တွဲကီလိရ split သွားထဲလို့ရလားမသိတော့တွဲကီလိနေတဲ့အချိန်မှာဆိုကြေးခေါ်မှာ split ထဲလို့ရ split နှစ်ဆရတယ်ရအောင်ရေးထဲပြီပဲ sorry
so maybe if he was standing a little bit more to
game 1 split ပြေးထဲပြီ
but I think he was in the middle of placing a trap to get the vision to see when Saberlight breaks the smoke. And in that split moment, Spirit's fast reactions just get the most important kill. And I just don't think you can fight once.
Dang. I was really hoping we were going to see the start of this because I'm pretty sure TA did put a trap down and they saw the Shadow Shaman. But I'm wondering if he used the detonation on the hero, which detonates the closest trap, and it detonated the wrong one. Because they 100% saw the shaman, and then they walked in and he got hexed.
Yeah.
I think it was too late, though. I think the one he was placing is what
Separate game 1 နော်အော်ရအောင်ထဲတာနော် 2. အခု 1.9 နေပါဖြစ်နေပြီ
the silence prevented
တောင်းပြောတာအဲ့ကောင်နေခံဘက်တော့မှာ
Everyone else came in and killed him before.
separate လောက်ယုံရတဲ့အတင် separate ပဲ
Yeah, that is a
See if they can do
moment
it again.
You wish you would just press the BKB type of
ကဲ
scenario.
second Roshan time
inside the Roche, but here smoke.
collapse တက်သွားပြီဒါပေမဲ့ဓာတ်ကိုင်းနေဟို
As the
insane ကဓာတ်ကားနေကွာအာယုံပဲ
This last fight gave them a
Prozo
ton of
သပင်ရှိမှ
back to the side of Spirit, being able to control areas of the map.
Prozo သပင်ရှိမှပေါ့ emo အဲ့ခေတ်တော့ emo ဗျာ
Roshan become the next target.
ဟိုအကုန် emo တွေကြီးပဲကိုတို့ဂျာကြီးတို့ဟိုဟာရှိုးတီတို့အကုန် emo တွေကြီးပဲ
Okay.
emo ခစ်စားတဲ့အချိန်
Useful one to keep himself alive.
ဟာနီရှာ agent စနက်သွားတယ် what the fuck
No way. Yatoro
What
will
the
take down
flash?
Boxy, but collapse. He's popped everything to try and make space on the back of this fight.
Ah,
It's
yeah,
not gonna be
NEL.
enough. Stuck inside
Oh
the
my
Roche pit now
God.
is gonna be that Pugna. They should. Wow, they actually can't cancel his TP. They had nothing left apparently. Yatoro, as the puck, should be elusive enough. They do manage to take down the Shadow Shaman. But Yatoro will keep disengaging here. Orbs away. Does have the waning rift up to the high ground. Will get silenced.
တေးပြီလားမသိဘူးကွာ
Orb silenced again.
တေးပြီလားမသိဘူးတော်သေးတာဗောတော်သေးတာ disruptor ပြန်ဆွဲတော့မယ်လုတ်ပါအောင်ကလင်းမှာတစ်ခုခုအေးလွတ်သွားလို့တော်သေးတယ်အေးအောင်ရေ
What a steal from Nisha.
အေးဂျစ်စတီးသွားတာကြီးอ่ะကွာအဲ့မှာပွဲရတကယ်ဆိုပြီးပြီလို့ ဘောပလင်းလက်တဲ့အေးဂျစ်ထဲလိုက်ပြီးသွားပြီလေ
Looks like they did.
ဘယ်လောင်းလဲအာဝိုင်းစ်ပါဗော
on Brewmaster.
Yeah, that was
Easy
their
on
own
Ludi.
gem.
Look,
I
nice
think
man.
I think I saw their courier retrieve it. It was on the ground for a while. But I mean,
Nisha
understandable,
turn it,
heat of the moment
Nisha
of
to
that
get
fight,
turn
they
it,
didn't recognize
no.
it was dropped. Mapochka does sneak in to get
That's
the
so
banner,
tiny.
but yeah, we'll get one more look at this Roche steal. This is why curveball is really useful. It just stays in the pit so long that you get.
ဒါ
a little
တော့
bit more
BKB
damage
ကြီးပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီ Roshan ကို
after the
commit
BKB
လုပ်ထားတာ
also helps a lot on
အဲ့ဒီ
this
ချိန်မှာ
puck, that you can just jump in a little early, survive long enough to get the Aegis, then get out. Yeah, there's the gem drop, but there was 5 Broodlings sitting on top of it. They didn't see it.
Yeah. I will say shout out to Mapochka for making his way into the Roche pit to secure the
Saw
Roshan's
that
banner.
too.
He's like, guys, this item's actually important. I know some teams don't believe in it, but Team Spirit does.
Guys, can you believe Nisha jumped in and grabbed the Aegis instead of the banner? Oh my god. Look, I got it.
KB
minutes
nearly
on this
done here on
Aegis
Yatoro.
ဖားပြောင်းထည့်ကွာဟုတ်တယ်ဖားပြောင်းထည့်အဲ့ပတ်ကိုတက်ချိန်ရောက်ပြီတားကြီးတို့နော်ကမ်းဘက်ချိန်ရောက်နေပြီ 2.1 ဟဲ့လား
Push the high ground.
0.1 အော်လေးစားမယ်စားသုံးမယ်
To TA to deal with the butterfly.
0.1 အော်လေးစားသုံးမယ်ဗျာ
You still have
ကော်လန်
to
ဖားပြောင်းရရင်တော့အဲ့ပတ်ကိုအိမ်လို့ရပြီပတ်တီဝိုင်းတန်ပလားဘာမှမဟုတ်တော့အခုကပတ်တစ်ကောင်ပဲယုံနေတယ်လို့ပြောလို့ရအေး
Puck has the Aegis, kind of baiting here a little bit, but
ဖိတ်နေတာ
Spirit doesn't know that he really didn't have any backup. His team was very far away.
အာပြုတ်သွားပြန်ပြီလေးကောင်
Or
ဒီကောင်နေအစင်ရောပြေလားဒီကောင်လုံး
perhaps they
ထွက်နေတယ်
couldn't react. No, this is the downside of losing that fight. There was a sweep across the map with the gem to remove a lot of Spirit's vision, along with the fact that you're playing versus the TA and there's traps around the map. So you're going to be very careful, because in the same way Morphling could end the game now off of one huge fight, TA very much with her Deso could do the exact same
မတဲဆိုင်နေတော့အဲ့လိုဖြစ်သွား
You
မလို့
can't
လုံး
jump into something that you don't have
ပွိုင်းမယ်
absolute confidence.
တီးဆွစ်ထည့်ပြီးတော့မှဖင်ချင်းနေရ
You need to at least know that a couple heroes are around the map and you're going for a pick off before you commit too hard on the Aegis hero, who now has an amplified damage. I'm surprised they didn't give it over to Mickey actually, but Puck's build does have a good amount of right click damage since he got the nullifier, so he is hitting pretty hard.
ဂိမ်းစားစော်တွေကနာမည်လားဂိမ်းစားစော်တွေကနာမည်တော့မဟုတ်ဂိမ်းစားစော်တွေကနာမည်အခြားနာမည်တွေရှိ
Nice ward play spot. Wait, they have a gem, right? I was like, he could just kill this. Okay.
ဝက်ကြီးဘာလို့
It's
အဲ့
one
မှာ
of those
ထောင်တာ
things
တော့
where you,
ဟို
like,
ကဂျန်
step
တဲ့
up,
ဟာ
but you're actually looking further into the enemy base and you don't notice it.
ဟောလဲဆို4800ရှိတယ်လက်ထဲမှာပတ်စံ
You're next to an observer.
ရှိတယ်ဒီကောင်ဘိုင်ဘက်ထားနေတာ
They
ဟော
placed it like directly on top of him, and I
အား
think
မ
he
ဖား
like
ပြောင်း
panicked
ရ
right
တော့မှ
away.
တစ်ခါတည်း
He,
အ
like,
ပြီး
bruised
ဆက်မှာလားမ
himself
သိ
up just to make sure he has
ဘူး
evasion.
ဖားပြောင်းကဘယ်လောက်လဲ
and kill.
9600လားမသိဘူး
You gotta take a
9600
moment,
ဆို
make
တော့ဒီ
yourself
ကောင်ဟိုလောက်လို့800လောက်လို့
I can get this.
I've been training my whole life to kill this ward.
No, it is good to be careful. Like, sometimes you catch them warding, and it's like, oh, unlucky for them. But sometimes it's intentional. You know, they're dropping an observer, looking for a target to make a play. So he's like, oh, be careful first. Oh, they're actually not doing anything. Okay, haha. Just kidding, guys. I'll get it. Now, the Liquid's turn to look for something.
They just got Meld Bash on TA, level 25. This is a massive talent. We'll see if they can find the opening they're looking for. As they see a Toro
အောက်မှာ
on the
လာ
way,
နေ
they
ပြီ
don't know where
အောက်မှာ
anyone
လာ
else
နေ
is.
ပြီ
Nisha
စ
has
မုံ
that
နဲ့အပြုံ
amplified
လိုက်ကြီး
damage.
အေး
Blink up to the high ground. They actually get themselves onto the Ember Spear. The Nullifier is out. He does get the jump away here with the Remnant. Static Storm onto somebody. Looks like it was onto Maposhka. The question is, can they find anything else?
ဒီ
Here?
မှာလဲ
They're
ဘာလိုက်လုံ
really
နာ
trying
မဲ
to find them. Maposhka would be a great
ကော်လက်
find.
GKB နဲ့ဝင်သွားပြီဟုတ်တယ်ဟိုမှာတမ်ပလာအင်းရပြီ
He's just gonna kill them all.
nice
You overbaited yourself,
Very
Liquid. You
good.
get the TP out on Boxy,
နောက်မှာ
but you get
brew တိုင်းတို့ brew
absolutely
လို့
nothing. You don't even get
တို့ပေါင်း
Maposhka.
ရှမန်ဓာတ်က
Sableye
ဘာညာ
is
မရှိဘူး
now
လား
in deep enemy territory.
တမ်ပလာ truck ဟိုတမ်ပလာ truck မှမရဟုတ်တာအမမမီတော့ဘူးရ
Saber
လို့
light. Okay, they scan, so they know he's here, but I think with the help of some traps and the brewed up, he
တ
should
မန်
be
ဒါ
out
က
of
မ
here.
ပါဘူးလား
That is one of those unfortunate split-second moments where everyone sees information, but they react to different things. So Liquid, they know Morphling's there. They know Spirit is baiting the Morphling. They're trying to go through that middle area to wrap
ငါတလန်းယူသွားရှုပ်တယ်တမ်ပလာ
Some of
ဘို
the
င်ဘက် force
players, the first thing they see
တက်က
is an
90
Ember
force
Spirit
ဆို
on
ရ
the
တယ်
cliff.
9ယောက်9ယောက်ဟုတ်လား
That's where their smoke breaks. They want to jump
ဟို
up.
9ယောက်4ယောက်
Other heroes break their smoke on the Pugna under the tier 2.
ပေါ်ဒီ
and
တစ်
they
ခေါက်
jump
ကုန်သွား
that
ပြီ
way.
နောက်တစ်ခေါက်ကြံသေးတယ်
Liquid gets split up, and that is enough for
What do you
Spirit
know to
to
cut?
be able to win that fight. And it's just where like you don't have enough communication. The communication is jump whoever we see first, and the players saw different things.
Yeah. I also feel like I don't think the coil connected. Like, they went for like a blink nullifier play, and I don't think they got a coil onto the
ငါတလန်းရ
Ember
ပြီ
Spear.
တမ်ပလာဘိုင်ဘက်မလို့အေးဖားပြောင်းက
So I
ကောင်း
think
လိုက်
he
တာ
managed
မျက်လက်က
to find
မြန်ချက်ပဲ
Blink, instant hex.
Sure.
Terrorize comes
Hold
out, but he
it.
dies to the nether ward. He doesn't manage to get the brew split off. Static Storm does come out,
Hold
but
it, hold
thanks
it.
to the shard of Rue, he pops a greater Lotus during foul play. He's
မလုံး
back
နဲ့
to
ချိုး
full
လို့ရရင်
HP.
တော့တားရီတို့ကြောက်စရာမလိုကြောက်စရာမလို အာပြန်ဆုတ်သွားပြီ
This is a disaster for Liquid.
Mars Arena ပြန်ပြည့်နေပြီဆုတ်စရာမလိုဘူးအေး BKB လည်းရှိတယ်ရာတို့တက်
I don't know.
အကားတလန်းအသားကြီးတို့
Worth using without coil? I think you just
အေး
leave
စစ်
the
စစ်
big
တက်
guns
နော်
at this point.
၄ယောက်၅
delay
ယောက်
as
ကြောက်
long
စရာ
as
မ
you
လို
can.
ကြောက်စရာမလို
But you have your tier 2s on the side. They can't take more than this.
ရပြီမကရရင်တော့ပြန်ဆုတ်ပေးလိုက်တော့ရှော့ပေးလိုက်တော့ရပြီ
Although I like Calamity.
ရပြီဗျာ
He's in here with the smoke baiting, seeing if anyone will walk up. This is a sneaky play.
ဟုတ်တယ်
Yeah, he got him.
I'll take a support.
ယောအဲ့ဒါလည်းနေရောက် collapse က what the fuck
Spear back.
Damn,
He
oh, man,
bonus
wow.
blast range on that
No
jump
buyback
light.
now.
wow okay
Now they are willing to go for the end.
okay
How
For the
many
fan,
times
for the fan,
have
but
we
not call
talked
down.
about it where Morphling goes to high ground after one, like even a half one team fight and ends the game.
okay
This is a
brew
huge
by
issue.
okay brew by force တာ brew ကအေးဖားပြောင်းသွားပြီ လောက်ပါအောင်ချုပ်ပြတ်သွားပြီ oh
He's just dead immediately. He's dieback.
Holy shit. နေရှားပါရှောပြီးအောင်ရေးပြကလာတွေဖြစ်ကုန်ပြီပြကလောင်ပြလက်ဆောင်တွေဖြစ်နေပြီအေးစပီယာအမ oh la la အန်ခံရပြီလို့ပလိန်အန်ခံရပြီ
Despite what was a 15,000 gold advantage, Yatoro will end this game. Just
like
going
that.
straight for the tier 4 as Mickey
2.1 2.1 သားကြီးတို့
BKB try and stand his ground here. Terrorize is available, but of course Yatoro can easily dodge it out. Will
ဟုတ်တယ်
connect
refresher
now, but
on
guess
နဲ့အ
what?
မအေး
Connected
နောက်မှာ
onto
set
that
is wrong
Templar assassin.
ပြာချောင်း
She's
ကြီးနဲ့
dead.
ရ
So will Insania be. Curse crowd
Set is
is
wrong,
out.
ပြာချောင်းကြီး
Moxie
နဲ့
tried to do what damage he can here, but it is
ချို
2v4.
Great
Okay,
floating
okay.
smoke.
အဆင်ပြေတယ်အဆင်ပြေတယ်တရုံ Throw me, Yaiba, ha.
these heroes, but can they survive? No. The blink spear connects.
ဒါပဲ
And with
Split
this,
ဆိုတာအဲ့ဒါပဲ
the fate is
ကိုပြောရ
sealed
တွေ့လား
from
2.1
Liquid.
ထဲလို့
Spirit will
ကိုတော့ရ
end
လိုက်
the
ပြီ
game.
ချဲပဲရအောင်
What a turn of events, and this is why
2.104
Spirit has been
off.
undefeated. They play
ကောင်းတယ်
so damn
နော်
clean.
နောက်တော့တွဲကေ
Ninth
တွဲ
new
ကေ
hero.
နိုင်နေတဲ့အချိန်မှာ
Win streak
ပိတ်ထဲလိုက်တာ
Toro
အနစ်ပဲရအောင်
Casual smile from him over there. Look at that. He's like, yeah, you know.
had it in the
It's
bag
just
the
me.
whole time, guys. We
There he
were
go.
15k down. I mean, it's Team Spirit. Are you truly in the lead against Spirit until their throne is falling? I don't think so. This is a team that has had so many miraculous holds over the history of all their tournament games. They just have a knack for knowing what are good fights to take, or to at least give yourself the best odds, right? And the way this all turned is baiting the Morphling in that top lane. The positioning they had was so good to break multiple
ရလိုက်တယ်ဗျာ share ပဲ share ပဲ share ပဲနော်ကိုက duration over လည်းရပြီးသားတော့ထပ်ပြီးတော့ comeback ထပ်ရဆို share ပဲ
and then they just take it, run it
Easy,
straight down
easy.
to Liquid's base. I love that smoke play. The Morphling is up front. The support used the smoke though, so Mars is able to walk up without, activating smoke on the Morphling.
ကိုလက်က50 magnet ပေးလို့မရဘူးဟုတ်ပါအရေးကြီးတာကတော့ magnet magnet ပေးလို့မရဘူးနော် magnet ပေးရင်အကုန်ယူမားလည်းယူတာပဲအဲ့ဒါအကုန်ယူပဲ Templar မပြစ်ကဘူးကိုပွဲစားတွေကပြောပါတယ် collapse မှာလုံးလိုက်မယ်လို့ let's collapse အဲ့ဒီကဲပူကာတော့ဆော့မယ်ကွာနော်ဂိမ်းတူးဆောင်ရင်းနဲ့ပူကာလေးသွားဆော့ကြမယ်ဒီကမာနဲ့မတွေ့သေးလို့ပါမဟုတ်ဒီကမာနဲ့တွေ့ရင်တော့ခမ်းပါမှာမဟုတ်ဘူး Tspirit က you know what I mean ဒီကမာနဲ့တွေ့ရင်တော့ Tspirit ခမ်းမပတ်နိုင်ဘူးတိုက်တယ်လို့တွေးလို့ရတယ်ကြိုက်တယ်လို့တွေးလို့ရတယ်ဒီကမာနဲ့တွေ့ရင်ခမ်းပါမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးမမီလိုက်ဘူးဗျာတဲ့အာကိုပြောတယ်လေ 1.9 တောင်ဖြစ်သွားသေးတယ်ကိုထည့်လိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာအာလီအမ်ဆိုတဲ့အတွေ့ကိုထုံးမရတော့မယ်တဲ့ဟုတ်တယ်အာလီအမ်လို့မရဘူး Tspirit ကိုပို့ဆိုးတယ်အာလီအမ်လို့ဘယ်လိုမှမရဘူး continue အေးလူက4 multiply တာပါ+1 ပါThat's no face. Share ဖြစ်သွားပြီပေါ့နော် 800ဖြစ်သွားပြီဆိုတော့နည်းနည်းတေချာဆော့မှရတော့အဲ့လေအဲ့ဆလာတွေက house ဆလာတွေက house ကြော့ဒီက90နှစ်ဟုတ်ပြီအော် flash ကလွယ်နေတယ်အားပြီးပိုင်းမလို့လားမသိဘူးတောင်းလွယ်နေplus 12 multi if play hand contain a straight or straight ဆိုရင် straight ဆိုရင်12စရမယ် right hand side reduce by 1 every round မလို့ straight ဝယ်လိုက်ဟုတ်ဒါဝင်ကောင်း6ချက်ရှိတယ် permanently gain ဟုတ်တယ်ဒါဝယ်ရမယ်အမွေသေးကွာနော်အတန်ဆူထားတာနောက်ဘာဖြစ်မလဲမသိသေးတော့2.90 တက်လိုက်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ကတော့2.5ရလိုက်တယ်ပိုကောင်းတာဗောcheck 3လေး3လို့လေအ3ကချက်ပူကဘယ်ကောင်ပြစ်ကမှမသိတော့ဘူးကွာမယ်ဒီလိုလိုက်မယ်ဒီလေးကပြစ်လိုက်ပြိမစောတော့အ3ကဆိုတော့မဟိုက်ရ flash 1 3 4 5 6ကွက်တီပဲချက်တွင်းလိုနေတယ်တယ်ဘူးရှိတယ်အကဆော့ယူရတော့ဒီငကက်ဖယ်မရကလပ်ဒီငကက်ဖယ်နောက်ထပ်ဖယ်နေရောကဒီနှစ်ခုဆော့လိုက်တာနဲ့နိုင်တော့ပြီဖြစ်တယ်နိုင်ပါတော့အားဝင်းဆိုအများကြီးစဉ်းစားကြမလို့လေplus 2 chip or each remaining card in deck currently plus 104 chip this two got gain plus 3 1 any booster pack is skipဝယ်တင်လားမဆုံးဖြတ်တဲ့ဘူးอ่ะတဲ့ booster pack ကို skip ရင်တဲ့ plus 3 multi တဲ့ဂျိုကာ9កောင်ထိပိုင်လို့ရတယ်ဆိုတော့ဘယ်ဟာကိုရွေးပိုင်ရမှမသိဘူးဖြစ်အကြီးတိုင်းဘာညာတော့မဟုတ်all time cut are debuffed ဒါ boss round ဖြစ်သွားပြီကွာ all time cut ဆိုတော့ diamond cut တွေကဆော့လို့မရဘူးအဲ့လို diamond cut တွေပတ်စံမရဘူးအဲ့လို diamond cut တွေဆော့လို့မရဘူးဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒါဖယ်ရမှာလား no chip and all ability are Decisive all chip မရဘူးကွာ 10ဘူးကသွားပြီပေါ့4ဘူး10ဘူးကခဲရမှာအဲ့တော့ရက်လို့တယ်ငါခွန်ဘူးရှိတယ်တော့ဖယ်လိုက်ဟာကြောင်ဆောက်တလွဲတွေဖြစ်ကုန်ထပ်ဖယ်တစ်ခေါက်ပဲဖယ်ခွင့်ရှိတော့တယ်ကွာရင်ပဲအများဆုံးမှ2ပဲရှိတယ်မတက်ဘူးအေးအဲ့လိုလို့တော့ဖဲတော့တထုပ်သေးဆိုတော့တွက်လို့တော့ရတယ်ကွာဘာတွေကြံသေးလဲဘာတွေတက်လာနိုင်လဲတော့ဖဲတော့52ချက်ထဲမှာမှဘာတွေကြံသေးလဲတွက်ပြီးဆော်ရမယ်တော့ရှစ်ကင်းကကြံသေးတယ်နော်ကင်းတစ်ခက်ကြံသေးတယ်ဖက်ကအများကြီးကြံသေးတယ်ဟတ်ဒီခဏထားWait, what? Abay lâu nè. That's all man so. I got 1 2 3 4 5 ဟုတ်တယ်ဖက်5ကရှိတယ်အဲ့ကိုပဲစောင့်လိုက်တော့အင်းဘူးကိုလွတ်မယ်တစ်ဘူးကိုလွတ်မယ်တစ်ဘူးကိုလွတ်မယ်ဟုတ်ခွေးဖြစ်ပြီအမဒီစကလို့မရတော့ဖက်ကလည်းမပြည့်ဘူး5 6 9တလုံးလိုနေတယ်9မရှိတော့ဘူးဟုတ်တယ်မလားအေးကောင်းတယ်9ကအမ9ကုန်သွားပြီကိုတကအာရဘာမှဆောက်လို့မရတော့ဘူးဒါဆိုပြန်စမယ်ပြန်စလို့မရဘူးShow me. What that multiplier though? Am I yave? Okay. Okay, hi yave. Oh, the other 9 one. What the 9 one? Oh, the other. နောက်ဆုံးလေးမှာနိုင်သွားလို့ထောက်ကြပဲရ If I sound wrong a single assist destroy it create a Tspirit အပါကြီးတော့ Tspirit တော့ပါ If I sound for each one only one get a permanent copy to it right Oh,အဲ့ဒါရမိုက်တယ်ရpermanent copy ဆိုတော့ 2000ဖြစ်သွားပြီ2000ဖြစ်သွားပြီ Jack 6 okay let's go flash 4ကတ်ရှိတယ်3ဘူးမဟုတ်နကောက် discard လိုက်နော်3ဘူးကတစ်ခုဖြစ်နိုင်ပြီ flash 3 flash ဆော့လို့ရတယ်ရ5 6ခွန်နဲ့ထပ်3တောင်ဟ8ဆိုရင်3 flash နော်တော့ပါပြီ8833 diamond 3ကတ်ကောက်3 4 5 6ကြံလေးလားတော့တကယ်ပဲကြံနှစ်3ကကြံလေးတော့哦，例外。Wasabi, the rough. Okay. 已經係秒嚟啊！3隻ပဲရ，唔係ကောင်းတယ်နော်，3隻ပဲရ。အဲ့ကြောင့်ဒီ game က best seller ထဲမှာ
I don't think
ရောက်ဖူးတယ်အဲ့ game က
Spirit right now. Like
best seller ပေါ့နော်20လားမသိဘူး20လား15ချက်လား15ချက်
just barreling through the center of all the Dota teams.
best seller
It really does feel like they are not even just like
rough
a little bit ahead. It feels like they are massively ahead of most of the competition.
Yeah, it'll be a tall order for sure. But it also means the target is on your back, so everybody gonna be studying Team Spirit. Looks like we get the coin flip here. Of course, the first pick now going to Spirit. Radiant for our Liquid. It's the way it goes in most games right now. I do wonder what that means Spirit will want to grab for themselves. They've done a lot of mid-hero picks pretty early. Sometimes like the Bat Riders, the Monkey King, stuff like that. We'll see what they want here. I think you do want to steal away Nature's or Monkey King from Liquid. You want one of those hotly contested heroes that Liquid wants as well.
Yeah, and instead Liquid's actually forced to ban them, so they get rid of the Monkey King and the Nature's Prophet, Shadow Fiend, and the Naga Siren. As for Spirit, it's the Bat Rider, the Beastmaster.
Spirit ban puck pick round 2.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they do the same opener, and it would kind of force Liquid to go with the Ember, because that's the only mid-hero that's left in existence that can actually be viable against Puck in the mid-game and late game. Overall, though, we'll have to see if that's the route they want to go, because they could still look for some of the other like powerful flex heroes. Like Marcy is still available, and I don't know if they have played carry Marcy. If they haven't, it's an time. It's time to do it. Pull out the 10th hero of the tournament for Yatoro.
How many carries we got left though? So okay, carry Marcy. I don't think he's played. I don't think he's played Carry Doom. Has he played?
Dawnbreaker ban.
I think he's played Gyro. No, maybe no Gyro yet. I'm just trying to think if he has enough first time picking carries to win the tournament with. Because you need a win here, and then you would need 3 more wins in the grand finals. So there needs to be 4 more different carries that are all good and fit the game that they're drafting for.
Wait, did they pick? They definitely didn't pick Sven twice, right? They only picked Sven once. That is a first pick Shadow Shaman into the Marcy. Feeling confident about what Shadow Shaman brought in the last game. I don't really blame them. It seemed pretty solid. It was able to help shut down the puck quite a bit. Nisha with a couple unnecessary deaths. I think the big one for me was behind the bottom tier 2 on Radiant side, where they were trying to like push the tier 2 tower. I think he was blinking in aggressively to look for the Pugna, and Shadow Shaman was also there, just gets hexed and dies, and that hurt a lot of their momentum because I think it was also the Aegis puss.
Yeah, even if it wasn't the Aegis, that was the window where Morphling didn't have the butterfly, and then the BKB was going to be after the. That's when Morphling like truly hit his stride, is after butterfly into the BKB. So the more you can take of the map before he gets that strong, and it's essentially a 5 versus 4 because TA is ready to go, you know, and Morphling is just like, hang on guys, I'm almost ready. I just need a little bit more time. You know, that's where you got to do as much as you possibly can. So we'll see if you know. I'm sure they talked about it in that little break they had. They don't seem too concerned here. They're very calm, very serious.
Yeah, I think these support bans make a lot of sense to me, right? Because you are probably expecting this to be a core Marcy, whether it be carry or off lane. So they get rid of 2 supports that lane really well with it in terms of it being the 1 position, right? You don't really need much in lane, just someone that helps you get through the early levels so that you can get to your Helm of the Dominator, and then they just leave and go do better things. So I like both those bans. Also, both really annoying for Shadow Shaman. Like you pointed out last game, there's good ways of canceling the shackles.
Yeah, you don't have to run this as Marcy carry either, even though we've been hyping that up. So coming up here, I wouldn't mind seeing like another flexible support, maybe something like Shadow Demon who can also move between lanes, and that way you could have the Marcy play position 4 if you needed to. Looks like they actually want to grab the puck first, ban out the Void Spirit. Likely to see that Ember come out again. But I guess there are some other counters you could go for if you want to like counter it harder in the lane. Something like the Huskars and the Snipers if you want to wait a little bit.
I mean, Dragon Knights too.
Yeah, Dragon
It's
Knights
just
safer.
It just comes down to what Mirel wants, and based on his last game performance as the Ember, he went like 8-1 or 9-1. I just don't see a reason for him not to go the Ember Spirit unless they're worried about some supports here that can really shut it down, which is a possibility because I do think this is going to end up being a carry Marcy. We just don't know quite yet. And that's one of the reasons.
လုတ်ပြန်ပြီအာလီအမ်ဘယ်လုတ်ပြန်ပြီမှာလိုက်ကန်နဲ့ Collapse ကို mask ထပ်ပေးထားတယ်
Have you gotten
ထူးဆန်းတာတခုက Collapse က
cashed
ဘာက
in
နဲ့မ
on
ကင်
stock
ဘူး
yet, you know, before the
ဘာကနဲ့မဘန်းထားဘူးနော်
so that you can, you know, come out with a little bit extra.
Start playing.
money.
ဘာကနဲ့မဘန်းထားတာကိုဘာကနဲ့မကင်ဘူးထူးဆန်းနေရ
Messing up the alt toggles. Yeah, agree.
Why?
I'm doing it before.
liquid ကလည်းမဘန်းဘူးဆိုတာအဖြေရှိလို့လား
We do
အဲ့
see
လေ
Ember come out. Round 2, why not? Shadow Shaman Ember did a lot that last game. Make space for Yatoro and his
တူးစီပြီ
hard
ပို့ထင်တော့
carry
pick က
winning pick. You don't have last pick this time.
လိုက်ကန် mask ပိုင်လှုပ်ရခ
So
က်တယ်
you're gonna need a more cohesive draft that just plays on its own
တူးစီဖို့များတယ်
regardless of what Liquid comes out with a counter pick. And for now, they're going to grab the Muerta, which could be position forward, but we have seen Yatoro play at carry if he wants to ruin his streak of noob heroes.
I think there's a 0% chance this is Yatoro's hero because of that. Not because he can't play it, but I feel like if you've gone this far into the event and you have picked 9 different carry heroes, you're going to keep it going. Unless you are
he doesn't
absolutely forced to do that. And I don't think they've been forced yet. There's still a lot of carries left.
if you didn't have this streak to consider, I'd be pretty open to it, even though it's not considered the best carry right now. I do think the ultimate is very good versus carry Marcy, because in the same way that usually we think of Muerta's ultimate as it's her strength, but also her weakness that she has to play off that timing. Marcy's actually the exact same way, and when you both pop your ultimates, I would argue you come out ahead on Muerta because you can't be hit, but you can hit the Marcy. Now Marcy's ults last a little longer, so at that point you have to kite a bit, but you have to jump in on this carry Marcy, so it's not so easy to like jump in, jump out, jump back in that short time frame. Not something like, you know, Pucks and Embers can do, and that makes it very dangerous. You jump the Muerta, she ults and just kills you. Okay, so there is the Shadow Demon. This is going to be a great save against the Shackles, the Shard if he gets it eventually. Good versus the Roots, the Silences, Fears from the potentially support Muerta. But if it is a carry Muerta and you get an illusion of her, those are actually pretty strong.
It kills her. Like, legitimately, if you ult on Muerta and you get disrupted and then Demonic Purged, you die in about a second and a half. Like, it's such an unbelievably impossible counter that you can't play Muerta like Shadow Demon or Darkseer. And Darkseer is very much still in the pool. So, Axe is actually one of the best counters in the which is flexible between the 1 and 3, so it still kind of hides where the Marcy is going, because this could be like Marcy Lycan offlane, it could just be a Marcy 5 with a new carry,
carry
with a Shadow Fiend 5, or Shadow Fiend 5. Like, there's a lot of still movement on Liquid's draft outside of like the Puck going mid.
What game do I'm a ballet
like this, it
game
also
man
prevents
no one
a
not just quite
silencer
share game do my baby easy tiny
kind of
game do a in the chat
some flex going into that last pick as well.
Ali and Napalong Ali time
if
bong
you're
them you
forced
she
to, we
did
have to pick a carry, then that's all the enemy has to ban, and it can plan for it to some degree. So it's always nice to have that flexibility into the final pick. I think there's a good chance it will just be the off-lane Lycan, especially with the Mars.
Tspirit winner, but yeah, Tspirit winner 1.47 yeah. Uzi bom ya ni bi.
So rather than have your carry have to deal with that, let that be the off-lane. He'll do enough, and it'll be like the off-lane is dealing with each other while the carry is free.
So that is definitely going to be
ဟိုမှာပဲထက်ဆော့လဲရတော့ရတယ်39
position
ဖွင့်
where
ပေး
it's
နေ
now with a Mars.
39 လောက်က
I feel
easy
like
ကြော်
combo's
သလား
way
လို့
too strong to give up, so probably the 5 position
I
Shadow
can tower
Shaman,
ချိုးထားမှာ
and
နဲ့
we'll be looking for a carry for Yatoro once again.
အညာ
Now last pick will be
ဟု
for
တ်တယ်
Liquid, so they
39
can
တွေ
have
ပါ
the
ဆော့လို့
options
ရ
of moving this Marcy around. They actually ban out
တော့
the
ကြည့်ရင်ပေါ့
silencer.
နော်ကိုကတော့မဆော့တော့
Really smart ban actually.
ဂိမ်းတူးမဆော့တော့ပါဘူးအနိုင်ပိုင်းပါပြီ
Like
ကျေးဇူးပါ
we were saying, you know, he basically
ဟို
prevents a
ချီ
silencer
ချီ
bid if
နိုင်
they
ပိုင်းလိုက်
wanted to pick
ဒီဆွေးနိုင်မဲ့ခံစားနေရတယ်အတူတူပဲ
carry Muerta.
တူးသီးပြီလို့ခံစားနေရတယ်ဖဲကွန်ပြမှာလားဖဲကွန်မပြ
Now,
တော့ပါဘူး
silencer
ဘယ်လို
will get banned out. Would have done
ကျေးဇူးပါ
wonders for Team Liquid's team fight.
ဖဲကွန်မတက်တော့ပါဘူး
It's also very annoying to lane against Marcy Silencer because you can't get away from Silencer. They will ban the Sven.
Some good tempo here, because Marcy carry, we've seen, like, if you give her a good lane, she just pops off with the Helm of the Dominator, gets insanely farmed. Oh, Meepo ban, that's a heads up ban. Marcy does not really have the best AoE damage, neither does Lycan, so you'd have to, like, really focus in on one Meepo, which he then Mega Meepos, and it's tricky, although you do have Disseminate, so that would help. But you might just not be able to handle that Meepo. Even though you have last pick is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what hero both these teams could want. Like, I'm going to assume this is Carry Marcy, but I'm wondering, you know, what they could do and flex this with if it ends up being a support, because Marcy is a terrifying 5 position to play against if the lane combo is very aggressive. They ban out the Phoenix. That's a pretty good ban as well.
If you want to crush your lane to get Marcy off to a good start and then like lean into the tempo, I think something like Undying 5 for Liquid could be good. Otherwise,
really
something with more lockdown. Yeah, otherwise something with more lockdown. Because right now it's an Ember Spirit who's going to be very annoying. The Muerta's got her ultimate to buy herself time. A TA with refraction, right? So a little bit more lockdown to help deal with this would be good. Oh no, it's over.
I think they've played TA. Hold on, I gotta quickly run through Spirit's drafts.
Yeah, they played it in the series versus Bet Boom. Yeah, so ends the streak unless carry.
Oh my god, I cannot believe they would do this.
I'll tell you, they don't care. They're here to win.
စပွိုင်းလာဖြစ်နေပြီ1-3 တဲ့
If it works out, it works out. But if it doesn't, this guy's here to win.
Despair mode. So if I'm Liquid here, am I running Carry Marcy? If you do run Carry Marcy, having a hero with any sort of slow and damage in the lane is pretty disgusting to deal with. It will be a Snapfire. Okay. So that will just be Insania on the position 5, Shadow Demon, the Snapfire for Boxy instead. I'm trying to understand why Snapfire.
Yeah, me too. She's not been very popular, but I did see a couple teams starting to try her out a little bit more. She's been getting some small buffs here and there, especially around like the shard and the ultimate damage. But I don't feel it's enabled the best this game because you really just have Nisha's coil on the puck to really set up your ultimate. Otherwise, it's a Lycan running at stuff at full speed, and that doesn't really help you land your ult. I guess Marcy also has a stun, but the amount of times you're playing with the carry in the early game is a little lower as you usually let them farm. Though maybe Marcy with a Helm Dom build's a little bit different. It could be for a little bit more negative armor. You have some from Howl, and then you get the little Shredder negative armor, and then you got Marcy punching people, you got Lycan biting people, some amplified damage from Shadow Demon. So there's kind of some cool synergy there for that burst damage potential, whether that's the physical or maybe dropping the Mortimer's Kisses on your target. So it does help with a lot of team fight. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm excited to see Snapfire. It's the first time you and I have cast her in quite a while. I want to say ever since she stopped being a core. That was good.
Yeah.
I think you and I just have not seen very many support Snapfires. I'm sure there's probably one in there that I forgot.
There's been some, but it hasn't looked amazing is the thing. Like that's why I'm confused on the Snapfire. Like the hero hasn't seemed like a super impactful in the games that I have seen, or like just generally watching, maybe not even casting. But when it comes to this hero, it is a pretty high amount of damage, and I'm wondering if the idea here is to like mostly stack in this early mid game on the Snapfire and then play for your farming, right? You go full bore if you're support. My main complaint about Snapfire is that Ricochet has been bugged since it came out, and it has not worked correctly ever. And you can't have this hero be like a viable flex pick if one of its facets literally doesn't exist, the one that's supposed to allow you to play it as a core. So I am wondering if that will ever be addressed. But for now,
1-3 Liquid versus the Tspirit.
We'll see if it ends up paying off in this game.
Liquid this time being careful.
အကြီးတော့
Thinking Spirit might be looking for revenge off those first 2 kills in the last game. Very defensive positioning this time around. Maybe there's some cool cookie wolf tech.
Ooh. So, I mean, there is this weird thing where if you're facing Shadow Shaman and he shackles you, you just cookie them to stun the Shadow Shaman, right? Like, that always works. And Sania's going to walk in the disruption, taking a lot of damage here. Shackles will hold them at bay, and with this, that will be first blood for Rue. They will find a return there onto Collapse, and these illusions, mind you, Miposhka's Shadow Shaman has some of the highest damage in the game.
အော်ဆလာတဲ့အဲ့ကြောင့်1-3 ဖြစ်နေတာဟိုကြည့်အောင်တမနစ်မပြည့်သေးဘူး1-3 Fabulous မှာချတာ
It is a 3-for-1 trade, and with this, Liquid are in a really rough spot going into these lanes.
Nisha ပတ်နဲ့
Okay, good
ဟို
thing
ကောင်
for you.
Merle
Nisha got one
Amber
kill.
again
So at least as
And
Morel
they lose the
also
Lord.
picked up a kill, you're not gonna
စော
immediately
စောကတော့
lose
အသေး
it just 'cause
ရိုက်ခံရတာ
he
နီရှာအခုဒီ
already
ပွဲဘယ်လို
has
လာမ
the
လဲမသိဘူး
first
ထက်ကြည့်ရ
buff and has the bottle.
Ace match မပြ
Silent
ဖြစ်ပါ
rough
bro
spot
ညီ
now.
မင်းညီမြတ်ရက်တူလေ Ace match မ
Nikke
ပြဖြစ်
almost just died back to back after TPing bottom. So
Yeah, the side lanes are in a rough spot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be careful. But if we think back to game 1, this is exactly where Spirit was, and then they pulled it out. Oh, nice play, Dispose, dodged the God's Rebuke. Unfortunately, did not land in tower range. He was hoping to get like a tower shot or 2-on-2 collapse there.
Yeah, Insania disrupting the Shadow Shaman, actually pretty smart, because Shadow Shaman's like just base damage is insanely high. Ends up nearly being enough to kill the Shadow Shaman. I was kind of surprised. Nisha threw an orb to chase him, but then didn't jaunt to it. And Shadow Shaman lives as a result. So I really thought that was going to be like a chase for Maposhka.
မာစီနဲ့တန်ပလာဆိုရင်မာစီပဲနိုင်မလား
I maybe thought. I mean, level 1
Billy and
orb,
Rain.
pretty high cooldown, and if you're chasing
Yeah.
it like that, you're gonna be in a weird spot.
Uh-oh. Boxy just walking into tower range there. Trying to waddle away
fast
on
alligator.
his crocodile. Ooh, do you think it's an alligator or a crocodile?
It probably has a name. Let me check.
Alligator.
Where is it? It's on the scoreboard now.
alligator နဲ့ crocodile နဲ့ကွဲတယ်နော်နှစ်ကောင်လုံးကတော့မြည်ချောင်းပဲဒါပဲ
I gotta know. This is important.
သုံးလုံးကွဲတယ်
Whippersnapper. It's a whippersnapper.
မြည်ချောင်းအမျိုးအစားကွဲတာလားမသိ alligator
I'm trying to look at the face. There's a distinct difference between the face of alligators and crocodiles.
What's the difference? Oh,
One
perfect.
is
Thank you. We're all looking now.
Oh, perfect.
That's a different-
Great timing. So it kind of comes down to if you consider her freshwater or saltwater. You know, it seems like he's more of a freshwater type of guy, which would lean more towards an alligator. But he's a big boy, and crocodiles are the big boys. So I don't know.
ဒီကောင်လေးလည်းမသိဘူးပေါ့
Would you assume he has
Crocodile
more of a
and alligator
V-shaped
နဲ့ဘာကွာလဲဒီကောင်
snout
လေးလည်းမသိ
snout or a
ကိုလည်းမသိ
V-shaped snout?
I'd say V-shaped.
မြည်ချောင်းခေါင်း
I
တူ
also
နဲ့
think
ခေါင်းရှည်
Snapfire probably wouldn't care either way.
မြည်ချောင်း
whatever.
ခေါင်းတူက
I think he's a
ခေါင်းတူက
whippersnapper.
crocodile ပေါ့ခေါင်းရှည်က alligator အဲ့လိုလား
We're asking the real questions here.
ရော့
Despite
chicken
the
finger
rough
ဒီကောင်
preparation,
chicken
it
finger
does
မ
look
ဟုတ်
like
ဘူး
CS is
ဘီဘိုရှကဟိုဟာယူထားတာပေတကယ်ပြစ်လိုက်တာကြက်မပြောင်းသွားဘူးရအဲ့ဒါမွေးတိုင်းအကြီးပေါ့
Remember, once
ဟုတ်လား
again, having a great
Oh,
start
oh.
to his lane.
မမြင်လိုက်ဘူး
I
ကြ
do
ပြ
think,
ပါဦး
Nisha's doing better though. More warmed
တ
up.
မန်လေးကိုတစ်ချက်လောက်
this
ပြ
time
ပေးပါ
around. Last time he fell behind in
Please.
CS. I do favor Ember in the matchup just a little bit, but it was a little bit more one-sided than I think it should have been last time. Might have been that, you know,
ဟုတ်တယ်
warm up
ပေတကယ်
type status.
ပေတကယ်
for
ပြင်း
mid
ကြက်
lane,
မ
which
ဖြစ်
is very high mechanics, and if you're just a fraction of a second off, you pay the
Okay.
price like Boxy might. Look out, little alligator
You are
crocodile.
He's dead. So there is a
2CB
fun little play I think
2CB
they're trying to
hey
make work here,
2CB
which is
ပါ
like
ပြီ
cooking
ကွယ်ဒီ
the
တစ်ခေါက်က
wolf
ပူတော်
onto
ပြက်နေလားပူတော့မပြက်ဘူး
the,
ပေါ့
you know,
Let's see
shadow
အရာကြည့်မယ်
shaman
ဆိုရင်
and
တော့
then,
like 20
full warrior, but I
တော့
think
စား
they
ထားတယ်
missed, and it just turns into him dying as
မင်းမလည်းနီရှာ
That's
ဟိုက
pretty
မဖြစ်တော့ဘူး
costly. Mid lane, Nisha
မနှိမ့်တော့ဘူး
kind of baiting Morel, making him make a play for
Ooh.
one of the water runes here. Ends up getting it,
ခေါင်းရှည်က crocodile နဲ့ဩ
finding a kill bottom onto Insane.
crocodile ခေါင်းရှည်
Looks like a dead shot into the calling of the spear.
နှစ်ကောင်လုံးကတော့
You
နှစ်ကောင်
mentioned
လုံး
it's a
ကတော့အန္တ
very
ရာယ်ပြုတယ်
strong
မှာ
combo, a
လူ
lot
တွေကို
of
အန္တရာယ်ပြုတယ်
repositioning
နှစ်
between
ကောင်
these
လုံး
two
က
heroes, especially to keep you trapped in the calling where
Easy,
you're
easy.
just not having a good time.
ဟုတ်တယ်
So
2CB
it's pretty inevitable to eventually find one of those kills.
ခံစားနေရတယ်
At the least, it looks like Mickey is still farming pretty decently here.
ဟာဘယ်ကောင်ချုပ်တာတော့ဆေးပါလိုက်ကိုချုပ်လိုက်ရင်တက်လို့ရသလားလို့မီးပိုးရှ
Some
ကရဲ့
damage into him.
ဟိုကောင်ကုကီးပြစ်ပြီးသားလေကုကီးပြစ်ပြီးသားတဲ့ကောင်ဘာလို့သွားချုပ်တာနော်အဲ့လိုက်ကန်ကြီးပြေးချုပ်လိုက်ရင်သေသွားပြီသိလားပါချုပ်တာဖြစ်ဖို့များတယ်အဲ့
Snapfire, she used to be really good around having strong lane combos between Cookie and Scatterblast, or there was a little Shredder build for a little bit. It's just like good synergy in the lane. I don't really think of Lycan as that hero. I feel like Lycan just wants to farm up to a Helm of the Dominator, and he'll run wolves at weak supports, but I don't think Shadow Shaman's really that weak.
Nisha mid lane nearly dies there. Incredibly close. Good rotation in here from the Muerta. And this will probably force him
Pain.
back for that power rune that's coming up here at 6 minutes. Now top side, there's going to be the wolves.
နားတယ်
plus
နော်
the
Snapfire
elf,
level
plus
3 က
the
တစ်
little
ဆင့်ပဲ
shredder
ရှိ
of
သေးတယ်
lot of
တော်တော်
minus
နာတာ
armor,
ဟာ
so we're kind of
ပြင်
seeing
ပေး
this
ထား
like
တာဒီကောင်းဟာ
develop
ဒါမဲ့လားမသိဘူး
this combo actually be very
တစ်
strong.
ချက်
Liquid's
တစ်ချက်
the
ပြစ်တဲ့
ones who've
damage
got
ကို
numbers
တင်ပေး
here.
ထားတယ်အဲကြောင့်နားလိုက်တာ
Rune will spawn bottom, and Insania will get the shield rune. Very nice.
ဘောင်းတို့ကပူကျန်းတယ်လို့ငယ်ငယ်ကဝတ္ထုတွေထဲမှာဖတ်ဖူးတယ်တဲ့အဲ့ဒါ alligator ကပူကျန်းတာပေါ့ alligator
I like
ဒီမ
that
လားကျွန်တော်က
they
ရေ
said
ငံ
it.
မီချောင်းတွေကတော့
Like
လူ
his
ဆွဲတယ်
fire
တဲ့
combo
ဒု
in
က
the
ကတော့
lane,
စစ်တော့
They immediately
Ew,
find
man.
a kill right after that.
Oh, top side, Cookie.
You gonna be
Cancels the
down.
shackles. They're gonna turn, maybe? No, okay. They'll just finish up cleaning the wave here.
No, I think part of the reason you could kill Maposhka earlier is that he was trapped in the river on his own. This time he's got the TA, who has been farming very well right next to him. So if you tried to focus him down, you might get the kill, but you're just giving Yatoro even more farm on this TA.
လက်ဟင်းနဲ့ပြစ်စားလိုက်ဟိုကောင်တနိုင်းလုံးနေရဲ့ကောင်
Dominator, just
နင်သွားတယ်
200
သူ့မှာ
gold.
ကျိုးသားပန်းသားအဲ့တနိုင်းကိုလုံနေတာ
At
3
first,
ချက်
we
လောက်
only
ခုတ်
saw
ပြီးနေပြီ
the Marcy as a
Well,
way
it's
to
a BI
use
piece,
Fury
like.
more consistently as a carry, but we've been starting to see some other heroes, especially Yatoro, buy the helm of the
Oh, that's a
Dominator.
really nice grab. Okay, they're not going to turn. Okay, I thought for sure that they were going to maybe make the play here for Yatoro, but just don't have the damage yet.
အဲ့
When
ဒီ
you
ပွဲ
have
တော့ Amber
shape
နေ
shift,
နေရ
this
ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်
changes a lot
Amber
because you should
ညောင်း
have
ဝတာနေနေရ
all
ကွာ
the
level
info.
တာနေတယ်လို့နီရှာထက် level 7 စစ်ကြီးညောင်းဝကတော့နီရှာက3300ဟိုကောင်2800ဆိုအဲ့လောက်တော့ပြတ်တယ်
Dominator. Also,
400လောက်ပေါ့
we'll
နော်
have two
400
helm
လောက်
of
ပြ
the
တ်တယ်
Dominators back to back pretty soon. Collab should be
Good spear. He should
good
be fine.
spear.
Well, that's a lot,
lot of
damage being built
poison
up
if
from
he gets one more.
Insania. Not going to get it.
Topside, Lycan gonna get
Lycan
shackled to
short
death.
already.
Niche is here.
ဖက်ရှင်ဟုတ်တယ်
Have
ရှေ့ကနေ
to get this
ခွေးတွေ
auto, right?
လမ်းတွေပိတ်နေတယ်
Did
ဟေး
everything for this. There's going to be the
Silent.
silence. The ruse coming
Silent.
through, looking
Eh,
at the
Hobie.
silence of his own. The
Oh,
shackles
quick
are
guy
out.
look
They
they
do
are.
get the kill thanks to the wolves from Saberlight, but Nisha still plenty tanky. Lots of minus armor and damage coming out. One more auto attack will get him the second kill as he
လူက
jogs
silent
away
ဆွဲဖို့
with the
မန်နာ
Orchid
မ
Rune
လောက်ပါ
actually
ဘူး
being body
တဲ့အဲ့
blocked by the wolves from Saberlight.
ခွေး
Another
တွေ
silence
body
coming
block တာ
through.
နဲ့
Cookie off the
အေး
mark.
ဟုတ်တယ်
The silence, however,
ဟုတ်တယ်
does connect on the Nisha. Gets it with the double kill. Just has to avoid the calling. And
Nisha
he
is
does.
Nisha ပဲ
A
တုံး
massive
နေပြီ
turnaround top side.
ဟိုကောင်စကြလာတယ်က silent လုပ်ဖို့မန်နာမလောက်လို့လောက်ရင်အဆင်ပြေတယ်
One of the advantages of making the plays first is that you often walk to lane, so you get a little bit more mana.
သမဝါရ
You had to teleport in, which costs a bit of mana, and at the end, he could have killed Puck if he could use Deadshot and the Calling, but just not enough mana to use both.
Do they have the
I
damage here for the
choke chat
Lycan?
deal, shoot.
I think with the urn, it's going to be close. Saberlight looking to get a cookie to
Ah, see,ရောက်လာပြီ
safety, or a cookie in aggressively. They don't have the mana. He's just dead. On the other side, though, Mickey does claim a kill here.
အော်စီကလိုက်တက်နေတာ
that Shadow Shaman.
ဟိုကောင်းတယ်ကွာ cookie ကိုရှောင်ဝေးသွားတယ်
That cookie boxy.
ဟုတ်တ
He's
ယ်
gonna try and fall low, but the coil comes out in time. There's the rebound, sticking around a little bit too long. You will punish him. I mean, it's a 2
မနေ့လိုက်ကန်တက်ပြီးပြေးရတော့မှာ
Ember Spear is a
တက်
pretty
ပြီးတော့
big win, and it goes
ခဏ
to
fire
the
ကြီးတော့
Marcy.
တက် သူကပြန်ပါ
I
သွား
think that's the best part, right? Is that
ပြန်တော့မပေးသင့်ဘူး
Marcy is not the fastest.
သူတို့လိုချင်တာရသွားပြီ
The
ကွာ
helm of
ပြန်
the
ဆုတ်လိုက်တော့
Dominator
အိုင်ကန်ကိုရ
helps a
လိုက်
lot
တယ်
with that, but still compared to
ပြန်
the
ဆုတ်
TA,
က
which
မှာ
he's naturally
ဒါ
gonna
ကြီးက
have,
မတန်ဘူး
you need to
သူ့
find
အ
these
သက်နဲ့
kills
စ
in
ပူ
this
တာအ
early
သက်နဲ့ထက်
pressure.
လဲ
So being the recipient of the kill gold is huge for Marcy.
ဥရှင်စီရဲ့မိသားကိုဘယ်လိုကြဘယ်လို
Finishes the phase boots real quick after that. So he's got phase, helm dom.
သူကရာနဲ့တဲ့ဆေးပါလိုက်ပဲ
This
offlane
top
ပူ
tier
ကောင်းတယ်
one. Never even has unleashed still.
Look at this, man. Double
ADF
double
now.
helm dom minions are just crushing this tower. Okay,
ADF
you
hero
gotta be
you
careful,
really.
bro. You're losing the pine cone. That's 100 gold.
ဆေးပါလိုက်က
Over
သေး
to
ထိုး
the
တယ်
jungle, they go for the boxy
ဒါပေမဲ့
snap kill. Nisha actually
nice
gets a
soccer
haste
လို့ပါ
rune.
လို့တော့ကောင်း
Rune's
ပါတ
in
ယ်
some
ဆေးပါလိုက်
trouble
nice
now
soccer
because
ဆော့တာ
of
တော်တော်
this.
ကောင်းတယ်
Here
So,
comes
a thing
the
that lion saw.
shapeshift. They do manage to get the disruption here. Do they have a coil? Not quite yet. Remnant number... I mean, that's his last remnant available. One coming off cooldown in just a second. As he will continue to try and chase, but there is the coil. He's going to be forced to snap it. There are a decent amount of poison stacks built up, but there's no more mana left on the Shadow Demon. And Nero will survive. Now that shapeshift was used to go topside,
Oh,
and he
my
is
queen,
chasing
like,
for
I need
collapse
we-
instead. The
we not let me
rebound
see though. Hiya.
aggressively with the fleeting fury will grab
Don't get
themselves a
out,
nice kill onto collapse. Yatoro
ပြန်နေနေပြီ
is gonna be okay. Nisha died mid.
ဟမ်
Uh-oh.
ဒီချဘလို့
He
သေးွာ
was pretty low off that hasted
What?
rune fight.
ဝမ်းဝိုင်း
Had a
သေးွာတယ်
repercussion.
dominating
Missed what happened.
အမ်ဘာကိုတော့
Fox
ဖိတာ
tried to
ဟေး
finish
နီ
the
ရှာတို့
kill with the
အမ်ဘာ
snapfire
ချစ်ချင်း
ult
တော့
there.
ဒုတိယရောက်သွားကြ
Oh,
ဟောပြန်ရှော့သွားပြီအမ်ဘာလည်းပြန်
Foxy,
ရှော့
tip him
သွားပြီ
back, dude. Do it.
အဘာတွေတော့လေယားကောင်တွေကတယောက်နဲ့တယောက်
Fucking not tip
အ
him
ဖီတ
back.
လိုင်းနေစောင့်နေပါလား
protect his honor. Tip back.
That guy is cool and calm. He does not care. He's just playing his own game. He's like, yeah,
Maybe they didn't see the tip.
I'll just kill the mid laner. I'll do it myself.
Nisha should tip him.
ဝဲကိုကြည့်အောင်
That was
ကေး
a little greedy from Morel.
ကေး
I think
over
he
ချက်
could
တွေကို
have
ရှိုး
gotten out if
17
he
မိနစ်
froze
မှာ
the
ဟီရို
remnant
ကေး
and just
22
zips
ခေါက်
out, but he wanted to try to have a way back in.
What the
Put
flash?
the remnant down, tried to walk away and I think
Uh-oh.
eventually TP out.
Oh, wait, the mini croaker. Oh, the polywog with the stun to bail him out. Huge.
Goodbye,
I mean, that's
Boglet.
honestly really smart to be carrying a creep that always has a stun, right? You kind of have to.
အေးတွေ့ရ
Yeah, it's good for Marcy. All right, more time to just punch people to death. Alpha Wolf that she has, also a nice damage amp, so that one's pretty good.
It's a good find here potentially for Yatoro. Boxy will go ahead, throw the urn, get some damage out, but with this Rue in pursuit, maybe they go. There's no Snapfire ult quite yet. Ember is here with the chains. Jumps on forward here with the cookie, trying to continue to stay on top of Yatoro. There's going to be the coil, and they will be able to bring down this Templar Assassin. The question is, can you get more? As Saberlight's got that wolf chasing, there's going to be the Pierce the Veil to buy himself some time here on the Muerta. Now turning their attention over to the Shadow Shaman, the summons. Gonna die. And the TP comes in from Collapse. Spirit Vessel out onto Insania. But a nice disruption to make some space. Mural should have chains up here shortly. The body
ဒါ
blocks.
စီယာရင်းချင်းချော်တယ်
Very nice. He should be safe. Just collapse
ဒီ
that
ကောင်
blink,
ကွာ
he doesn't. He's trying
စီ
to
ယာ
get
ရ
a
င်း
range
ချင်း
for
ဟို
the
ဟာမ
Arena.
သုံးမဲ
He
နဲ့
might
လုံးလိုက်တာ
do
ဟုတ်
it.
ရအောင်ရီ
He's
နာ
going
ခင်းတာ
to.
ဟာ
Goes
အဲ့
inside
တော့နည်းနည်း
on his
များ
own.
သွား
More
ပြီလေ
kisses, though,
အဲ့
come
လောက်
through,
ကြီး
and now Rue
ပိုဇ
is
ရှင်
in
ဖိုင်နောက်ကို
trouble.
အဲ့လောက်ကြီးလိုက်တာကြတော့
Nowhere to go.
သူတို့ရဲ့
He just put the
Tspirit ရဲ့
Babushka with him, a double
တူ
kill
းစီရ
for
မယ့်ပွဲကို
Boxy.
ဘယ်လိုတွေများစော့နေတာ
Yeah,
တော့
we were unsure of the Snapfire. We know it's a high damage hero. And
Who's
it's
the
paying
other
off,
boy,
man,
no?
with these wolves. The combo's great.
Yeah, I wasn't
အဲ့
sure
လောက်
the
ကြီးလိုက်စရာ
setup
မ
Liquid
လိုတော့ဘူးလေ
had, but
စပိုတာ
Spirit
လွတ်ပေးလိုက်
doing
လေ
a little
သူ
bit of
ဖြစ်လို့
setup
တော့
for him,
ဘီနာလိုက်
chasing
ခင်းပြီး
in.
တော့
I'm gonna be
Hey,
here
then.
in this arena. Just drop your ult. Maybe that's part of the idea. You know that Spirit's gonna jump in on whoever gets shackled, whoever is in the arena, and you just throw it in there. Now with that, they're gonna smoke up. You don't have the Snapfire ult this time, but you do have Marcy's. I think they're hoping someone will come to that bottom lane, TP in, and they'll get a fast kill. Otherwise, they're gonna make their way to the Wisdom Shrine. They're a little late for it though.
They scan it. I mean, they're not going to make it in time, but they can still go for the kill here, I think. And
ပေးပြန်
Collapse,
ပြီ
yeah, not looking
အာ
good for him.
သွားပြီဟောင်းဟိုဘက်ဖိပြီးပေါ့
Marcy's
လို့အဲ့လို
damage
မျိုး
is
ဟာပြီးလိုက်ရင်
insane,
တော့
bro.
ဖိမဲ့ကောင်းနေ
What
ပြီ
is
နော်
this
အကုန်လုံးက
hero?
As if she didn't do enough damage on her own. With Disseminate level 3 now, she's gonna have 30% extra
တက်ကြော်
damage
ပြီး
on
နေ
her
ရစ
target.
တိုင်းဟုတ်ပါ
And
And the alpha
splitting
wolf.
that
သွားလို့
together
အကွက်ကြီး
is,
တွေက
of course, as well.
တောင်းတောင်းသူတို့မလုပ်ပါ
Give her a
ဘူး
little
အဲ့
bit
လောက်
more
ထိ
bonus too.
She
So
just,
yeah, a very good start for Marcy.
she just blinks in, or rebounds in, just punches you for, she's what, 200 damage right now? For 3 attacks immediately? That's pretty good. And then, of course, like everything else you mentioned. Overall, Yatoro still managing to stay relatively farmed on the Templar Assassin here.
Helm of the Overlord finished up. Last Snapfire ult also available. Looking for a coil kill.
The wolves.
Invis Wolves.
The
Find
wolves,
the TA.
they're doing so much work, man. It's insane the amount of damage
Bobby.
that they've gotten out of these already.
Bobby,
Boxy now
yeah.
dominating on the Snapfire. And Saberlight with a black
ဂိမ်း
dragon
3ဆော့
now,
ကျင်နေတာ
as he has the helm of the Overlord completed. Will be
Only
able
game
to
3 saw you need.
continuously shove out waves, and they're actually just gonna look for Roshan as he makes.
ဒီ
his
ပွဲတော့
trek
ခမ်း
to
မ
the
မ
top
ထည့်
side
ရ
of the
ဘူး
map here.
ဒီ Tspirit ဘက်ကနေပြီး
Just
ခမ်းမမရိုက်ရ
30
ဘူး
seconds
ဒီပွဲ
after.
တော့
And with the wolves, with
I
the
don't know,
owl, with all of this physical damage, this is a quick
carry
Rosh.
carry မကြိုက်လို့ထင်တယ်ရာတူ
See
တူ
if
တမ်ပ
Liquid
လာ
can
ဆို
have a
တော့
little bit more success with it this
ဘောဖလင်း
time
တော့
than
ယုံ
in
သေးတယ်
game
တမ်ပလာ
one.
မ
If
ရ
you
ဘူး
guys missed, you
Tạm
want
là
to follow
up là.
the channel, so type exclamation point F, get a link to all the socials.
အေးကြီးတွေပြတ်ကုန်တော့မယ်ဟုတ်ပါလို့ဒီကောင်တွေလောက်တာ
Channel
အကုန်
here
အေး
for
ကြီးပြတ်ကုန်ပြီ
you're
နော်
staying up to date with all the games going on.
game 3ကြည့်ရတော့မယ် game
This is
3
a very impressive lane stage from Liquid. Not only did they come out ahead in their lanes, but they are even further ahead right now than they were last game in this position. This is a very early Aegis, and you have a lot of tempo that you can build off of these double helms. And just like the fact that all 3 of your cores, not only at the top network, but these are heroes that play very aggressive.
I do think you need to. I feel like the scaling on TA... I feel like the scaling on Spirit just as a whole is really solid. Whereas some of the Liquid heroes, they're not bad, but I think they fall off a little bit more. Especially...
ပြန်အောင်တကယ်နိုင်ခြင်းရင်
Marcy,
လိုဝဆင်းတဲ့နဲ့
I'm
အတင်းကြီး
uncertain
တွေ
on
ရဲ့
their
အခြေအနေ
late game
သက်လို့ရ
compared to the more traditional
Ah.
stuff that Spirit has. I think you do want to keep that momentum going right now.
နိုင်ခြင်းနဲ့ဆို
They
ပြီးတော့
scouting with the wolves.
အရင်ဆုံးစ
He's
ရှုံး
so
ရမ
good
လို့ပဲ
at playing Lycan. Like every time I watch Saberlight play this hero, oh, a little bit of a misplay there from
The wolves
Nisha,
did their
missing the
part.
coil. Yeah, it's like, well, Saberlight's like, I don't tell you, man. I gave you the vision. But I was gonna say, every time I see Saberlight play this Lycan, the wolves are constantly scouting heroes, like more than anything else. He's gonna use them to try and do some damage to the tier 2 tower, but once this falls, they will be immediately running for them.
ဒီနာ
Oil, or, I'm
We
sorry,
don't
Arena
need
does
town,
come
eh?
out. Mortimer Kisses are gonna come through to a decent chunk of damage. They have
Oh,
to
but
respect
they
this.
will, eh?
With the
Arena ထဲမှာ
shapeshift, he's out. Puck to go in, silenced up the whole
အို
back
င်ကန်ဟို
line.
ပြေးတီ
And
ပြေး
now
နဲ့
they
သွား
jump
ပြီး
in the
ထိုးခံရ
rebound
ပြီ
from Mickey deletes.
Game 3
Jaro is now they chase
Game
for
3
more.
confirm.
Collapse in some trouble. Cannot connect onto the Spirit. Try to
Oh.
TP out on the Shaman. That is not gonna happen. Mickey says no, but Collapse will be the one that does make it out.
game
This
3
Lycan,
ကွန်ဖန်
deceptively tanky, has the sister
18မိနစ်ပဲရှိသေးတယ်အဲ့လောက်
and
ပြရ
then
လား
pop the
လို့
plate mail for his AC first, so they try
ဘယ်က
to
စ
kill
ဖြစ်
it,
တာ
they
လဲ
initiate
လို့
on
အဲ့
him,
မ
they
င်းမ
have all the
အဲ့လို
heroes
ကြီး
there,
သွားတာ
but he
စ
just
ဖြစ်တာ
does not die.
အဲ့မှာ
That means you've clumped up for
အဲ့မှာ
Mortimer
တေးသွားတယ်
Kisses,
collapse ကပြီးတော့
which
အဲ့ဒီဟာ
he
တေး
ended
တေး
up
ပြီး
with
ချင်း
some
အောက်က
very
14မိနစ်
comparable
western
damage
run
to
ရှေ့မှာ
Puck
ထပ်သက်
and
ခံ
his
လိုက်ရတယ်
Marcy, despite having I really didn't
Em
think
mà
they
dán
had the
chú
setup
thầu
for it,
à?
but every time Spirit comes in, he's like, yes, exactly where I want them, killing Saberlight, perfect. Here's the Snapfire ult. It's
Turns
working
out,
out.
the
This year, the
Mars
Enigma
Arena
win-
and Sapphire combo
This
is
year-
good even when they're on opposite teams for
နေက
Snap.
မ 100%
Apparently, yeah. Apparently only good for one of them.
ဒီပွဲကဘာမှ
Collapse
မ
not
ထင်တာ
having
ဘူး
as good of a
game
time this game
game 2
around.
ရှောင်ထားတယ်
Good blink there from Collapse.
Actually, I think a lot of his arenas have led to his own team dying, now that I think about it. They haven't found a kill in quite a while, despite the start.
I mean, it's an 8,000 gold advantage, right? And without finding these kills, it means there's no real vessel here on Morel. Now, they are looking for Mickey. He's in a rough spot. He's going to get speared up into the arena. Does have the BKB, but it's on cooldown for 2 more seconds.
ဟုတ်တယ်
Uh,
ဟိုဘက်
yeah, he's
carry
dead.
ကို free
All right, there's a good kill.
That's a
Grab
huge
the
one, yeah.
Marcy, who does not have the Aegis, since they once again give it to Puck to play aggressive like this. Get some free kills on the map.
That's bullying. I don't care what you say. That's straight up illegal.
ဟိုဟာ
You
လေး
missed
တော့
the
ဖြစ်ပါ
last
အောင်
one.
တဲ့
Okay,
ဒီ
that was
ပွဲ
a
က
piece off.
over
Like,
တော့
I
မ
whipped the
ဖြစ်
coil
တော့
on
တော့
you.
ဘူးထင်တယ်ကိုထင်
Now
liquid
you pay the price.
အားလေးရိုက်သွားတော့ပြီ
My carry.
အနေထားလိုက်ကန်ကြီးနဲ့
Mars.
အားလေးရိုက်သွားတော့ပြီ အများဆုံးခံရ second Roshan ပဲ အခုတော့မှ high ground ကတက်နေပြီကြည့်အောင်
Arena, so he had no setup for his own ult.
အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်ဒီပွဲ
They
ကို
were
ကို
looking
ရှောင်လိုက်တာ
for Rue there.
မဟိုဟာ game 1တော့ရလိုက်တာကြောင့်လည်းပါတယ် game 2မှာ feeling က
That's
တိတ်
where
မ
he tried to be
ကောင်း
cute. This is the mind games of the pro level. Oh, they're gonna think I'm gonna go straight back, so I'm gonna
Shall
take this
I?
like crazy cut around the trees. Like, haha, I'm just gonna walk back. Outthink yourself.
Good old
ဒီကြီးက disband တော့မှာလား disband ဖို့မြင်ရတယ်
This was like
Disappointment will
attempted
များ
to
ပါတ
be
ယ်
nerfed so that the golem and like the helm of the dominator no longer soaks damage from the tormentor, so that it reflects more back to the heroes there. But he has so much minus armor that it doesn't reflect enough. So he does manage to just solo tormentor. It's a big play. Not having to commit anybody else to the top side of the map to get that Aghanim shard for the Snapfire is pretty huge.
Yeah, the shard would have been good for either support. I think you guys are familiar with the Shadow Demons nowadays, but for Snapfire, this just makes the cookie a little stronger. It heals now the target and has a bit more impact damage. But the big thing that I think maybe is starting to make Snapfire a little bit more viable is that the level 10 talent is now this plus 35 Mortimer Kisses burn DPS that the cookie is going to get because it now applies the Mortimer's Kisses.
ကံပလာဆွဲယူရတာကြောင့်အမှန်ပဲခုနစရတယ်မထည့်ဘူးမထည့်
for
ဘူး
this hero. We might see
ဒီနေရာမှာ Morphling ဆိုရင်ထည့်လိုက်
but it's also good damage in team fights, especially to break the fraction.
Carry က Morphling တို့အဲ့လို Faithless Void တို့ယာတိုတို့နောက်ပိုင်းမှာ one man show ကျုံးမဲ့ Carry တွေဆိုရင်ထည့်လိုက်
Being mean.
တမ်ပလာမရဘူးသူကယာတိုတို့လည်းမရဘူး
Like
တမ်ပလာဆိုတဲ့ hero ကအဲ့
the
လို
game gets really hard because Puck has
ကို
such
ဖိထား
a
နိုင်
lead
မှာ
right now. Like there's not much on Spirit they can do to connect on these kills, especially
ဒီပုံစံနဲ့သူက wine မေးခံရမှာ
but with how much pressure on the map this Lycan is applying, as well as Puck, like any of these supports get caught out and die to him. It's one of the reasons we see Puck such a high priority hero in the patch. One thing I'm noticing, like you're just like, you know, Boxy might start getting farmed. He's already farmed. He's pretty much the same net
That's
worth as
true.
the off lane of Collapse. And with the Mortimer Kisses shard, or I'm sorry, with the shard on Snapfire, it applies less impact damage, but it does not reduce the burn damage, which is why that 10 talent you're talking about is so valuable.
You know, part of the reason Snapfire dropped off is that she used to have that level 20 timing where Little Shredder would get her attack damage and everything, and then level 25 it would split. They swapped those, which just hasn't been as good for her. But maybe get this shard, get this farming speed. It's like, I'm gonna hit 25 faster than ever. This is bullying, guys. Leave Mapochka alone.
Well, he came in there to
Marcia,
try and find
BKB
Baby, but
City
again,
on
he
ပုံကြီးပါ
has
ကျုံးတာ
to work
ရှာမန်
his TA because there's not much you can do about it. But this
အာဒီ
game,
မှာစကောက်နေတယ်
he
အဲ့
has a stun
ရေ
creep
ကွေး
with
တွေက
him
share
at
စကောက်
all
တာကြီး
times. He is refusing to let himself get controlled by the
Bobby.
Shadow Shaman. Bottom lane, Mortimer
ကို
Kiss
ဖန်လို့
comes
မရ
out.
ဘူး
He
လိုက်
shows
ကန်
up
ခွေး
with
တွေက
Bobby.
လိုက်ရှာ
They
နေ
find
တာ
a big kill onto Yadoro once again. Boxy
Offside
now
web
on a
ပဲအဲ့ဒါ
mega kill.
I think you can poke a little bit. I guess you're kind of waiting for the next
နေနေတော့
stages,
ပို
but I
ဆိုးတယ်
think
သိ
you
လား
just
ဘယ်
throw
သွားဖမ်းလို့
summons
ဖမ်းရ
out.
မှာမသိ
Like,
ဘူး
if
အဲ့
the
လိုအနေ
Lycan
ထားမှာ
blows
လိုက်ကန်
the-
ခွေးတွေစကောက်နေရ
the
နဲ့
Overlord, you get
တစ်
the
ဖက်အသင်းရဲ့
Dominator, Marcy.
ဝက်
You
တီ
don't wanna
နဲ့
take too
ဘယ်
much
ပြေးလို့
risk,
ပြေးရမှန်းသိမှာမဟုတ်တော့
pushing the high ground without Aegis. Like, yeah, you just do this, right? Just have
တူး
the
စီရမယ့်
creeps
ပွဲ
in,
ကြီးကိုဘယ်လိုတောင်လှုပ်ချလိုက်လဲမသိဘူး
fourth of the tower down. Barely any risk. You just
See,
play the
see.
map, keep getting farmed.
ကံ
waiting
ပ
for
လားဆလာတဲ့
Aegis.
ဦးကျိုးอ่ะခွေး
This,
ကျော်อ่ะ
though, is exactly where Spirit is scariest.
ဒီပွဲကတော့ထိုးသားတွေကိုလှုပ်ကြံတဲ့ပွဲ
They
ဟုတ်
managed
ပါ
to do it last game. Can they do it again here?
Boxy gets feared up onto the high ground. Marcy finished an Ags, which is pretty scary. So now you have the AoE silence in the fights. Now, of course, Fleeting Fury does not proc Ags to
Hey.
blink the arena. Spear does catch
Sorry,
Boxy.
yeah.
He's a big target, but he's pretty
Now,
tanky.
Boxy
Gonna get
mate
the
đều
Solar Crest, try
sure.
himself to survive, but he can't do it.
Anh còn
But
ta
now
phụ
the
rồi,
chase
ta đâu
up onto the high
đâu
ground.
kìa
It's a
nè.
1-for-1. You trade your off lane for the Snapfire. I guess
That's
it's,
a
you
limit.
know, something for Spirit, and you hold
အဲ
the
ရာ
high
တို့လို့သိပြီ
ground for
အို
now.
းဓာကာကြီးခုံလာတာ
It did
နော်
lose
အဲ့ဒါ
one barracks though, so even though it's just the ranged, it will push in your favor.
We're gonna
Especially because
rebound
Lycan's,
a little Marco.
Buy the shard at some point, which also pushes in all the lanes.
Yeah.
So
It's
your
coming
map's getting your map's getting smaller. It's getting tricky, and that's very annoying as Roshan is up. Right, it gives you so much information for Liquid to play with. Hey, they're not defending their mid lane, so don't go into Rosh yet. They must be here. As soon as someone goes and shows, then you can go into the pit. Which at least you have an Ember Spirit, so he can remnant, near his team and then hold that mid lane. They're gonna have to play like that.
They're scouting with the Wolves once again. Maposhka's like, bro,
Mapochka,
leave me
no."
alone. He saw some TPs coming. He's like, guys, they have to see us. He drops his sentry, sees the wolf, and just immediately runs for his life.
At some point, you're just gonna be like, guys, just don't play.
အမေ
me.
မန်တာစ
They
တိုင်
just-
နဲ့မာ
They
စီကို
always see me.
ကြည့်ပါထဲတော့လေဒီချင်းကအကောင်းဆုံးပဲ bash ထင်ထက်
Alright, here's the Roche, which, as if it wasn't fast enough, thanks
bash
to
ကအကောင်းဆုံးပဲ critical ထက် bash တောင်ပိုကောင်း
well.
He's got a prowler.
တော့
too.
မန်တာစတိုင်လုံး
This is
တရားရင်းချင်းကြောက်လို့လား
Did you see the ward dropped on the high ground there? Thanks to the summon, I believe. Think they do? Yeah, okay. They're gonna send the
ဒီ
walls
ချင်းကတော့သူ
and,
တို့
uh,
ဘာလို့လို့တော့
Aegis
တင့်တယ်နေ
prowler
ပါပြီ
to
เนาะ
just
နောက်ဝက်လဲ
up really
15k
quick.
ပြတ်နေတယ်
Aegis and the Aghanim shot or the Roshan's banner. Pretty much what you get from this. They're not going to contest. Spirit, I think, no. They are so far behind, and losing the Roche fight would probably end the game. Nisha goes in aggressively. He actually manages to find the Templar assassin, but she does get the blink away. Does she have BKB done on TA?
She does.
Okay, good.
Muerta gets killed in the meantime. Yeah, this is where... So a lot of people would just have the gut reaction to TP, panic, get out of there. They know they're in a bad spot. They have to make space. They have to stay on the map as much as possible. So knowing that he can BKB TP home is
PIS
absolutely necessary. He's trying to
ထင်
stay
ရတဲ့
with
ဓာတ်ခံ
quick
တော့ရှိရ
waves.
တဲ့
That's where
Tspirit
Liquid
to
was just trying to push. They were going top,
Parivation
now
to
they don't have creeps.
နော်ဘတ်ဘုံးလည်းဖင်ရတယ်
Though, so you can start with this and then just make your way to one of the side
အား
lanes.
ထားထားလုံးမှမသိ
You don't need to. You want
အ
to
သင်းတွေအသင်းတွေကကြည့်လိုက်ရင်စောင်းကျန်းတယ်
because
တကယ်စောင်းကျန်းတဲ့အသင်းတွေပဲ Parivation ရောဘတ်ဘုံးလည်းကျန်းတာပဲတကယ်လို့
kind of what happened last
Tspirit ဆိုလည်း
game.
မြင်တဲ့အတိုင်းပဲလားစောင်းကျန်း
Or like a blink spear back. Like, you
အဲ့
can
ဒီကောင်လေး
do a
ရှုံး
very
သွားတဲ့
similar
ပွဲတွေကို
play
ကြည့်
on
လိုက်
Liquid
အဲ့
with
လို
the summons
ထောက်တ
and
လွဲရှုံး
having,
သွား
Nisha on the puck.
ဟိုကောင်လေးဆိုလဲပန်ဂိုလီယာကယ်ရီတွေလုံးတည်ပါစပရစ်ဆိုလဲစောစောအဲ့လိုမျိုးမဆိုင်မစီမဆိုင်ကွက်တွေတွားသေးအဲ့ကွက်တွေပေါ့နော်
They're gonna drop the Chungus ward here to try and delay the push.
အဲ့တစ်ချက်တော့3-2တယ်ထင်တယ်
Now Marcy, even
Cắt
though
hố
she
lên
could
thì
kill
mà
this
tí mà
thing,
tả đi.
it's not really worth it. You don't want to waste your ultimate on killing this big ward. So Nisha
ဘက်ကို AJ baby တာဝါတက်ပစ်ခိုင်းတာလေအေးရောဒီလောက်တက်ခတ်တဲ့ကောင်ကို
He does.
AJ
No
ပါပေးတာ
collapses there. The ward doesn't see them.
တော့
but
ပြီးတော့ BKB
somehow
နဲ့
they have vision.
He's actually trapped himself in there.
What
He
is
has
giving them
Aegis, though.
vision?
In the base, is it not just like the con? Oh, there's a
အေး
ward on
အေး
the
အေး
side.
အေး
and
မိခဲ
also
အေးချမပါဘူး
just
နော်
a
ဖင်ရနေဖင်ရနေ
curveball, illusory orbs. And
Wait,
Marcy
what?
does not
Hey,
have the
Sophia.
That's a quick
Aegis.
BKB. Hold on. Marcy's gonna turn around, pop the ultimate, start to lay into collapse. He's
Ooh,
running away.
ooh,
He's
ay,
trying
shield,
his best to
fuera,
backpedal out of here,
ကြီး
but
က
it's
ပြီး
not
ပြင်းနေ
enough
ကောင်
to
တော့
get
မ
the
နောက်
kill.
လက်တီးချက်တွေက
Toro
ပြင်းလိုက်တာ
forced the BKB and survived
အတွင်းရနဲ့
great
ထိုးနေသလား
shot.
မ
Foxy right back into the hands of the Templar assassin. He is dead, but so is your Ember Spirit. As Lycan rips through these guys one by one. Oh no! A buyback on the Ember. Nisha in some trouble, does have that Aegis. But Morel, great shackle onto the whole team. But it's not enough. There's really no damage left without Yadro able to stay on top of these heroes.
ဂိမ်း3အပိုင်တီးလိုက်ရတော့မလား
You need the TA to do the damage.
Ref
If
ကြည့်
she
ပါ
can't
ဦး
hit the
Ref
hero,
လေး
you're
ပါ
not getting the kills.
ညလုံးမိတ်ပြီးတော့မ
Use
ထည့်
your
သေး
full
ချင်း
barracks, but I don't know if Nisha's done. He's actually still here.
ပြောမရဘူးဒီကောင်လေးက lower bracket ဆင်းဆော့ဖို့ chance ကရှိသေးရဆိုတော့
Team. You still have 2 minutes on Aegis. You don't even
Ref
have to
qual
do this
vai.
right now.
Yeah.
ဟောဒီကဒါ upper bracket ကွာ
The Ember
ဒီနှစ်သိန်းတွေကရှုံးရင်တမ်းမပြုတ်သေးဘူး
economic damage
second chance က
done.
ရှိသေးတယ်အဲ့တော့အရင်
Here comes
ဟိုဟာ
the
ဖြစ်စရာ
ancient
မလို
Rumble Hide.
ဒါပြီးရင်လာမဲ့ပွဲရမှာရှုံးတဲ့
Sick
ရှုံးတဲ့
work,
တင်ပြုတ်
guys. All right, 2 racks down for Liquid. This is a much cleaner finish compared to game 1, where they got the lead and a series of events off of a good fight from Spirit allowed a comeback for Spirit. This time, Liquid's holding the lead, very safely pushing with all their creeps. And you just got to do it one more time, and the game is essentially yours.
အေး
Oh,
ကဲ
cooking on
final
forward,
fight
trying to get him out. They do manage to break the shackles of
final
Spirit back
fight
from
အာ
Fox. They
နောက်
just
မှာ
don't
လက်
get
သီးနဲ့
damage.
ထိုးနေပြီ
Marcy
silent နဲ့
killing
ဝင်တာ
everyone.
ဝင်တာဆိုတော့
Solos Ember Spirit thanks to the silence. He GG's. I was like, yeah, this one's it, guys.
မာစီကအပြာကြောင်းနဲ့ဆိုတော့
Finally,
silent တွေဝင်
Spirit
နေတာ
will
တောက်လျှောက်တယ်
lead.
GG,
Maybe because
29 minute
Yadro
ပဲ
picked a duplicate hero. It's hard to say.
အန်တာသွားပြီ
Honestly, I don't know which one, but Spirit.
အန်တာသွားပြီကိုယ့်ရဲ့ gut
gonna
feeling အ
drop
မှန်
it
တယ်
into
ဂိမ်း2
Liquid
ရှောင်လိုက်တာ
a
လုံးဝ
flawless game. This was
အကွက်တီတွေကြီးပဲ
incredible
ဒီနေ့
from
အတွက်က
them. Boxy showing that this Snapfire a real contender.
liquid ဝဲပလေးလားဒီ spirit ဝဲသရူလားတော့မသိဘူးเนาะဟာ နော်ဒီကောင်တွေကရှုံးရင်အောက်ကိုသွားအောင်မှာတစ်ဆင့်ဒီမှာဖယ်ကွန်နဲ့ပါရီကတော့ရှုံးနေတဲ့အပြုတ်ဆိုတော့၄သိန်းပဲကျန်တော့တယ် top 4တော့ဖြစ်နေပြီ let's go to game 3 game 2ပဲတော့ဒိုတာနောက်ပိုင်းပွဲတွေတော်တော်များလာတယ်တဲ့ CS လိုပဲဟုတ်တယ်ပွဲလုံးချင်တဲ့ဒီ button site တွေဘယ်လိုပြောရမလဲပွဲလုံးချင်တဲ့ organization တွေများလာတယ်လို့ sponsor ပေးမဲ့ button site တွေကလည်းများလာအဲ့တော့ okay တယ်သင်ပြေတယ်ပွဲဖြစ်တယ်ဗောနော်အဲ့တော့ team တွေအတွက်လုံးဝ12ရာသီမှာပွဲတွေကြီးပဲအချို့အသင်းတွေဆိုပွဲတွေများလုံးလို့ဟို direct invite ကနေပြီးတော့အဲ့လိုထွက်တဲ့အသင်းတွေတောင်ရှိတယ်မှာထွန်တော်လာလို့ပါလို့ဆိုရှေ့မှာအဲ့လိုသူတို့နားလိုက်တဲ့အသင်းပွဲတွေပါရှိတယ်ကွာထွန်တော်လာလို့ပါလို့ဆိုသိရမလားအဲ့လိုဝိတ်ကြမယ်ပိုကာ continue next round 3000 okay let's go ချက် winking diamond 3 ကတ်ဒီနှစ်ကတ်ဖြုတ်ချက် winking ဆိုတော့တစ်လိုင်း straight ကတ်ဖြုတ်နော်ဟိုကောင်ကလည်း diamond ဆိုတော့ခဏထားလိုက်အောင်ဖွာ diamond 4 ကတ်ဖြစ်သွားပြီအဲ့မှာနည်းနည်း short ရှိပြီဒီတကက်သေးကိုပဲဖြောရမှာကြောက်မတန်ဘူး his cut ကုန်တယ်ဆိုတော့ဝင်းကိုဖြုတ်ကြအောင်လေရပဲကိုမစော်ပဲနဲ့ပိတ်နဲ့ဒိုင်းမွန်းနဲ့စော်လိုက်လုပ်ကြည့်ပါအဲ့လိုလုပ်ကြည့်တယ်အေး diamond straight တဲ့ရပြီ straight ဒီလိုဆော့လိုက်ရင် diamond 3 ကတ်ကျန်မယ် diamond 2 ကတ်3ဘုဘနကတ်ကျန် diamond တွေအများကြီးကျန်ပြီအဲ့တော့နော် diamond 3 straight ရင်ဆော့လိုက်မွန်လေးများပါမလာဘူးဗျာ6 diamond 4 ကတ်6633တော့လည်းပါ 啊东啊东部ဆော့လိုက်မှာ3ခုထပ်ထွက်လာလက်ရှိအောက်နေရပဲရှိသေးတယ်အောင်ကဲကြပါအောင်3000ပြည့်အောင်လုပ်ရတော့မှာဟမ်းပဲဆော့ရတော့တုံးမှုများသွားပြီအဲ့လောက်ဆိုအဲ့ဒါဆိုရှုံးဖို့များသွားတယ်တခုမာဒီပလိုက်တစ်ခုခုလုံးမရတော့လူကကက်တွေပါဝယ်ရတော့အဲ့လောက်ဆိုတန်းရှုံးပြီတောက်စော့โอเคยูรัน is difficulty300ပြန်စားအော်မဟုတ်သူကပိုးသားပြန်ဆော့ရတာကွာအော်သဘောပေါက်ပြီပေါက်ပြီသူကပိုးအစမှာတည်းဟိုကတော့အစကောင်းအောင်လုပ်ခဲ့ရမှာပြန်ဆော့ယူရန်ပြီးသွားပြီအဘိုင်လုံးနေရyo ဖြစ်3000ရဖို့ကတော့ခက်တယ်တော်တော်ခက်တာပဲအဲတထုပ်ထဲနဲ့ဖြစ်3000ရဖို့ဒူကာကတ်ဒီကောင်းကောင်းမွန်မွန်စုခဲ့ပါရmultiply ကောင်းကောင်းလုပ်ခဲ့မှရမယ်တော့မှရှိတယ်ပြီးရင်ဒီလို cash out အဲ့လို two remaining hand for $1 each အဲ့တော့အဲ့ဒေါ်လာတွေကိုစုပြီးတော့ကတ်တွေကောင်းကောင်းဝယ်ခဲ့ရမယ်သဘောမှရှိတယ် game play 15 change if play hand contain a straight have money อ๋อ money ကို devil လောက်တာ okayကိုမှရှိရဟောင်းနှစ်ဆလုံးမှာအဲ့တော့စောလိုမျိုး3000လို့ပါလို့မှသုံးရမယ့်အနေထားမှာရှိဘာကြီးလဲ1 of up to 2 chuka cat 1 up to 3 playing cat to re-trigger all get L in hand ability. misprint နဲ့ဘာကြီးတော့အဲ့ဒါကြီးอ่ะ random လားအဲ့ဒါ misprint Let's fight. Oh, okay. So, random กว่า random multiplier app ပြီးอ่ะအနည်းဆုံးက1အများဆုံးကall club က debuff တဲ့ club တွေသုံးလို့မရတော့ဘူး okay debuff ဆိုဖယ်ပေါ့အဲ့လိုဘေးဟန်တဟန်ဟန်ရရင်တော့နိုင်တယ်အာဒီပိုင်းอ่ะနောက်ပိုင်းอ่ะချက်โอเคအဆန်ကိုနှစ်ဆလောက်လိုက်ရင်အခုချိန်မှာ18ကျက်ဆို34ကျက်ရမယ်မသိပြီလားမသိနေဘူးထင်ရတဲ့ကတ်တွေရစောက်ဘောကတ်တွေ gain နဲ့ plus gain 307 value and zero 3 1ဆန်ဆူလာဒီ round နေရာနည်းနည်းတွင်သေးတယ်တဲ့ချက်ကွင်းကင်းတဲ့အိုင်မွန်3လိုက်ငါးစားရတယ်။အိုးရောဒီကက်ကြီးကကျန်းတယ်။15နဲ့မြောက်ပေးွားတစ်ချက်တည်းပြီးရောပွဲသိမ်း။ဒါကြီးကျန်းတယ်ဟာ fuck random oh my god 9ချက်ရတယ်။မလုပ်သေးဘူးကွာမလုပ်သေးဘူးနော်။ level up high cut တဲ့ plus blah 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 တဲ့ power up to 3 select cut club ဟို club ပြောင်းတာဗျအဲ့တော့မိုက်တယ် club တွေပြောင်းလိုက်လို့ရတယ်အဲ့ flash တွေပါဆော့လို့ရတယ် dress ပြီတဲ့ dress ပြီ
Been picking very strong laners for Mickey. It was TA in game 1, Marcy in game 2. They got first blood, you know, for that safe lane, right? He's had it stacked against him, but you do need to find something to help him out here for game number 3 because he's usually a big part of their wins, right?
Let's go say David man
his team making space, finding catch,
Let's go
all that
say
stuff, just lacking if he's having a slow game.
အော်20ကိုပဲ level လုပ်လို့ရသဘောပေါက်ပြီသဘောပေါက်အဲ့ဒါအများကြီးဆိုလည်းမထူးဘူးပေါ့20ရောက်တာနဲ့
like playmakers / cruxes
level လောက်ကတော့မှာပေါ့ okay
it does also feel like
အဲ့မမြင်လိုက်ဘူးကျန်ကို
the nature of the puck so I am curious like if Team Spirit ban the puck or if they get
Yeah,
it
game
themselves,
3.
how this is going to affect Liquid in game 3. Now, the coin toss happened. I don't know if I should spoil it, but it is not what I expected in terms of the result. So we will talk about that when we actually get there, but kind of a first, I think, for us in this event.
I'm not too surprised, but I'll save my thoughts till I see it play out. Yeah, I'm ready to see. Are we returning to a new hero for Yatoro? Because maybe that's what you need, right? You tried to repeat the TA, and the powers that be said, no, you were supposed to pick new carries only. You're not allowed to win. Maybe now Spirit recognize that. They're like, okay, we screwed up, but we can learn. That's why we're such a good team. We learn. We need a new hero for Yatoro going into game number 3, and that will secure us the grand final spot. Let's see if they learned that lesson.
Yeah. Well, it is going to be a interesting draft to say the least, but I think we can go ahead and talk about it now. Liquid won the coin toss, and they chose Radiant instead of first pick, which I don't think... I mean, maybe it's happened because we haven't been able to see every game, but it's very uncommon for teams to give up first pick. Granted, Liquid just won against first pick, and then they lost with first pick in this draft. So what are your thoughts on this, Zach?
I'm not too surprised. I mean, I'm a little surprised, but I kind of think the first pick thing is a little bit overvalued right now because of the nerfs that came into some of the strongest heroes. I think there's enough heroes that are powerful that even with the second pick, you're going to get something good. And in theory, something good versus what they just took on their first pick. And it's not so one-sided because of imbalance in the game that, oh, it just doesn't matter that we counterpicked. Their hero is just simply too good. I don't think the first pick, like choosing first pick with your priority, has a massive win rate advantage getting into this tournament. I have to double check where that's at, but I do think there's value to having second pick versus a team like Team Spirit that has, you know, such powerful final picks in Yatoro with his wide hero pool. But I also think if you're trying to play fast and you've developed these strategies for various hero combos, Radiant is typically better. That's why this Radiant side often has a higher win rate than Dire. The way Roshan spawns, the way Tormentor spawns, often favors the way Radiant plays, which for a team like Liquid that plays fast, plays aggressive, that might fit their style.
I'm curious, like, what we're gonna see, like, in the first pick now, because there's still some big.
နောက်ဝက်ဆက်ကြည့်အောင်နောက်ဝက်မကြည့်တော့
last
ဘူး
position they banned the
ပြင်ကုန်းပါစတဲ့ထိပ်ပြောင်ပွဲ no no
I think
အပြင်နားတော့မှာပါ
don't ban the puck, they will go for it because you do ban Marcy at least. So you're not going to get this like 9-pick Marcy as the response to whatever Spirit come with. I do firmly believe Marcy is too good of a hero to let through right now. We see last game, it's a 9th pick Marcy, ends up absolutely dominating because she just isn't really answerable in the lane. And once you have Helm of the Dominator, Fleeting Fury just takes off and starts to snowball. They will ban out the Lycan as well. That is some respect.
Respect the Saber, Chad. Ooh, the Bane. So mixing it up rather than so much priority on the mid hero, kind of leave it open.
ပလာတာတဲ့
Take your
ooh
puck, we'll get another counter pick.
ပလာတာ
later
ပစ်သွား
on.
ပြီဟေ့
We don't think it's the biggest issue.
အဲ့နီရှားပတ်ကို
Confidence from Spirit.
အမ်ဘာနဲ့သွားတော့မ
I
ထိန်း
do
စေချ
think
င်တော့
Bane
တစ်ခု
helps
ခု
to
နဲ့သွားထိန်းပြီးတော့
control the puck. Fiend's Grip is a very good tool to have. You could also just Nightmare him out. Granted, puck can also get to Bane to cancel some of that, but it's something that Miposhka is really good at. And it's a very strong laner that can be flexed between
အရင်ကဆိုရင်တော့
which has
အဲ့
been
လို
where
DK တို့
Spirit
ဘာ
seems
လို့
to
နဲ့ဒီ
have
ကောင်လေး
struggled.
လာနေတော့ကတော့ DK တွေပါထုတ်ဖူးတယ်
The question is, if you ban
Puck.
the puck, or if you pick
သူ
the
စလာတာ
puck,
နဲ့
it
တွဲရင်
will
DK တို့ပါကိုလည်း
pretty much
ကောင်းတယ်
guarantee
Initiate ဝင်
a
လို့
super
ကျုံ
matchup in mid.
ကယ်ပြီးတကောင်ထက်
It's very unlikely that they will go something else because it seems to be like the remaining
ဒီ
good
Barrel နဲ့ကြတော့
Yeah.
ဘာလာမလဲမသိ
Team Liquid here.
And
There's
by
no
the way,
way
Lamla.
you let Void Spirit through because it is such a good matchup once you get the Aghanim Scepter, and if you have any other lockdown for it, it becomes very difficult. Nisha just laughing. He's like, all right, yeah, whatever, guys. I'll just keep playing puck. Why not?
Come on, Morel. Hit him with the Huskar. Hit him with the Huskar.
I mean, does Huskar even beat puck in lane, though?
Depends if
Because
you're
you
a
can
good
kind of
Huskar.
just avoid him, right?
I think it depends if you're a good Huskar. I've seen it work. Dragon Knight, Sniper, or like some of the others that just aren't that great. I think the bigger issue, more than like picking Huskar itself, is that Huskar is actually, I know we meme as like, oh, easy lane win game, but there's actually a lot of like execution behind it that you can't mess up with, and the team as a whole needs to play around it. Which if your Huskar player is
condition hero
you know, it's just
အခုချိန်မှာ Tspirit က Slaughter မထုတ်ထားဘဲနဲ့ဆိုရင်ဒီလိုအနေထားမှာ nice ကကောင်းတယ်ပတ်တီရောဝါလော်တီရောနောက်ထဲကိုဝင်မွေလို့ရ
Last game we saw the Shadow Demon in
ဘာတန်ပစ်လိုက်ပြီ carry က maybe offlane လည်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဟိုတဲ့အနေထားမှာ Slaughter ကကောင်းတာထောက်ခံလိုက်ရပြီသူ့ armor short တာတက်ခံ
one of those heroes that you don't want to deal with. Now,
ဘာပဲပြော
consider an Insania classic
ဝန်ထက်ထဲတယ်
So we might be seeing something like that kind of sneak its way in, or the Elder Titan. Both of those heroes are heroes that Insania love to play. And they play
Slaughter မြစ်ပြီးတော့ Dawn of Flame ကိုမှ carry တကောင်ထက်ထဲမလားပြောမရအောင်နော်ဒီကွက်ကြီးကနည်းနည်းစားတယ်
Void Spirit through, like how can we deal with it? No, okay, yeah, just get rid of it.
Slaughter Dawn ကြီးကနည်းနည်းစား
Maybe they were thinking about what they want to pick instead. Bat Rider is actually still in the pool. He's been getting banned in that first phase quite a lot, but with the mix-up, that leaves the Bat Rider open. That's something that's quite good. We saw Disruptor in the past be pretty good versus Bane as well, since you have the long-range glimpse to mess with stuff. Oh yeah, Clockwork will work as well. Multiple ways to find and get to the Bane and cancel his abilities. A fast-paced hero to set something up. They've been picking very early aggressive carries. TA still in the pool if they want to go back for that.
I'm trying to think like what hero in lane they want to pair it with. I do agree with what you said. I also am not sold that this has to be the 5 position, right? It could be something else, but Clockwork dealing with a Bane in the late game is always really good, and then giving you kind of like a tanky body in that safe lane if you do want to pick like a ranged 5 or a ranged carry of some kind. Always nice. For the side of Spirit, we're gonna have to start seeing some more of the draft get revealed here. I don't think you want to go for something like a Shadow Shaman now that Clockwork's been picked. You might need a higher damage like 4 position here for Rue. No? Okay, they'll pick up the Disruptor instead. One of the good heroes into Puck. Also, Glimpse not bad against Clockwork.
Yeah, you just make him keep his distance. It also could still be swapped around.
Yeah, I want to say Uri Janet then about
on the the Bane now, which Bane does okay versus Clockwork because you can sleepwalk him away as well, at least in the lane. Later on, it's a little harder as like the hook shot, battery assault stuff comes in. But for the lane, you can get by, and you're pretty fast too, so you can also keep your distance, even though you're kind of a shorter ranged hero.
ဒီပွဲမှာ duration over တီးရမှာတယ်
Again at some point they've been doing
1.7 အတန်ပလာပြန်ပစ်တာဟာ
totally been working
ကိုထင်တဲ့အတိုင်းပဲတွေ့လား
try a different answer
ဖလာတာမစ်သွားပြီ
not sure what that
အဲ့တော့ဒီကွက်ကြီးကစားတယ်လို့ဒီနှကောင်ကြီးတွဲပစ်လိုက်တာကြီးစားတယ်
Oh wait, what if you did mid Slardar?
ဟိုဘက်ကအဲ့အချိန်မှာ mid ကိုကွန်ကာတွေအမ်ဘာတွေဘန်းလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာတမ်ပလာ carry ထပ်ထုတ်တယ်အမမဟုတ်တမ်ပလာမစ်ပြီးတော့ တမ်ပလာမစ်ပြီးတော့ don't carry Slaughter off lane လည်းဖြစ်တော့ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဒါဘယ်လိုလုပ်မလဲ
The tankiness and regen he gets in the river does allow him to kind of sustain against
ကိုမြင်တော့ Slaughter မစ်ပိုကောင်းမယ်တမ်ပလာ carry အဲ့တော့အဲ့နှစ်ကောင်ပေါင်းရင် armor reduction ကစောက်ရမ်းများတယ် Roshan ကြီးတာပါညာ easy
I feel like it might be because I don't think
Don't off lane collar ဆွဲကင်အဲ့ဒါအကောင်းဆုံးဖြစ်မယ်ထင်တာပဲ
Clockwork has a lot of things that make it annoying for a Slardar to chase you down and bash. And your attack speed's not that fast at the start, so if you get trapped in the cogs...
ဟိုဘက်ဆန်ကင်းနဲ့အဘာတန် carry ဘောဆန်ကင်း off lane ဆန်ကင်းကြီးကဘာမှမထူးတော့မလောက်ဘူး armor shot ပြီးပြုတ်ဆိုရင်ပြုတ်မဲ့ကောင်ကြီး
A mid Slardar, but it's flexible, so you have a little bit of wiggle room once Liquid
Tspirit
reveals a little bit more here.
Anytime you pick a Slardar, you have to imagine that minus armor is coming down the chain here for Team Spirit. So Templar Assassin, Tide Hunter, those types of heroes are going to be things I keep my eyes on just because you want to synergize with it. They go for the Warlock, so this will be a 4-position Clockwork, and they will pick up the Abaddon for most likely for the carry role, which is really good if they decide to move this as if they try to make this an offlane Slardar. Abaddon Warlock will make this impossible for them.
Abaddon's a really strong pick here. You
Templar mid ကြီးဟုတ်တယ် don't carry don't carry Templar mid Slardar offlane
strike in the laning stage if it does.
Templar ကိုပတ်နဲ့သွားထင်းကိုလွတ်လိုက်ပြီပေါ့နော်
Versus the Slardar, you may get bashed, but that is where the Warlock will help a lot to just heal you up. Maybe okay, could be offlane Doom, could be the carry Doom. Back to new heroes for Yatoro. Prevent some healing coming out
Templar
from
mid
the
တွေကတော့
Warlock and the Abaddon. Lock down the
ပုံမှန်ဆိုရင်တော့အန်ဒါရာများတယ်အဲ့လိုပွဲတွေက
actual kill, since we've seen him kind of
အဲ့
run
လိုပွဲ
free
တွေက
in
အန်ဒါ
all
ရာ
these.
များအန်ဒါဆိုကျူရှင်44တို့43တို့အဲ့လို
A bit open for both teams coming in.
38 39လောက်မှာပြီးမယ်ထင်တာ
I think it's carry or offlane you're looking for.
Sprint 9လောက်တ
Whoa,
ယ်
the Venom. Okay, that would have actually been pretty sick. The
Ranking ကဘာ
offlane
အတွက်ပစ်လိုက်လဲ
Venom
သိမ
for
သေး
Saber.
ကွယ်
These guys have done their homework.
Templar ဘက်က Templar တာမယ်3
It's definitely something that they're not afraid to pull out. And when you have something like a Clockwork, it does make a lot of sense. It's a sick Spirit Vessel game already for the side of Liquid. So picking up an offlaner here that can build Spirit Vessel, I think would be really good. They did this with the Brewmaster earlier, but Brewmaster gets absolutely cooked by
We game
Slardar.
in နဲ့အောင်မြင်နေတာ
So you don't
view
wanna go that
ရဲ့
route. So I think
4.5k
the Veno ban
view are
does make a lot
4.5k.
of sense. In
Wow.
terms of other
လူတွေပဲရောက်လာ
offlane Spirit Vessel builders, there's not a ton, but there is
အမ
a
view
hero
ဝယ်ထားလား
called
ဟုတ်ပါဘူး
Necrophos, which
Buddha-
did get banned
Buddha
out,
ကို
or
ကြည့်
did
တဲ့
get
လူ
played
တွေ
earlier in the carry role.
အဲ့လောက်မ
He
များဘူးနော်
is
မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာ
a potential
ဒီ
vessel.
ချိန်ပြီးတော့ဝယ်ထားတာဖြစ်ရင်ဖြစ်မဖြစ်ရင်တစ်ခုခုပဲဘတ်တာလားမသိ
Trying to think what other
I'll think with that
heroes
one.
there
I'll keep
are.
that.
You do have Enigma actually, but the problem is you have like decent amount of ways of stopping Black Hole with Disruptor like pretty reliably.
ဟုတ်တယ်3100ပဲကျန်တယ်တစ်ခုဖြစ်သွားတာပါဝယ်တာဒါမှမဟုတ်
just
error
carry
တက်တာ
Doom,
ဖြစ်လိမ့်
offlane Slardar, maybe someone wacky carry Slardar.
အဲ့လောက်ကြီးမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာ
They're
ဟို
worried
ဟာ
about
မရှိ
the
တော့ဘူး
heroes.
လူမရှိတော့ဘူးကြည့်ရလူ
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
အကုန်လုံး
I think
ပေါင်းမှ
it's better to
1000
just guarantee puck
ပတ်ဝန်းကျင်လောက်
a
ပဲရှိ
good
တော့
mid
ထောင်
lane.
ကျော်လောက်ပဲရှိတော့
I
အဲ့ဒါ
do
မှ
think that these are probably the side lane
streamer တွေမှာ
that
ပတ်
they
ပြီး
would
တော့ကြည့်နေကြတာ
be
overall
something
က
like
$1500 လောက်ပဲ
mid lane that they need, but
သူကသူတယောက်တည်း3000ဆိုတာကြီး
they do ban the Enigma. Okay, so I was gonna say, I know
Impossible.
it's a Saberlight classic, and he could just build Helm Dom on it, and they run at you again. So makes a little bit of sense, but the Black Hole, I wasn't sure if it would be too much of a threat. It would late game though.
ဘယ်ရလာလဲ16ယောက်ပဲဟို Facebook မဟုတ်
I have
YouTube
a
မှာပြောတာ
pretty
YouTube မှာ3000ကျော်
good
ပေါ်နေလို့
idea, but I don't know if it's going to be pickable yet. Depends on what Spirit goes here, but a potential Dazzle in the off lane for Saberlight.
That could be kind of cool.
review တွေက China ကိုနောက်ပြီး bot တွေထည့်ပေးတာ
Yeah,
3
so
times now.
အဲ့လို bot တွေထည့်လို့ရ
three
လား
games of TA.
ဝယ်ပြီးထည့်ရ
I
တာ
do think
နောက်
it
နော်
was it's
ပြော
one
တယ်
of
ဘာ
the
လို့မှမသိတော့ဘူး
consider
လို့ဒီမှာ
Never
ကြည့်ကြပါ
versus
ဦး
Slardar, that TA Slardar
ကိုကိုတိုင်းဘာလို့မှမသိတော့ဘူးပွဲကအန်ဒါသွားနိုင်လို့
so
တိုင်
much
ပတ်နေ
bonus armor.
ပုံမှန်ကိုက over ထည့်နေကြကောင်
Now I'm wondering what you pick.
Sprit ကအန်ဒါရိုက်သွားလို့ရတဲ့အနေထားကြီး pick က
I don't think you want to pick something like an axe, even though it's super high armor. It really struggles because
ဒါမှမဟုတ်ပွဲအခြေအနေကြည့်ပြီးတော့မှ
like
ပဲ
blade mail, like call.
Sprit ဖိနေတဲ့အချိန်ဒါမှမဟုတ် liquid ဖိနေတဲ့အချိန်တွေမှာမှ
Creep Dragon's also
အဲ့
a
လို
little
light
difficult
ဖက်ပဲ
versus
ဖက်ရ
Bane
မှာထင်တယ်
and-
ဒီချိန်ကြီးက
yeah,
ဖက်ရတာ
Disruptor,
မ
you
မိုက်
can glimpse you or nightmare you around. You can, yeah, you could maybe do it, but I think it would be a bit tricky. This does explain the Venomancer ban a lot. He can shred through that refraction. Looks like he does a Sand King.
ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်
with
လေ
the
တဲ့
Sand
အာဘယ်ကဖြစ်
Storm.
နိုင်ရမှာတော့
Oh, okay. So I
ဖြစ်
didn't
နိုင်
say
ဘူး
it.
3000ကျော်ကမဖြစ်
I
နိုင်
was
ဘူး
wondering if you would put
ကိုကန်
TA
တို့ဘာ
mid,
လို့
'cause that used to be an old school
ဒါအ
counter
များဆုံး1000ပေါ့
block.
900
Physical
1000ပေါ့
damage, refraction, you can
ဒါ
only
ကြီး
dodge
900
so many on
1000
the
ပေါ့
puck.
သူတို့နှစ်ယောက်ပေါင်းနေ
At some
2000
point,
ပဲ
you
အ
can
များဆုံး
side
တော့
plays.
တွက်တာ 3000 ဘူးမှမဖြစ်နိုင်
But we just don't see it anymore.
တယောက်ထဲမှာ
it's
3000
typically
လူ
a
စုသွား
carry.
ဖို့ဆိုတာကြီးက
But
မြန်မာနိုင်ငံ
if
မှာ
you
အဲ့
do
လောက်
a
audience ကို
geared
မရှိတော့
carry
တာ
like Doom, who doesn't have the same traditional scaling.
အဲ့လို
you
တွက်ကြည့်
often
ရင်တော့မှ
want
မဖြစ်
the
နိုင်ဘူး
right click potential from your mid laner, which is now what the TA is. So that is cool. We don't see this nearly as much nowadays. Ever since Puck got enough buffs that he can kind of he does better in this matchup than in the past, but maybe not. Maybe Morel's got something up his sleeve here.
online နိုးထည့်
It's
ပြီးတော့ကြည့်ရင်
definitely a
ကောင်းလား
comfort pick for most mid
1.88
laners that have been playing the
တော့ပြ
lane
တာအောင်ကြာပြီ
because
online
TA was
နိုး
viable there for so long.
online
I do
နိုးလို့
also think that TA Slardar as a combo is better played when TA is
That
above the mid lane
handicap.
because she
That
gets active
handicap.
way earlier. Like carry TA wants to farm, mid TA is like I have Blink Dagger, let's go. Like I have Dragonlance Blink Dagger, like let's start fighting, and I'll get the Deso eventually. And that is a good timing for the Slardar to play around because by that time he probably has Blink himself, and we're just going to see them start running at heroes. You have really good catch on your supports in the Disruptor as well as the Bane to play around. So I do think Team Spirit are going to be looking to play really aggressive and trying to pick off hero after hero. Probably around that 15 to 20 minute mark. Like I imagine your Blink Dagger on Collapse comes out at like anywhere between 13 and 16 minutes. TA should be around the same time with Dragonlance, so it's a good pick. I like it. We'll see how much Sand King makes a difference because he is going Sand Blast as well, which is the blinding facet, which I'm surprised about because I don't feel like we've been seeing it too often, but maybe it's good enough into TA.
I think it just kind of helps you in the lane, get through that part. In the past, either facet you would take gave you a lot of farming speed, either because you dragged the Sandstorm to different camps or because it was big enough to hit multiple camps at once.
နောက်ပွဲမပြဖြစ်တော့ပါ
That was why you could pick Sand King so early. It's like win
တို့
or
ဘာ
lose
ပဲ
a
လဲ
lane,
တဲ့
I will get
ခေါ်လိုက်
farmed.
နိုး
Now you
တော့
have to be a
အခု
lot more
နည်းနည်း
careful
ထည့်
with
လိုက်
boys
ပြီ
getting picked
အ
later
ရန်
in
တော့
the
မထည့်
draft.
တာဘူး
But also
ပုံမှန်
like,
ဘန်းနေကြ
get
အ
a
မောင်း
bit
တော့မထည့်
extra
တာ
luck
ဘူး
in
န
the
ည်းနည်း
laning
အပျော်
stage,
ပဲ
that
ထည့်
little
တာ
bit of extra blind chance. Make sure that you're not stuck from behind trying to catch up where now your Sandstorm is not as
ဒီ
good
ပွဲမ
at
သိဘူး
farming
တိတ်မကြိုက်
multiple
လို့
camps.
game 2 game 3မှာ feeling တွေတစ်မျိုးကြီးဖြစ်နေဘတ်ရတာတိတ်
I think.
ပြီးမလား
It looks like everything's pretty normal.
ခေါ်လိုက်နိုးလေးနည်းနည်းထည့်ပြီး
Goes
တော့
for Fracture this game as
ကြည့်လိုက်တော့
opposed to the Void Blades that he went last game. Granted, it's like you go Void Blades whenever you're playing against a summon hero, things like Beastmaster, Lycan, so that you can try and Sideblade all of them at once. So I understand the Refractor pickup here.
Tspirit ကအတီဆော့မှာလား
Here
game 2 တော့ကလိုပဲလုံအောင်မှာလားဟော draft ကအတီဆော့ရင် liquid ကမလောက် Templar mid မှာတာမယ်
I believe
အင်းဖုံတိုင်းဖုံတိုင်း Roshan တွေလုံမယ်အဲ့ Sangin ဆိုတာဘာမှတော့လုပ်လို့ရမှာမဟုတ် Sangin ရော Templar ရော
on the top side of the map.
ဒီမှာ
here.
Disruptor
Saber
ပါတော့
Knight
ပို
gonna
ဆိုးတယ်
go and maybe try and make a play for the deep bounty rune, but needs to be careful because they're
ဒီ draft အတိုင်းဆိုရင် Tspirit နိုင်မှာ
the Doom and they have a
ကောင်းနေ
lot
ဆော့
of
ပေါက်ပဲကြည့်ရအောင်
bottom side. Crush
Hey.
comes out. He will grab it, but stuck inside the cogs here on collapse box. He needs to get the body blocks,
ဒါမျိုးတွေ
and he will. Beautifully done, continuing.
ဒါ
the
မျိုး
chase,
တွေ
but they have
ဒါ
the
မျိုးတွေ
damage to
သေပြီး
finish
ဖက်ပ
the
လက်
job. It's gonna be so close
အဲ့ဒါ
to
မျိုး
one
အကွက်
more
တွေကို
auto
ကြောက်တာ
attack.
ဖက်ပလက်ကနီရှားရသွားတယ်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးနှိမ့်ရမယ်ကောင်မနှိမ့်တော့ပဲနဲ့
It's gonna help a lot in this matchup. Look, already using curveball to get a little free extra regen.
အဲ့လို
On the
feeling ကမ
other
ကောင်း
side of
ဒီ
the map,
ပွဲ
what
ကြီး
was
က
happening, there was a glimpse to try to kill Saberlight, but a really well
အဲ့
timed
တိတာတ
burst
ယ်
strike
နော်
gets
အဲ့
him
လို
out of
lane
that,
matchup တွေ
keeping
မှာ
him alive. Otherwise, he was gonna be surrounded by 3.
သားပဲကောင်က
And then
မ
if you
ตา
saw
တော့
the
ပဲနဲ့ဟို
glimpse
မှာ
as Disruptor,
အေးနီရှားက border အစိုးရရသွားပြီဆိုတော့ physical trait hit တွေလိုက်လုံနေပြီ
so
အတင်းတွေ
your
တွေ့လား
level 1 is now just
ကစားဘောက်က
really
chain သွားပြီ
frothy now that you didn't even get first blood. Nisha will need that first blood for
အဲ့မဲ့ let's say ကတော့ Templar 5-1 ဟာအားကောင်
pulling
စားတာ
out this puck
ဘက်ကတကောင်
farm
ပဲ
with
ရှိ
this
သေးတယ်
counter pick.
ဟော let's say ကတော့တာပါတယ်နော် hero ကအကွာကြီးဆိုတော့လေအဆက်ကြည့်ရမယ်
Since we've seen
ပေါ်မှာယာတူတို့ကစတာတွေက level 3နဲ့လိုက်ထူနေဟာအကောင်မငုံဘူးကြ
Well, in game 1, he kind of bodied Nisha as well in the Ember matchup. Game 2, Nisha adjusted very well, ended up winning the lane. We might be seeing a little bit of a run back from game 1, though.
I think the first blood changes that somewhat. you kind of expect to lose these last hits no matter what. That's just like why TA is good with refraction versus puck. But that often leads to a delayed bottle timing, which then you miss out on the extra regen at the 2-minute water rune, which is like where this lane snowballs. But thanks to that first blood, he already has his bottle, so although he is being pressured, he's going to get that next water rune in a moment. And
ပြန်လိုက်လာတယ်
stabilize
ဒီ
this
ရှား
lane.
လက်စစ်ကပြန်
Yeah,
လိုက်
you
လာ
might always end up losing to the TA, but you're going to get help from the clockwork for runes, and then you're going to be able to rotate to these side lanes, see what you can get done.
Well, that's a lot of damage bottom here on the Mickey. He's just dead.
အဲနောက်ပိုင်းလည်းအဲ့လိုပဲ
Honestly,
ဖြစ်
way
မှာ
too far. You don't
နောက်
have
ပိုင်းလ
level
ည်း
2 on Insania yet.
တလာတာ
to go
armor
ahead
shot
and,
တမ်ဘလာ
give
ပြည့်
him a
ဆိုရင်
shot
အကုန်လုံးအဲ့လို
As a result, they get themselves a
အသေး
big
ပြောက်က
kill.
ဆောင်ရဲမြန်မှာအဘာတန်ကလွယ်လို့
Level
ဘာတန်ကတော့
3
ဘောလုံးတိုင်းရှိလို့
Slardar.
ကျန်တဲ့ဆန်းကင်းတွေပတ်တွေကလော့ဝိုက်တွေမလောက်ဘူးတလာတာပြီးရင်
Lane was out
ဖြတ်
of
အစော
lane.
ကြီးဝယ်လောက်တယ်အေးအပေါ်မှာထပ်ထုပြန်ပြီ
With that level advantage now, getting Saberlight with the glimpse.
ကဲတကယ်တော့ဆော့နေ
Right,
ဟာစ
stronger
ပရစ်က
showing in the lanes for Spirit this
လိန်နေမှာ
time.
တကယ်ကိုပြင်းနေတယ်ရာတိုရိုကြီးကတိတာ level 3တွေအဲ့လိုအစောကြီးယူပြီးလိုက်ပြင်းတာတို့ပါတော့ပတ်တွေကတကယ်ဆော့နေတဲ့အကွက်တော့ဖြစ်နေပြီစပရစ်
Give
From
them
sort of
Lotus in both sides, which you kind of need. Warlock's got endless regen, so getting a little bit more yourself for free from the Lotus pools will help.
Yeah.
Sustain the lane as we see him losing a massive chunk of his health there.
This is very reminiscent of Game 1. Like, looking at the CS in the lanes, like, Game 1, Spirit was substantially ahead CS-wise in all 3 lanes, and it's happening again.
Now, in Game 1, Liquid was able to pull it back, although they ultimately lost. This time, I think you have some of the tools to do that again. You've got Sand King with a Sandstorm, Clockwork. If he starts stacking or creep dragging for you, you can recover his game. It does mean the Doom's going to be free farming, get into that Midas real fast. But he's not that... He's still in a farming period after the Midas. He really needs to get to the Radiance at a good time, so there's still a window to punish him. Like, if you recover... for example, with the big stacks being made here, you recover, get to that level, you know, maybe 6 epicenter. This centaur.
It's stuck. How does he
Spawned
even
too
spawn
far in
back
the
there in the
back.
first place?
Just bumped around by the creeps, I guess. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he sees it, because that's kind of behind a tree. And if you don't see it, sometimes you just don't know it's there. And you're like, they blocked my camp, guys. No, there's just a creep in there.
Dude, he doesn't see it.
Oh, no.
Is it gonna...
Maybe it won't affect the spawn box. It kind of looks really far back.
It keeps trying to walk into it is the problem. Okay, it won't. That centaur is just stuck in prison.
That's crazy. I've never seen that, actually. That he almost got mega griefed, because the trees regrew as well, which means if you don't get a camp spawn, you'd be so lost on where it is.
They're not really getting a whole lot out of this top lane. Yatoro is pretty much free farming. Yeah, they're going to be forced to TP back to base on Saberlight, get closer to his phase boots. As Mapochko is looking for a glimpse target. Really nicely done. Bottom lane, Mickey nightmared back quite a bit. Does have an aphotic shield, which he's going to have to use, as well as 10 wand charges. If he wants to survive this bash, damage is just too much, and Collapse will crush him one more time.
Bash
Gets on top of
win,
Insania. This should just be a double kill now. He can't survive this either.
What?
This offlane Slardar is
Lada.
owning them.
လာလာထုနေပြီ
Leg day, getting you in front of everyone, a body block. Slardar getting to work with these bashes. You can't underestimate him. The damage is already done by the time you apply the aphotic shield, too. So, like, you've already been stunned. You've already been taking the damage. You have to have the shield up ahead of time, but then Slardar just won't fight you. So, really well done from them over there. We were saying Collapse has been struggling to have that early impact we usually see from him. So far, so good. I believe his power treads are on the way. And he might be finding another one. There's a nightmare onto the Warlock. At the same time, Aposhka's trying to contest these stacks here. I don't think he can do too much besides absorb XP, though.
Oh my god. This bottom lane is a disaster. This Slardar, I was going to say maybe he gets his blink like 13 to 16 minutes. He's going to have like an 11-minute blink, dude. Like, this is a huge issue for them. Bro Strike does come out to dodge out the glimpse. Really nicely timed there from Saberlight.
This is where I would usually say you need to go stick whoever has the best wave clear down here. These supports are not good at that. It's going to have to be Sand King, who could usually depend on Sandstorm to keep him alive, but Slardar is actually one of the best heroes to not let that happen thanks to Corrosive Haze. So I think this is going to become very unplayable. I guess once you have level 6 on Abaddon, it's kind of okay. Yatoro, pretty deep here. He is going to get the Sand King kill.
They're just going to glimpse Mickey. And with that, he just gets a freebie. And Mickey bottom lane, he's going to die. Level 6 on Collapse means Corrosive Haze is online. He's going to get the Aphotic Shield off. Try and look for one more crash. And Crush, yep, he gets the kill. Now behind the tower. Nisha does find that one. He has an orb. He has to be able to find this kill, but he doesn't want to jaunt in and get crushed.
Oh,
Collapse does so much damage.
ဟိုရဲ့ပတ်က level 1ခဏလေးပျောက်သွားတာလေဒီကောင်လည်းရောက်မသွားဘူးခဏလေးပျောက်သွားအဲ့ဘိန်း level 1တင်တာလို့သိလား Castrain short ခံလိုက်ရ
Slardar is
ဒီချာကြောင်ရတယ်သူ့ level 1အရှိကိုနည်းနည်းလေးရအောင်မှထင်တော့သူခဏစောင့်လိုက်တာဖြစ်မယ်
Dude,
ပြီးတော့ချက်ချင်းပျောက်သွား
was even too late of an estimate. It might be sub 10 at this rate if he keeps getting kills.
Morel just stole their whole jungle. He stole the stacked hard camp, and he's stealing the stacked ancient camp as well.
My 2 creeps. Things are dire for Liquid here.
It actually might just be that Nisha has to sit bottom on the puck. They've put Mickey in mid. They are desperate to try and find a way to stabilize because it is falling apart very quickly. They're substantially behind in XP and gold, and with the Blink Dagger nearly done on Collapse, I don't know what you do because even at that point, not even puck is safe.
Templar level 9နဲ့ဖြစ်မှာပါပဲအလေက
Especially night.
အားလုံးနီချာကိုဖက်ဖလက်ပေးထားတာနော်
Nightmares you into the Slardar.
ဖက်ဖလက်ပေးထားတာတော့မရပါဘူး Templar ပါပဲတဲ့
I think you actually don't have to go too crazy right now, Spirit.
ဒါတူတူမိုက်တဲ့ရ
They
သွားပြီ
recognize how far ahead they are, and at this
I want
point, you just
3K
need to
top yet.
maintain till you actually buy the items that give you the power. So like the Blink Dagger on Slardar.
သူအားလေးကိုလီယို
The
စီရောက်လာ
Midas
မ
is
လား
wrapped
ပဲ
up on Doom, so
why
he's perfectly happy just
body
farming away.
လာတော့မှာလား
Although his ultimate is
Body
about
don't
to
look
be up,
on
so
it.
maybe make a play up here, get another kill, and then leave him alone again. The TA getting to work on her Dragon Lance. Believe it or not, her timing is not going to line up with the Slardar because the Slardar is just so far ahead right now. Level 6 hits on Bane, Disruptor, 5.5. Yeah, a lot of things lining up here.
Oh, Saberlight, he was pumping the ult.
သူနဲ့
Held it for a second. Then
တန်ထရီလေးနောက်မှာလာခိုးထောင်လိုက်ရှော့သွား
hit him with
အ
a
မီးမြောက်လိုက်
sentry.
e ပေါက်လိုက်လာလုံးနေ
Such
တယ်
good efficiency on Doom. It was
Sure.
only up for 10, 15 seconds, something like that. Uses it, gets an offlane kill. Okay, guys, I'm back to farming. Leave me alone. Gonna make use of my Midas. Fiend's Grip incoming.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire are scattered.
Blink has been delivered.
Yeah, I thought 11 minutes, pre-11 minute Blink Dagger.
With Power Treads,
Centaur is
Wand,
still there.
Raindrops, Bracer. He didn't even skimp out for this fast blink.
No. This is such an issue because Collapse can legitimately run at any hero on the map and they will likely die to him. Like, level 4 Crush is a ton of damage, even if you don't get the Corrosive Haze amp first. But the fact that it applies like an extremely long slow at max level, he can go for the
တမနစ်မှာငုံနဲ့တန်ပလာနဲ့စားထားတဲ့ quick အရေးအတွက်ကိုစောစောကတွေးလိုက်လား
and
နှစ်ယောက်လုံး130ကျော်
he will get it very
what the
quickly.
fuck
Like Like he can just buy it out at
အဲ့လောက်မ
15
စားပြားနဲ့
if he
လေ
wants.
လို့နှစ်ယောက်လုံး130ကျော်ဟိုမှာဒုံးက
A
120
lot
လောက်
of stacks
ဖြစ်
for
နေ
both
ပြီ
teams, but mind you,
Target
Spirit did
is,
steal like 3 to 4 of these stacks.
အဲ့ကြောင့်လွန်တာ
When you think of it
ပေါ့
like
လေ
that, it's like Spirit is 3 times ahead.
Oh. They
Oh.
find Root. He goes for the Nightmare. He's trying to play for a Fiend's Grip, but the Golem is available, and they're hiding in the trees with this, so they will try and just find a quick pick off here onto Root.
ပြေလောက်သေးဘူး
They will go
Majestic
ahead and throw
အေး
the...
သွေးစုံ
Oh,
မှာ
what a dodge from Nisha. Nicely done. Hookshot in from Boxy. Getting collapse would be absolutely massive. Does Boxy have 0-point battery assault, by the way?
Yeah. He is all in on power cogs and rocket flare.
Huh.
Battery
2
assault nowadays,
2
if
ဆ
you
န်းက
can't get it
battery
value
assault
from
မ
it in
တင်
the
တာလို့
lane,
ကလောက level 1 မ
doesn't
တင်တာ
help you
လို့
farm as well as it used to. So
Mickey is in a lot of
You need
trouble
help.
here.
help me. All right, he's gonna get the help. Good call from Collapse, the restraint to make sure he's not diving too hard as Saberlight respawns. Oh yeah, the battery assault. So we've seen Saberlight just jungling for the stacks. Lower cooldown rocket flare helps you stack more while also sniping a couple last hits in the lane that you are just soaking XP in. For example, right here, getting a stack. Doesn't realize he's being washed
Oh.
during
ရရ
this.
ဆဆပဲ
Static storm.
Oh, yeah,
gonna come
Gong Sabe,
out for
yo.
a free kill onto Boxy, and you're gonna steal these stacks now if
73 မိနစ်
no one comes
radiant
over
Facebook
here.
ရောက်ရင်မိုက်တက်
This is
ပြန်
the
သွားနေ
Radiance
ပြီ
reveal of the Doom. It
Good luck.
only finds
တကယ်
the
ဆိုချင်
Sword
အဲ့လိုတွေ့လား
Clockwork,
Sprig က
and
ကောင်းတယ်
obviously you're hoping to find
Game
the
2 က
Sand
တက်
King
တက်
there
လု
with
တ်
an
တာ
OET
လို့အဲ့ကောင်
bottom.
လေသိလား
Either
တ
way,
ကယ်ဆိုချင်
you
ကောင်း
get
လိုက်တာ
another
သူတို့
kill
ပြင်
on
နေ
Doom, you get some
နှစ်
more
သိန်းမရှိ
jungle,
ဘူး
and now you can go back to free farming top, and you still have Doom available.
Yeah, I like that we're hyping up how farmed Slardar is, and then his 2 cores are 2,000
လက်ဝ
gold
စစ်ကြီး
ahead
တာ
of
နေ
him.
ပြီဒီ
But
တိုင်း
it's
ဒီ
just- I
တိုင်း
mean,
ယူ
those
တာ
guys
နေ
are fast farmers. Slardar is not. So
မင်္ဂလာပါ
he's
အခု
doing
ပွဲ
well
ဒီ
on
ည
his
နောက်
own
ဆုံးပွဲ
personal
လား
scale
ဒီ
here.
ပွဲပြီးရင် Parivision နဲ့ Falcon နဲ့ကြံသေးတယ်အဲ့ပွဲတော့တက်မလာတော့ဘူး
As they're setting up for Wisdom Shrines, a wise thing you can do is to be following all of Fissure socials. If you type !F, keep up to date with everything going on, all the fun stuff. Does Yatoro pick a new carry every time? No, not this time. Another repeat, but this one seems to be working out.
Yeah, I think they gave up on the list. I mean, but still,
Actually, no
9
way, he
different
didn't play Doom.
He hasn't, so this is a 10th hero.
Sorry, in my head I was still in the draft where we're like, oh, they picked TA again. No, this time it is a new one with a Doom. Yeah, he didn't play it today, or this tournament, so they're back. No wonder why it's going so well for them.
I told you, man, they shouldn't have picked TA last game. You can't pick repeats.
Speaking of that, TA smoked up down here. All the ultimates available. You could do Roshan at this point. If you kill someone, you can go straight to
တောင်
Roshan.
မစ်ကလူစားထိုးတာလား
Rose
ဟုတ်
Gaze
ပါ
and Held.
အဲ့လူစားထိုးရတဲ့ကောင်လေးကလည်းစွမ်းနေဗျာသွားရှုပ်လို့မရဘူး Game 1ကနီရှာကိုအပြတ်ဖုတ်ထားတာ Game 2ကျတော့ level 10
Nice glimpse here
Who
from
Game 3
Close
လည်း
to
အပြတ်
jump
ဖုတ်ထားတာ
in from Insania, but Puck's
Game 3ကတော့
ult
ဒါ
might be enough to,
တမ်ပလာဟီးရိုးကြောင့်လည်းပါပါတယ်နီရှာကောင်တာထောက်ခံထားရတာဗောနော်ဒီကွက်ကလည်းနီရှာကိုရောင်းစားထားတာ၃ပွဲလုံး
Well,
အဲ့လို
the
ပတ်
timing
ကို
actually
အစောကြီး
worked
ပစ်
out
အ
for
စော
us
ကြီး
'cause
ပစ်
they
အစော
were
ကြီး
on
ပစ်ပဲ
top, but I think you can still go over
နီ
there.
ရှာကပတ်ကြီးပဲ
Like,
၃ပွဲ
cut
ကင်တယ်
across or go through the twin gate. You can finish the top tier one as well if
နီ
you
ရှာ
want.
ကိုရင်းပြီးတော့
Get
ကျန်
all the
တဲ့
outer towers
ပစ်
to
တွေကို
make
ကောင်
the
တာ
roach
ပုံစံ
defense
ပြန်ပြီး
harder.
ဆော့နေတာဒီကွက်ကအဲ့ကြောင့်နီရှာနဲ့
Coil,
သူတို့ coach
Epicenter,
နဲ့
and
ဟို
Golem
မှာ
are still kind of
စ
scary.
ကားတပြော
here.
ပြောနဲ့အားချောင်ရီပြီးတော့
I think you don't do it
နီရှာကို
blind.
ထိုးကျွေးနေ
You gotta know Liquid's not
နီရှာ
in the
ရတယ်တဲ့
area
အားမဖြစ်
or
ဘူး
find
တဲ့
a pick off first.
ဘာလာလာဟိုဘက်ကဘာလာလာကိုသူကထိန်းမှာကွာဟတ်စကာထွက်လာလဲထိန်းမှာဖိုင်ဘာထွက်လာလဲထိန်းမှာလုံးဝ perfect split
into the fatal bonds, which will be a lot
သူ့
of
team mate တွေအတွက်အဲ့
as
လို
farmed as they are,
sacrifice
no one has a BKB.
ကျန်တဲ့လူတွေအဆင်ပြေ
No way
ပြီး
to
ရော
do
ဆိုပြီးသူက
this
လှုပ်တာ
split damage going to everybody.
ထိန်းတန်းတော့လေသူ့ရဲ့ network ကဒီပွဲဆိုလဲကြည့်အောင်
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Jeez.
အတရမှာ
Yeah,
ရှိ
it's
တယ်
not a good sign.
တမ်ပလာနဲ့ထိန်းတာ
Collapse also just bought his
အဲ့ဒီ
shards
ကောင်က
being
သူကလည်းသူက
delivered. He got it
စွမ်းတယ်
right at 15
ဘကာဘာရီ
minutes,
AC
which is
ရတယ်
expected. Top
အေး
side, we're gonna see them look for
အိုး
a smoke
rocket နဲ့
in
နှ
here,
ကောင်
looking for Yatoro. They're gonna hook shot in.
disruptor
They
ဝဲ
managed to
or
get the
epicenter တွေ
disruptor.
ရော
Not
ရော
a
ရေး
bad start. There's the epicenter out onto the Doom,
ဝင်း
but
ကွိုင်း
the
တွေ
rest
ရော
of them
ကုန်
got
သွား
them
ပြီ
through.
ဂိုးလန်
Nice
ကြံသေးတယ်
goal,
ဂိုးလန်မှာကျဲတာအဲ့ဆိုရှိသမျှ
They're gonna
ပစ္စည်း
drop
တွေ
it.
အကုန်
They
ကုန်သွားပြီ
really
စ
wanna
ပယ်
get
တွေ
Yatoro here, but
Fiends grip on the
damage-
puck.
it might not be enough. Yeah, with the Fiend's grip,
ရှိသမျှစပယ်တွေနော်
easily
ဝါလော့
finds the
စစ်
kill.
epicenter push shot drain ကွိုင်း၄ခုလုံးမှာတစ်ခါတည်းပေးလိုက်တာဘာပဲရလိုက်လဲဆိုတော့ disruptor ပဲရလိုက်တယ်
Really well done.
သွားပြီ what Ooh, the chat very yeah.
In
Wait,
the end,
don't
you
like
never
so.
even kill the Doom.
You're dead on mid lane too.
BK ပါ
It's not
show
even
ပြီ
close.
BK
Collapse
BK
is too strong. This is the thing that's so
Đi qua
much
ပြီ,
of
đúng
an
không?
issue. You do not have damage on
Lucian.
Liquid. You really don't.
ကိုရှန်ယူလို့ရပြီ
Like all of your heroes are under farm. You are 4.5, almost 5,000 gold now behind the Doom on your own carry. He has a full Radiance worth of items over you. Like that's how bad this game is going for Liquid. It is 11k down at 17 minutes. Nisha has a Witchblade, which is great, but he's still very far away from a Blink Dagger. They
Yes,
do
they were
see
Shinchana and they are
everything
bedding
happening
him
here.
there.
Collapse
Huh?
doesn't
Just
care.
send
He'll
it,
just
collapse.
walk
အတိလို့
right
မင်း
in.
နေရ
Just do it.
Like
နေကမာလီ
you don't have Epicenter. All you have is the blink on Saberlight.
ဟာဗျာမေးရတယ်အာ
And even once you get the
Nigamali.
Radiance on this Abaddon, I don't even think it matters. This is a really good ward. This ward is doing
Oh.
heavy lifting right now. They get on top of the Doom.
baby
They
la.
drop the static
ဘုံတော့ကြာ
storm.
သွားတယ်ဟာ
They do have
Hook
damage
shot,
for the kill.
ဝင်
Hook
လာ
shot
ပြီ
in from Boxy. We'll find Rue as well.
နေပေါင်းဒီကောင်လေးစောစောရိုရှန်
Nice
လုံးနေရမဟုတ်
big
လား
plays actually, managing to find themselves 2 big kills, and now they can threaten this tier 1 tower on the top side. Doom sticking around just low HP for too long, and they could not find the ward.
Is under attack.
ဒီကမာနဲ့တွေ့မှာ
You
မှတ်
won't,
မှာ
you don't usually expect this kind of ward. They checked further up for the vision.
တွေ့လားအားလုံး
they
သိ
have
နေ
the
ပြီ
vision
အဲ့အ
advantage
ကြောင်းပြောတာ
from
ဘာလို့
traps,
မေး
but
နေသေးလဲလို့
No, a nice spot from Boxy is gonna finally get them something going their way, and they're gonna get a tier 1 tower as well.
မပြောင်း
This
နဲ့
helps a lot.
မပြောင်း
When
ဘူး
you're
တ
this
ကယ်
far
ပြော
behind,
နေတာ
you
ဟာ
actually want to work a lot of like creep
တကယ်ပြောလဲ
dragging in,
ပြောင်းနေ
just
ပဲ
delay
ထင်
the
တယ်
game
ဘယ်လိုလုပ်မ
since
လို့
you're obviously
ဘယ်လိုလုပ်မလို့
behind, you don't want to engage in 5-on-5s. But if the enemy has every tier 1 up plus
ကို
TA
တယောက်တည်းမဟုတ်ဘူး
plus
ကြည့်ချက်တည်းက
night
လူတွေ
vision
အကုန်လုံး
heroes,
ကြည့်လိုက်
it's
လုံးဝ
really
တလေးတ
good.
န်းသေးပဲ
So taking
ဒီက
down
မာ
the
နဲ့
tier
တွေ့မှာ
1
မှတ်
gives you
မှာ
now some
တို့
room
အဲ
up
ဒါ
top
မျိုး
to
တ
hide
လေး
in
တန်းသေး
trees,
ပဲ
cut waves, dodge
အဲ့တော့
back into the trees, and
ကိုပြောင်းတာ
get
လားမပြောင်း
some
တာလား
farm
ဆိုတာစဉ်းစားကြည့်
rather than
နော်
getting trapped on your own half of the map. And it also delays the Roche, because if they won that fight top, they were going to take that tower and head straight to the Roche pit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So we're seeing Morel go straight into the BKB. Pretty standard, honestly, for TAs in the mid lane. Like, you don't really...
ဆေးပါလိုက်ကအပြားကြောင့်ပြားအပြားကြောင့်သွားနေ really
And
brother
with how farmed your Doom and
brother
Star
ဒီလို
are,
ပွဲမှာပြားကြောင့်သွားနေတယ်
really like
အ
that
မီးမ
decision
လောက်ရ
a lot
ပဲနဲ့
because
တေတော့မှာပဲဒီကောင်း
you
တော့
can just play off of them. Like, you actually don't need to
ဒီလိုချိန်မှာ
be
အကောင်းက
your
ပါလဲ
Doom and
ဆို
Star
တော့
are
လို
doing
တက်
a lot
ဆော့
of damage as well.
ဒါမှမဟုတ်ရှီဘာက second
I
item
also think if you build damage, you're going to be killed by
အကောင်းဆုံးပဲဓာကာပြီးရတယ်အဲ့လို item တွေသာတော့
eventual radiance from the
ဟိုမှာ
Abaddon.
ဆလာဒါတွေရောတမ်ပလာတွေရောအာမောင်
Damage
0
items on TA
ဟိုဘက်ကဘာပါရအောင်
stats,
ရှော့မှာ
Your fraction is not going
အဲ့
to
လိုပွဲမျိုးမှာအပြားကြောင့်သွားမယ်
and then your small
Web
health
play.
is going to get run through. So the BKB will
Okay.
keep you alive.
They see
Okay.
everything. They get a really nice epicenter onto the disruptor. They've trapped Rue as well. He's looking for a way
Rara
to
went
get
out,
a
he
fight
found
in,
out-
but he
oh,
can't.
goal line,
So
goal line,
much
yeah,
damage
yeah.
coming through. They take down the Sand King,
good
but the coils
combo.
onto 2, and the fatal bonds are
yeah,
onto
do show
all
eye.
3 of the cores. Yatoro
Oh, yeah.
does manage to die. Now,
Oops.
can they get Collapse or Mirel? Collapse is the big target. A big crush.
Ooh.
The Bell Strike. Mirel just collapse him. Dude, dead. Mickey finally
တစ်
showing
ချက်
up,
ပဲပြ
but
စ်တယ်ပတ်ကိုဖြုတ်ခနေပဲ
it's way too late.
ဟိုအာမာတွေရော့ပြီးဘလို့တွေတေနေကြလဲ
Radiance
မေး
damage the whole time with the fatal bonds. That would have
ဒါပေမဲ့ဒွန်းပြန်ပြန်အဲ့လိုတေနေတာကြီးကကောင်းတော့ကောင်းမနေဘူး
I think
တော့
you
အ
probably
များ
can't
ဆုံးကောင်
complain
ကြီးအဲ့လိုတွေ
about that. I mean,
ဖိ
this
နေတာ
was-
ကြီးကအဆင်မပြေဘူး
This is a pretty even fight considering they are about 10,000 gold behind.
ဒီကမှာ
starting off
TNU
with
ပြီးရင်ဒီနာလောက်ဖို့
amazing
အခန်းတော့
heads
ဒူဘိုင်းမှာငားပြီးသားတယ်အဲ့ဒါပြောတာ
Now
ဒိ
you
တ်
lose
ဒိတ်နဲ့ပါ
your
အတိအကျနော်
Tormentor is the main
TI နောက်ဆုံးရက်က
True.
ဘယ်ရက်လဲ
Look at your Abaddon. He
TI
is
final ရက်ကဘယ်ရက်လဲ
deep
ဒိတ်တော့
in lane and
ထွက်ပြီးသား
starts
လား
making the long trek up here immediately, but with Spirit having all of their
ရာတိုတို့ BKB ရ
heroes
ဖို့
here,
နည်း
it
နည်း
just-
လေးပဲလိုတယ်သူ
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
but
night
they
and
like
day.
that,
How
sure.
much work the Abaddon could have gotten done here in this fight. It's just so unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel like Liquid wasn't expecting to run into that many Spirit heroes. They were probably thinking we'll get a small pick off and maybe we can do Roche, so we don't need the Abaddon with us. But it ended up being a huge fight that actually was quite good for them, and they're managing to find more pickoffs up here. Another kill onto Disruptor, which
They
the
actually didn't
Tormentor is
lose
actually still
Tormentor.
up. Yeah. So now they can fall back for it. This is a pretty good sequence of events for Liquid here. The combo is coming in later than they would have liked, but Fatal Bonds, Epicenter, AoE damage from Puck, and then the Radiance, it is really powerful up to this point, because BKB is now available for the Doom, TA's is, about 1,500 gold away. And I think Slardar's is actually done. I think it's being delivered right now. Yeah, so you managed to
Triple
find a couple
BKB.
fights there. This is now where that combo really drops off. So I think you're entering the delay period until you also get a couple more items.
The question is, will Spirit let you do that? We'll have to see. They're working on a pretty hefty set of stacks here once again in the triangle. They should be able to get these. Your next set of items for Liquid, what are the big things you're looking for? Because like AoE Crush can't be blocked by Lincolns, but you kind of feel like you might need a Lincolns to deal with Doom eventually. Do you just have to rush BKBs? You're going to go for Manta on Mickey, which is a pretty standard item here for the Abaddon. He's going to get isolated off. They dive the backside. This will be a very dead Insania. The Sister Shroud tries to save him, but they get a great Static Storm. The blink out from Maposhka, I think, is what found him.
မတ်
That will be a kill onto
မိခေက
Abaddon.
မတ်တက်ပါရက်ပေးနေလုံးကြကွာလုံးကြကွာဆိုတော့အကွက်ကြီးနေ
Oh, does he even have
မတ်
blink?
တက်ပါရက်ပေးနေ
Just
ရှုပ်
walk on
လို့ဒုံးလဲထဲကန်တာရတယ်စောင်းလဲဆွဲကန်တာရတယ်ဘာလို့တော့မှာ
Yeah, I
တော့
think they saw us, guys. That was not good. There
Wallace
you go.
ကရှက်နေ
Finally,
ကို
the
ပြော
road
တယ်
that
မ
we
ရှက်
thought
လေး
could
နဲ့
happen a lot
တစ်ချက်
sooner.
ထောင်းအကုန်အာမာရော့
But they get the big fight they've
Yeah,
been
man.
looking for. You got the Deso and Corrosive Haze level 2 this time. So
မိနစ်30ပွဲပြီးပဲ
very
ဒီပွဲက
fast Roche, which I think you stick onto
ဒီကောင်းလေးသား
Paul and just
ဒီပုံစံ
add
တိုင်းဆော်
powers.
ဝိုင်းပြောပါတယ်
I
Absolutely.
think everyone just
ပ
needs
ရိုး
to
မှာ
sit
လားမ
behind
သိ
him
ဘူး
and
စပရစ်က
watch
လည်းပြောမရဘူးနည်းနည်းမထင်လို့
Is
ချက်ချက်တော့ပြ
BKB
in top.
So
အခု
he's
တ
got
ည်း
that BKB
ပြာကြောင်းကိုပြီးအောင်သွားနေတဲ့
BKB should be safe
ဖေး
here.
ပါလိုက်ကိုလည်း
Nice
တကယ်
little
လေးစား
spot
ပါတယ်
there,
ပြာကြောင်း
just
ရ
on
အောင်
the
ပါ
other
ပြီ
side of the
နော်
TA
ဒါ
trap.
ကအပြာကြောင်းကြည့်မယ်
This is what I was
BKB.
talking about earlier.
ကြည့်မယ်
With, you just need to
ဒီလို
try to
ပွဲ
keep
မျိုးမှာ
up
အစိမ်း
like
ချောင်း
this.
ဝင်တော့
Yeah,
မပြောဘူး
until
ကွာ
this
အ
tree
ပြာ
drag
ကြောင်း
the
နဲ့
game out.
Going for the D ward.
ထူခံပြီထူခံပြီ
Insania, let's see the Sister Shroud. Oh, he doesn't
Oh,
have
BKB
any
ပါ
more.
ကြီး
He's
တာ
in
ရောက်ရေး
trouble.
အသာလုပ်ပါဟာ
Just BKBs to get the kill. Saberlight can't stop him. He's out.
သာလုပ်ပါဟာမွန်စတာကေကနေရောမွန်စတာကေရောက်နေပြီကိုက
I
Last
mean,
game they
protects
were
his
ဘောလိုက်နိုးထားတာလေလို့
Poshka this time.
True.
ကိုလည်းကြီးကဆွတ်လုံနေတယ်တားပါအောင်အဲ့ကောင်
Insania, you trying to walk
No,
on
ဘာဖြစ်
the
လဲ
map? I
Good
don't think
ban.
so.
Uh-oh, Puck. Okay, he's out. Does take the jaunt. Makes it quite far
အဲ့ရေ
away.
တွေကငါကတော့
Carry Dooms don't
ဝိုင်းရိုက်
bother
လိုက်ကွာ
me
တစ်ခေါက်
very
တော့ဝိုင်း
often.
ရိုက်လိုက်ကော်လက်ဆို
And if
စမုံ
they
နဲ့
do,
9
it's
ယောက်
not
ပေါင်းပြီးတက်လိုက်
usually till
ပြီးရင်ကြီး
third
ကြီး
or
ခေါ်
fourth
ပြီးပြီ
item, which means it's hard to land the Dooms onto pucks, which are usually would be a really good target for like an offlane Doom. Buying an earlier blink, Boxy gonna try to just TP out of there. That's pretty hopeful.
Uh-oh.
Unless
Oh,
Saberlight distracts
oh,
them.
တော်သေးတာ
Nice
ပေါ့
bro
ကွာ
strike to the high ground. They will Fiend's Grip down Boxy instead. Rue
မွန်စတာကေပြီးရင်
takes
ကော
the
လိုက်
kill
နော်
for
ဟုတ်တယ်မလား
himself.
ကော်လက်နောက်တစ်ကောင်တက်ရင်ကိုကသွားပြီ
Bottom lane. They're going to try and stack
ကြောင်း
Storm.
ကြီးတယောက်လည်းနဲ့
They
စ
wanna
ပရစ်စ
stop
င်းလုံး
him
ပြီးဆိုလို့ရတယ်
with
လားထက်ပူကောင်းနေသလားအဲ့လိုတော့လဲ
He will hide in the trees on the
အေးပေါ့
and
သူပြောရ
if he gets the static
အခု
storm,
လဲ
it's
okay နေတာ
pretty
ပါ
likely
ပိုကောင်းတယ်လို့
the
တော့
puck
ပြော
will
လို့မရ
die.
ဘူး
Doom is not
တူ
that
တူ
far away.
တကေးချင်းကတော့အတူတူလောက်ပါ
Okay, he's going to be walking into a ward sentry though. All right, Nisha actually a sixth sense here, knowing there's something going on.
ဒီကမာတီအန်ရလို့ကတော့လေနောက်နှစ်လကျရင်မွေးမဲ့သားလေးကို
I
ကူ
have
ရို
to
ကီ
stay
လို့
on
နဲ့
the map. I gotta try to creep cut.
ကူ
Moving
ရို
on to
ကီ
get the
လို့
next
နဲ့ဒီ
wave.
ဟုတ်တယ်နော်
But it is gonna enter vision.
အေးအမထုခံပြီ
Oh,
ချက်
spotted.
That is
တိန်မိသွားတယ်
Bash. There's
Yo.
no way.
ရော
The best thing he could have done, maybe. Well, I don't know. Yeah,
Yo,
they still managed to find the
Colas
puck.
got
They do
Colas
manage to
out,
get
why?
him on the following
ပြီး
one
ပါ
with
ပြီ
Static Storm. Nightmare out from
တော်
Rue,
သေးတယ်နည်းနည်းပဲ
but
ထည့်လိုက်လို့
immediately gonna pop the borrowed time here to turn their attention onto the Bane. They have plenty of damage to secure this. Mirel actually
ဒီမြစ်ပူ
blinking
ကျန်းနေ
aggressively for this.
อืมမရလဲမရလဲ
Mickey
အဲ့ဒါ
doesn't have
လေ
borrowed time.
ဟို
They're
ဘယ်လို
really
ပြောရ
hoping
မ
to
လဲ
get a glimpse here, but they won't be able to.
I think that's
Who
why
mono
he's
le
doing it,
pare?
right? Hoping to slow them enough, waste enough time that the
အခုမလို့ဆိုတာဒီကောင်စတန်နေဆော့နေရတဲ့အချိန်မလို့လည်းပါရင်ပါလိမ့်မယ်ပို့ပြီးတော့ performance အဲ့လို120ရာခိုင်နှုန်းလောက်
stalling for
ဖြစ်
a little bit after Aegis, waiting for those pickoffs, but also to finish the BKB on TA. Now that she has it, you're in
အရန်
full
သူ
go mode, which
သူ့စကီးကို
Collapse
ပြ
has
ချင်
never
နေတဲ့အ
left
ချိန်
full
ကွာ
go
သိရ
mode
မလား
since
အဲ့လိုအဲ့လို
the
ပေါ့
laning stage. He's
အား
just
လုံးသတိ
been
ထားမိအောင်
non-stop fighting,
သူလုတ်ပြနိုင်တယ်
You
ဆို
don't
တဲ့
go
အား
leg
မျိုး
day.
ဆောင်ရဲ
without
focus
going,
ထားတဲ့ပုံမှာ
you know,
ရှိတယ်ဒီကောင်
all in.
all
ပုံမှန်
like,
100 ခိုင်
the
နှုန်းဆို
whole
ဒီကောင်အခု120လောက်ထွက်နေ
for a hero that has no legs, you know.
မကောင်းလို့ပြောတာတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးသိရမလား
Slither day,
ကျန်းတာကျန်းနေအဲ့ကောင်
tail day.
ဘာလို့တကယ်ဆရာတွေနဲ့ကြီးပဲလိန်ထိန်ထားတာ
His body
You know,
more than a tail.
ဖုတ်ထားတာဒီမြင်နေရတယ်ကျန်းနေ
But he finished his Aghanim Scepter.
ဒီလာလာ
so
သူတို့
good
တယ်
luck
တဲ့
killing
ဒီ
this
မက်က
Slar
သူ
right now.
တို့အဲ့ဒါပဲလေမသူတို့
Like the
ဆိုတာ
regen he gets
သူက
practically counters.
တန်းနေ
what he
နေတဲ့
needs.
ဒီ၄ယောက်ကြားထဲမှာလာဆော့ရတဲ့အချိန်မှာ
You
သူက
don't want to go on the TA here, but you do kind of
အမား
need
နေ
to
တာ
prevent
ဗော
them
နော်
from doing
permanent
this.
player
Just
ဖြစ်
for
ပြီး
another
တော့
minute.
Puck's been
Oh.
found.
တောက်လျှောက်တွဲဆော့နေပြီဆိုဒီကောင်လည်းသူတို့နေသူတို့နေမယ်ပြောမရ
Fiend's grip. Yeah, he's gonna die. At the same time,
Ah,
he's gonna try to
the
start the
lead
fight
over.
here
Oh,
while
hope
Puck
he-
is being
ဘ
sacrificed
က်က
in
ဗ
the
ဒီဘယ်တော့သွားရှော့อ่ะဘက်က
That
Do you
is
have the
not
damage?
looking
ဘက်ကအောက်မှာ
good
ရှော့
here.
နေတာ
Yatoro's
မရ
gonna
လဲကဟိုဟာ
BKB
ရှိတယ်
destroys the
AJ
Sand
ရှိတယ်
King.
ဒါပေမဲ့
Dude
AJ
comes
တော့မ
out, BKBs gets all the auras in the world. He
Okay.
blinks away. And
Tanking
so
ဘက်ကဘိုင်ဘက်လာတယ်
does Yatoro. They might get collapse here. The buyback.
Collapse.
But guess what? Another BKB. And every single one of the prime
အာ
for year 5. And then
ဘတ်တဲ့
two
ဘတ်တဲ့
enormous
နှစ်ခေါက်
buybacks.
ဟိုနှစ်ခေါက်တော့ဖြစ်တယ်နှစ်ယောက်
This game is falling
ဘိုင်ဘက်
apart
ပြီး
for
ဆိုင်တာ
Liquid
တော့မှ
and
ဒီ
fast.
ဆွတာတကောင်ပဲရတယ်တဲ့
Yeah, you gotta try to make those kind of plays. They're desperate, but they're in a
GWB.
desperate situation. But great work from Spirit.
အရင်ရောက်ခါစား
They
အဲ့
don't even
ဒါ
lose the
Huh?
Aegis, which
Deep.
I mean, at this point, there's 10 seconds left, so they don't even care.
အဲဘလူးဘလူး
They're
မ
gonna
န်
find
ယူ
another
ရောက်ခါစား
kill onto Nisha here in a
TP1G
moment.
က
Nightmare
နီး
to waste the
TP
rest of the Ghost
ကောင်
Scepter.
Oh,
Oh,
I
maybe
even did-
one more
Crush.
defense.
Nice save from sight. The crush actually bails him out. They can turn around with the enter. They're getting a lot of damage here.
အောင်ငယ်နီးတော့
Collapse
ကောင်းသွား
is
တယ်လို့
so
ပေါ့အော်သဘောပေါက်ပြီ
freaking tanky. They might be able to
ရောင်းငယ်
walk
နီး
away. And now with Morel here trying to get Sableye, Rue is
ရောက်ခါ
dead,
စား
but
နဲ့
the kill
ရောင်းငယ်နီးနဲ့
left
ကောင်း
still
သွားတယ်
cannot
အဲ့လို
happen.
They get out again. Liquid is only finding supports, which
လာနောက်ပိုင်းသိမ့်မဖောက်တော့မဟုတ်လားနောက်ပိုင်းသိမ့်မဖောက်တော့နည်းနည်းတော့
is
ဖောက်သေးတယ်
not enough to,
နည်းနည်း
to
နည်း
recover
ခဲဝဲ
your
တဝဲဖောက်
game.
သေးတယ်ကိုတွေ့နေရ
That small gold lead
အဲ့
going
ချက်
Liquid way.
အဲ့ဒါလေ
Spirit's not even
team ကလိုအပ်တဲ့ play မျိုးကို तू လုတ်ပေးနေရတာတော့မသိဘူးကွာ
It's like
ချက်
that
ချက်ကြ
amount
အဲ့
of
လို
gold
ထား
is
တာဖောက်
offset by the fact that Doom farmed like half the jungle top side in the time.
အရင်ကထက်တော့တော်တော်ကြီးနေွား
So he's about to join in on another fight here.
Oh, Saberlight. That is a heck of a dodge. Nicely done.
He's got his Shadow Blade hunting for a kill here.
တော့ကဘာလို့ shadow blade
Turns
သွား
his
ဩ
radiance off though. Okay,
Shadow
he's
Blade, okay.
Just gonna go back to farming, I guess.
He's gonna cut the next wave, I think. No. Okay, he's just gonna farm. Okay, he's gonna walk right into Slardar.
သူကဟိုဟာအဘာတန်အောင် solo တက်ချင်နေတာ
Reveals
Don't want-
Saberlight immediately.
saber ash နဲ့ရိုက်မယ်ဒွန်းထည့်ပြီးတော့ကျွေးမယ်ဗောနော်
Ooh,
အဲ့ဒါဆို
fast
လို့ရှိရင်
blink out.
ဘောလုံးတိုင်းမ
Rue's
ပွင့်တော့
in position for that.
အဲ့ကွက်အဲ့ကွက်
Yeah, I mean the gold lead just continues to build here for Spirit. The map control as well.
ဒီရှာအပြုံးမ
With
ပြတ်ဘူး
Templar Assassin, they will know the
ဒီ
exact
ရှာဘယ်အပြုံးပြတ်မလဲ
respawn
သူ
time
သူ
of
ရှုံးနေပြီဆိုတာ
Rosh,
သိနေ
so
ပြီလေ
That's something we'll keep an eye on, right? Once we
Lower
see them
bracket
start
ဆော့ကြ
trying to
မယ်
group
တား
around
ကြီးတို့
the
တဲ့
Rosh
သူတို့စိတ်ဆုံးဖြတ်
area, we should know
စိတ်
that
ဆုံးဖြတ်
Rosh
ပြီး
is
သွားလောက်ပြီ
respawning
ဒီပွဲက
shortly after.
ဒီတိုင်းလေးပဲရသလောက်လေးအဲ့
That
လို
Centaur
ဆော့
still
နေတာပဲ
stuck
ရှိ
in
တာ
purgatory.
အားလုံးကလိုကဆော့ဖို့ ready ဖြစ်နေလား
forgot about him.
He's
What
having
did
a
he do
good
to
time.
deserve this?
ဟို liquid ကလည်းသူ့ကိုရောင်းစားတာဟိုဆောင်းရောင်းစားလို့ね
So,
perfect
he
space ကြီးပဲ
will
ဇက်
be
ဇက်
when
တိုက်
he's
ကြီး
stuck there and
မြဲတမ်းကြတော့တနာပါတယ်
What do
သူ့မှာ
Centaurs eat?
အဲ့လိုကောင်တာတွေထွက်ခံနေရတယ်ကွာသိလား
I would imagine a high protein based diet
ဒီနောက်ဆုံးပွဲဆိုအရန်တိတာဝါကြီး Templar let's play mid ထွက်လာ
of an herbivore.
အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့နော်ဘယ်မှာသူ level 2ဆင့်กว่า level 9နဲ့7
Just
နဲ့
the
အဲ့လိုဖြစ်
legs they gotta feed, you know.
That's true. They're truly.
ဒီ
like
ပွဲ
they
ရှုံးတာ
are.
तू မယုံပေးနိုင်လေကိစ္စမရှိဘူးနေနာလို့ဆို
Liquid needing to group up just to secure a camp for your carry. They all need to be here.
I'm trying to think at what point the Sabaton comes online, but he is level 17. He does get the blink out, which is nice. The evasion.
ဘယ်
is
ဘာ
really
လို့
doing
နဲ့တော့
wonders here,
over
but
ကျင်းတလို့လို့
Baposhka
ဖြစ်နေပြီ
trying
နော်
to snipe them on the
31
backside.
နှစ်ဖြစ်နေပြီ
Is going to be underneath a ward.
But
and
is
a
it-
sentry
Miposhka
glimpse
နောက်မှာ
will
ဘာ
send
လုပ်နေ
Mickey out of the way, but
ရာတူလို့
Saberlight
ရာတူလို့ရာတူလို့
taking on
မြင်နေ
the
ရ
side
တယ်
with the blink. The
အေး
epicenter
BKB
is on top
ကြီး
of
ွား
it.
လို့ပေါ့
Here
ကွယ်
comes the BKBs.
အကုန်
They just
ရှော့ကုန်တော့
delete
မှာပဲ
these heroes one by one. The Fiend's Grip will grant the Sand King.
အိုက်တန်ရမ်းပြတ်နေတော့ဟမ်
They
အဲ့လို
got a
မျိုးကြီး
nightmare
ဟို
onto the
စ
puck.
ပြီးတော့မိရတော့မှမသေးဘူးလို့ဒွန်းက
Thinking about it, just Collapse going with the crush. He does get the Ghost Scepter off of Coil onto 3. Morel will respond with his own BKB turn onto Box. He tries to finish the job, but doesn't manage to get the kill. Thanks to the Solar Crest. So Liquid will trade 2 for 1. They will lose this bottom tier 2 tower as well. Well, unless they go straight for Roche, which it looks like they know Roche is going to be up if they're beelining it to the Roche pit.
ပြပပြန်မလာသေးလို့ကလေးကြီးစောင်းတာ
You know exact timing.
ကြာစီရက်တော့ကလည်းရှယ်ယုံ
I thought that was going to be even more one-sided.
ဒီချနွားလေအဲ့တုံးနဲ့ကဒီကောင်နွားဆိုပြီးပြောတာ
You know, it's being dove tier 2 from Spirit here. But the Static Storm only onto Clockwork helps them out a bit here. Abaddon gets
နွားနဲ့မှ
close to
မွေး
a
ရ
weak
လား
spot. Look at this Infernal Blade take out half
ကြည့်
of
လားနွားနဲ့
Insane's health.
Yeah.
And then
And then
the
the crush for the
crush
other
does
half.
the rest.
ဘလုံးဝိုင်းက
If you
အဲ့
can
သွေး
maybe
လေး
get
နဲ့မသေးသွားတာပဲ
Golem
ကွာ
and the Fatal Bonds out,
ပထမတစ်ခေါက်တည်းက
you
မ
could
သေးဘူး
probably get
နောက်တစ်ခေါက်
another
ဝင်လာ
kill
တော့
or
လည်းမ
two
သိဘူး
there, but dude, when you get hit from Invis into a crush and you're just dead, you're in despair mode.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I
Collapse
should not have
12 ကောင်
walked
ကီး
onto
ထား
the
တယ်
base.
တကောင်ပဲ
That's my
တည်
bad.
တယ်နော်
I'll stay in my fountain now.
12ကောင်
It's a
ကီးတကောင်
second
တည်
nullifier. All right, 2 nullifiers completed at the exact same time for Spirit. This has kind of been one of the stall tactics that Liquid have been using, right? These Ghost Scepters on these heroes to try and buy them some space. But it only lasts so long. The 25,000 gold advantage, you have all the luxuries out there. Nisha getting himself the Parasma. A pretty massive damage boost for this hero. Smoke up from Spirit. All right, this means Roche has to be soon, if they're doing this, right?
One would assume so. Going for the wraparound. Now, Liquid is positioned
It's respawning right now.
pretty well here. They're mostly together, but Puck's actually a little bit ahead trying to creep cut.
Good scan. Really good scan for the
Can I
Raiders.
get
There's
that
smoke
Leo
bots. He
lah,
might
huh?
throw himself in
အဲ့တော့မှ
there,
မြင်
but
နေတာပေါ့အဲ
it seems like Liquid
အဲ့တော့မှ
might
မြင်
wanna
နေတာ
just
လားပေါ့
dodge. Oh, he gets the blind crush here onto the puck. He needs help.
Oops.
Can he get out? Okay.
ဘာဖြစ်သွားကလောကနှစ်ချက်အိုး epicenter ရဲ့ goal လဲ
The double BKBs again.
oh,
though.
Yatoro,
Yatoro
Yatoro.
still manages to survive. He's on a sliver of HP. The feeds grip. It finds the puck. Collapse. Needs to come back over. They're going to immediately try to aphotic shield and bail out the puck.
ပြစ်ကတကောင်မှတော့မသေးသေးဘူးအကုန်လုံးသွေးလေးတွေကအဲ့လိုဖင်လေးတွေကဲလို့
He's gonna
အိုး
live.
အိုးအိုးဝဲဘိန်းမသေးပါဘူးဒွန်းလည်းမသေးပါဘူး နောက်ဆုံးဒွန်းသေးရောအဲ့ဒီဟုတ်ပါဘူးဘိန်းသေးသွားပြီ ဒွန်းထည့်လိုက်ပြီရိုက်တယ်တစ်ချက်မျက်ခွက်ကိုအိုးချီချီဘိန်းတစ်ကောင်ပဲသေးသွားတယ်ရောင်ကြီးဒါမဲ့လေ liquid လဲနော်ဗတ်တယ်ဆိုင်တာသိလား တောင်ရင်ပြက်နေလို့သာပုံမှန် level တန်းဗတ်တယ်သာဆိုလို့ကတော့ fabric ကောင်နေအကုန်ပြောင်းနေတော့ပြီတော့က position ကအကောင်ကြီး Golem ရဲ့ fatal ဘောင်းရဲ့
Their health plummeted.
epicenter ရဲ့
And as soon
1919ပဲ
as
နော်
the stun stopped and they were able to BKB, they stopped
အဲ့မှာကြည့်လိုက်
taking
အောင်
damage.
အဲ့ဒါပြန်ပြ
This
တယ်
is why, yeah, right here.
ဟိုကောင်နဲ့ river အောက်ထဲမှာ position ယူထားတာရော့အမှနှစ်ကောင် fatal ဘောင်းရင်ချိတ်တယ်
Combo.
Auto strike
Amazing, and then BKB,
Huh.
BKB, walk away. No more damage.
Yeah.
Also, let me turn around and kill you real quick, and then I'll walk away. So, yeah, that's why Liquid's draft is really meant to have a much better start, push an early lead. They're the ones who are supposed to be like 20k at this point, because their combo is very strong in the early game if it comes online in time. Now that they're fighting into BKBs and they're behind, you just need the perfect initiation. When I'd say that one was pretty good, and it still
ဟိုလဲ
wasn't
level
quite
24
enough.
တဲ့
Dude, I don't know how you kill Collapse.
ဒွန်းနေရာ
He's
တမ်ပ
got
လာပဲ
Eternal Shroud queued up. He's gonna have like
After
almost
that?
level တွေကအပြက်ကြီးတွေ
4,000
ဒီဘက်
After
make က
that, I
18ပဲ
have
ရှိ
no idea.
အဒွန်းလဲ24ဟာ
You also lost your gem in that fight,
Ooh,
right? Which
Ooh,
means you're
နှစ်
now
ချက်ပဲ
playing
ရရ
against
သေးတယ်
a
ဟိုမှာ
TA,
တေးမလို့ပဲ
no gem.
Well, have like 4k
တစ်ချက်ပဲ
HP.
ရိုက်တယ်
Something like
Liquid 99 သေးလား
physical reduction and like 45 to 50% magic reduction plus
Me
status
no?
resistance inside of a puddle or inside the
Me
river. I honestly, I don't think it'll be possible to kill this
ဒီ
guy.
အချိန်နေနဲ့
with the
liquid
numbers.
9ဝါ
What do they mean?
website တွေလည်းဒီဝါလီခံလောက်ပြီ
Level
Tspirit 322 လို့
almost 25 on that hero as well. Where, I mean, a lot of people love Undispellable Corrosive Haze. I don't think it's necessary. It's a neat talent, but
ပဲလေဂိမ်းနဲ့
Silver
နိုင်မဲ့
Crush
hero မရှိတော့
cooldown is
ဒီဘက်က
a real gas on this hero.
အဘာတန်နဲ့
Being able to
ဒွန်းနဲ့ဘယ်လို
reapply,
လိတ်ကင်းရှင်ရိုက်မလို့မပဲ
Corrosive Haze in an AoE and do a ton of, it's like a
စတက်တစ်ဆိုတော့အပြာကြောင်းတွေ
700
ပါလာမှာလိတ်ကင်းက
on Slither and Crush every 4 seconds is pretty ridiculous.
အဲနောက်ဆုံးတော့ဆေးပါလိုက်အစိမ်းချောင်းကန်လိုက်ပါပြီသူလည်းအစိမ်းချောင်းကန်ရောဒီဘက်မှာ nullifier တွေရနေ
Melt Bash now online as well. Blink in.
Lotus Soul လေး
Melt
သွားတာ
Fire
မဟုတ်
out.
ဘူး
We're gonna
ရှီ
force
ဘာ
the
ကဲ
Ults
တို့ Lotus
immediately
Soul
out
ရှီဘာက
of
ဈေး
the
ကြီး
bat
လို့
and
ဆိုရင်
now
တော့
we get the
Lotus
borrow
Soul
time.
လောက်တော့သွားတင်တယ်အာမချော့တာလေးလိုက်ပြီးတော့တင်ပေးလို့ရ
Sand King died somewhere. Morel soloed him in mid lane as he was trying to make a play for the lane cut. But he's got that nullifier. There's no way to escape. Boxy, he's gonna get caught. Nullifier out. Chain stuns. But a
Awabi.
glimpse comes from Maboshka. Ready and waiting. And Collapse just needs one more auto attack, really. Or the crush. Another nullifier. Godlike for him.
အာဒီမှာကြိုက်ထားတယ်ရော
Found up here, trying to rat.
no. There's so many
See?
godlike sprees. They can't keep. No one can get out. That's an E-blade into another bash. Rue's like, I gotta get my
Nicolai
own
Barogua.
godlike spree. You guys have had enough here.
Yeah, he doesn't have much time to rack up more kills for his own godlike spree. He's got, I don't know, 5 more seconds here. You better make it up here.
I mean, throne exposed. There is no fortification left. Yatoro's gonna go and tries to find a kill onto the Warlock. Doom instead just onto the Clockwork. That should be enough. Mirel, he's gonna get caught from the epicenter. Borderline unbothered as nullifier after nullifier after nullifier. Choose through the side of Liquid. 3 dead without buybacks, and now they get their hands onto the puck inside of the Static Storm. He gets that phase shift off for now, has the blink up onto the high ground. He's okay, but again,
ကိုလည်းလမ်းထိန်တာ
you have a
တော်
throne
လာ
to
လား
defend,
ကေ
and
ကန်
I
ကလူ
don't
နေ
think
ရ
you
ကိုလည်း
can
လမ်းထိန်တာကောင်းတယ်
do
အဲ့
it
ကောင်
as Spirit.
lane dominate တာ
Will
ကောင်းတ
close
ယ်
out this series. They get themselves the 2-1 over Liquid and will be advancing to the grand finals.
ကဲ grand final ကိုတက်လန်းသွားပြီဖြစ်တဲ့ Tspirit ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ် game 2ကတော့ဒါတက်တက်မဲ့အားလုံးအိပ်ရေးပြအောင်သူတို့ပေးတာပါ
Collapse
เนาะ
having a great time.
တော့ချင်း2စီးဆော့လို့ရပါတယ်အသင်းနေထားအဲ့တော့
Game 3 had a blast playing this
နောက်ဆုံးတော့
off lane that absolutely
final တက်သွားတာကတော့ Tspirit ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ် final တက်သွားတာကတော့ Tspirit ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်เนาะနောက်တစ်ပွဲက Falcon နဲ့ Parivision နဲ့ခဏနေလာမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ရ9နဲ့အသင်းနဲ့အခု Liquid နဲ့ဒီနေရာမှာတွေ့မှာပါတွေ့ပြီးတော့မှ9နဲ့အသင်းက final ကိုပြန်တက်မှာပေါ့နော် bracket ကတော့အဲ့လိုအနေထားရှိတယ် Falcon Pari ကတော့ကိုယ့်တင် Pari တက်မလားပဲ Pari နည်းနည်းပို strong မယ်ပြီးဒီနှစ်သင်းနဲ့ကတက်လာတဲ့အချိန်မှာတော့ Liquid က9လောက်လားလို့ Pari တက်လာရင်လည်း Liquid 9လောက်တယ် maybe အမို့ Pari လည်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဆိုတော့ okay ပါဒီတော့စာရဲကဒီလိုဆော့လို့ရနေတာဟုတ်ပါဒီနေ့တော့ဒီလောက်ပါပဲအားလုံးပဲ good night ပါတတာနောက်ပွဲအတွက်အားလုံး good luck okay see you guys
ကျေးဇူးပြုပြီးယနေ့ညရဲ့ကျေဝင်ညကိုကြိုဆိုလိုက်ကြရအောင် One Expert မှာထိတ်တန်းစုများကိုရယူထားသူ Dota 2 ၏ hero များအကောင်းဆုံးတည်ဆောင်မှု Hunter Lancer အကောင်းဆုံးပံ့ပိုးမှု Mossy အကောင်းဆုံးအလေလံ Zeus အိုးငါဘိုက်ကိုဆိုလိုတာပါအကောင်းဆုံးကစားသမားစု One Expert ကစားသူများ One Expert ဒါသင်ရဲ့ pick ပဲကျေးဇူးပြုပြီးယနေ့ညရဲ့ကျေဝင်ညကိုကြိုဆိုလိုက်ကြရအောင် One Expert မှာထိတ်တန်းစုများကိုရယူထားသူ Dota 2 ၏ hero များအကောင်းဆုံးတည်ဆောင်မှု Hunter Lancer အကောင်းဆုံးပံ့ပိုးမှု Moss